Hello, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran, and I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and Joe Dehls. And this is now episode 254. In this episode, we're going to recap what happened at the trade deadline, Kevin Durant to the Suns, Clippers additions, Lakers 3-team trade, winners and losers, under the radar moves, and give our best bets for the big game on Sunday. Shout out to everybody currently in the live stream.
Let's go.
Trade deadline.
Insane.
We were all surprised. Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
The Suns.
that was insane.
It was hilarious given the fact that we just had, I guess now in hindsight,
meaningless debate.
pointless debate. Absolutely. That was like, what, 30 minutes?
So long.
At least?
Yeah.
So long.
For
Meaningless
Kevin
so
Durant,
animated.
For Kevin Durant to go to
Yeah.
Phoenix.
I just
Like,
think
okay.
nobody,
so much
Take
breath.
everything we just had, throw it in the trash.
nobody expected the Nets to trade KD. I didn't think they
Hell
were going
no.
to trade KD.
No, I was not expecting that at all.
Like, even OG was like, what happens to Kevin Durant now? In hindsight, I'm like, man, I wish I would have been like, yeah, he's gonna get traded to the
And
Suns.
we were all chatting about 7 first, 8 first. Look at what Gobert went. No doubt about it. We're going to see KD move for more. We saw that transpired.
We're going to talk about the Kevin Durant trade shortly. We're going to start the show off with, first of all, how your guys' day have been.
Pretty damn good. Woke up, studied for my test, went to the gym. Here we are.
I just worked today. Nothing special.
I laid down today. Nothing
Nice. A
special.
little rest.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
How about you, Joel?
I woke up with a smile on my face because my record now in Boom Fantasy is 11-6.
It's got a point. It's a reason to
The
smile.
comeback was generational. The comeback
good.
was
It's
miraculous.
pretty good.
And
It'd be a shame if you lost it after one day.
and now I feel ecstatic. And I put in a parlay today.
I saw that.
Plus $3,000, $55 for $2,000 could change my life tomorrow.
Change your life.
Could change my life. I need DeAndre Ayton double tonight, and a couple other things to go my way.
A lot of other things.
A couple things to go my way. But right now we have 239 viewers in the live stream. Make sure you guys like the stream, please. The big game is on Sunday. We can't use the other word because the NFL and networks have exclusive rights to
So
the
dumb.
real word SB. But best bets for the big game on Sunday. Let's start it out. What are you guys looking at? I just want to say this quickly. I'm going to be playing on Mojo this weekend.
Okay.
Liquid props.
Hot.
I'm going to go with Kadarius Toney 32 total yards. That's my liquid
You're
prop.
a big Kadarius Toney fan. That's
I
recent.
think he's having a big time day.
Okay.
I think he is.
You saw the Chiefs have nobody on the injury report?
Mm-mm.
That's kind of crazy.
Patrick Mahomes, 19 rushing yards. That's a liquid prop I'm taking. If you guys don't know what liquid props are, they're basically a traditional player prop, but it has liquidity. So basically, Mahomes' line is at 19 rushing yards, but if he gets 30 rushing yards, you make more money as he plays better. So the better the player you're betting on plays, the more money you're going to make. And you can, go over on it, under, and Mojo, it's called long and short. There's a bunch of different ways to play. And I'm going to also go with Isaiah Pacheco, receiving or rushing touchdown.
Okay.
I'm going to go with that too. I like that a lot.
So let me ask, because I was very curious about this prior. So for Jalen Hurts, it says receiving plus rushing touchdown in the Super Bowl. Does that mean he has to have both?
No, it's either or.
All right. That's what I figured, because it's at 62 cents. And I figured Jalen Hurts, it gets to the 1 yard line. You can almost bet your house on it. Jalen Hurts is going to try and rush it in. And for 62 cents, you can almost double your money on whatever bet that you put on there. So that's the bet that I like the most, no doubt.
Me, I'm gonna be very consistent. I took Devonta Smith's total yards.
I like that.
I'm gonna lock in with that because I think he's gonna have a big game. He's probably my favorite player on the Eagles. So that's something
respect that.
Yeah, I think he's
Slim
probably
Reaper.
my favorite player in the Eagles. I
I
really
like
like him. Yeah, he's my dog.
Now, you can play liquid props on Mojo, but you can also invest on them traditionally. Right now, on the Chiefs, Mahomes is $139, Pacheco $6, Juju's $15, MVS is $7, Tony $7, and Kelsey's $27. Out of the Chiefs players, who would you most likely be willing to go long on or short in this game?
I mean, the obvious answer, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, I'm assuming if the Chiefs are going to win this game, it's because Patrick Mahomes had an all-world game. I don't know how you stop Travis Kelce. Even injured, he still is going to perform. Travis Kelce is going to have a great game regardless. But those are the obvious two names that I'm looking at, for the obvious reason that if Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to win, Mahomes is most likely going to be Super Bowl MVP, and his price is going to be
Did you say
impacted by that.
Pacheco on that list?
$6.
That one's interesting
It is.
because
He's
there is
a-
there
he's
is
under the
cracks
radar.
in the Eagles' run defense.
Correct.
So that's he could have a big ass game. I'll probably go with him just for
Hope he
fun.
doesn't.
I like Pacheco
No,
under
it
the
doesn't
radar. I do like Tony as well under the radar. There's
Yeah.
reports going out that he was flying around the practice field. I guess he's all over that ankle injury, was it, that he hurt against
Yep.
the Bengals? So obviously Kelsey's phenomenal, but he's a playmaker that the Chiefs haven't really been able to exploit to his capability. So if he's able to get going, he could have a big time game.
I agree. I would go with Tony and Pacheco, given they don't cost much. Pacheco's $6 a share of him. Tony is $7. I think Pacheco's having a big time day.
You know what? I'm not trying to sleep on Mahomes' price because remember we had this conversation. How much more can Mahomes' price really go up? And we see as the season's gone on, he's been one of the highest grossing players this season. So I can only assume if he has a great Super Bowl performance that his price will reflect.
Mojo actually released something on their Instagram about quarterbacks
I
that
saw
Mojo
that.
price
Pretty awesome.
went up the most.
Pretty
Yeah.
awesome. What was it? Brady in 2017 was number one.
Yeah, Brady in 2017 was number one.
I know Foles was on that list also.
But given that Brady threw 500 yards in that game, I don't know like if Mahomes is doing that. 500 is crazy. 500 is crazy. I think number 2 was Joe Montana because Mojo can go back and trace like what it would have been.
Really?
Yeah, they can. So basically, best Super Bowl performances by quarterbacks. Tom Brady 2017. After his performance, he went up $3.51. Joe Montana 1985. He went up $3.36.
But this is so funny to me because obviously Mojo just got started. So I'm really interested of how they ended up coming up with that. But go ahead.
They probably have the same formula, just put in the numbers from the 85
Facts,
years.
facts.
Steve Young 1995. He went up $3.36. Kurt Warner in 2000. He went up $3. Nick Foles in 2018 went up $3 from his performance. The average quarterback in the Super Bowl is they go up 34 cents.
Did he throw 500 in 2017? I
Nick
thought
Foles
he
did.
No.
For
No,
change.
I was gonna say because I remember
Tom Brady.
Brady threw for
Yeah.
500 against the Eagles. It was 505. I remember very vividly. So in 2017, obviously, I mean,
That was when he
it's
had
the greatest
Chris
comeback
Hogan and shit.
ever. Facts.
Oh,
Chris
2016.
Hogan
Facts.
to a beast
Yep,
for a
yep,
year.
yep.
Rob Gronk. Oh my God, Rob.
On the Eagles, these are their share prices. Jalen Hurts, $58. Miles Sanders, $11. A.J. Brown, $19. Devontae Smith, $15. And Dallas Goedert, $11.
To stay consistent, Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl. He is Super Bowl MVP for the price that he's currently at and the price of where these other quarterbacks are currently listed, like a Herbert, like a Josh Allen. He gets the Super Bowl before those guys. His price should reflect that. And
I
I'm
agree.
expecting that his price goes up the most.
I agree. Jalen Hurts probably makes the biggest jump, especially because he's in the Super Bowl. He's made it before these other young guys. And if he has a breakout performance, this is only going to put him at the top of the top with one of the best. So I agree with that one.
He's going to prove you wrong, Joel.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts is going to prove you wrong. He's going to go out there, have a big time
You're
game.
hoping that.
250, 300 total yards, couple touchdowns, bring home Super Bowl MVP. He's going to go up a ton after this.
I think
game.
my favorite line from you when we have conversation about the Eagles and Jalen Hurts is everyone's mad at me for the criticism that I've had of Jalen Hurts when I've been right about him all season.
They're valid.
And no, but it kills me. It really does kill me because what has he done that has shown that you are correct?
What's my original statement, though?
You tell me because I'm curious.
I think he's a great quarterback. I do. I never said he's a bad quarterback.
So
like,
what have you been saying all along?
I don't believe he is like Tua Daniel Jones. I think he's more legit than them. My thing is that I don't think he's leading them. I think that everybody is giving Jalen Hurts all the credit in the world and putting him into the elite quarterback conversation. And I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he's there yet. I don't.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how you've been
I
right all
don't have
along.
anything to say, man. I'm waiting for Sunday. I'm over the Jalen Hurts.
Now, I look at the
Sunday guy?
schedule. I look at the
Big game
schedule
guy?
they
Not
face.
over. I'm over it, bro. I'm over it.
The
I
schedule
just
they
want us to win.
have.
Fuck everything else.
I mean,
I
come
need to
on,
see
man.
two of those boys.
They're the
schedule
NFC. There's
was-
only one team on their level.
There's no adversity though.
There's one team on their level in the NFC.
In the NFC, in the playoffs, there's no adversity in those games.
Who are they supposed to play instead? You want them to go play the Bills and the Bengals and the Chiefs in the AFC? You
Not
can't
ideal.
do that, unfortunately.
I'm not saying
ideal
that,
at all.
obviously the outcome is the outcome, but I'm not going to look at those wins and then be like, oh yeah, this is why Jalen Hurts is the most amazing quarterback I've seen in an Eagles uniform in history.
But how
No.
do you criticize him? You really can't.
I didn't think he played well in the San Fran game.
Who cares though?
Yeah, him not playing well didn't matter.
They won
But
by
against
30.
the Chiefs, if he doesn't play well, it will
Yes,
matter.
for sure.
It will matter.
That's
I'm
why
assuming.
Sunday
Yeah.
matters.
That's the first time the Eagles has faced real adversity in how long? I don't know how long.
I don't even.
A year?
I don't know if it's adversity really.
It is adversity. It's a team.
Pre-Brock
It's a
Purdy
team of
injury.
resistance.
We'll
For
see.
half a
There
quarter.
you go. Their best
What was
competition.
it,
If you want to
Giants?
say, but we thought that with the Niners.
We're not.
Giants
Unfortunate
is
events.
washed.
The Niners, Brock Purdy got hurt,
Unfortunate
unfortunate. But
Unfortunate
even Brock
events.
Purdy, he's not a legit quarterback either, in my
So
opinion, at least.
pretty much we were never going to face
Exactly.
adversity.
No matter what.
But now you're facing if you would have faced the Cowboys, I would have
Stop.
said that's adversity.
Stop. Just stop.
The
You
Super
gotta
Bowl pick.
stop.
The Super Bowl pick.
I mean,
Facts.
stop. You picked the Giants over the Eagles.
You did. You
I
fucked up.
didn't. I didn't.
I don't think the Cowboys are adversity though. They're a good team though.
I don't think any of us. You would not have come up here and given the Eagles credit for beating the Cowboys.
You said what you
Yeah, I
should.
would.
No,
Why?
you wouldn't have. You would have said you really wouldn't have.
If
You
Dak
would have
Pre-
picked the Cowboys.
I would have picked
You
the
would have been
Cowboys, yeah, for
wrong.
sure. I mean, we don't know that. They probably could have
Okay.
beat them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. They beat them in week what?
Gardner
The
Minshew.
second
Gardner
matchup.
Minshew
Minshew threw for 300.
and lost.
Yeah, he did, but he threw for 300 still.
Yeah, 2 interceptions.
It's not like
Or
he
2
played bad.
turnovers. I'm not sure.
I think
it was
Hurts wins that
interceptions.
game.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So for the Eagles, if I were to bet on one person, I would go Devontae Smith.
I like that.
$15. I
another one
think
I
that Devontae Smith is going to have a big time day because I think that they're going to try to limit AJ Brown. So I can see Devontae Smith going crazy. And an interesting stat from AJ Brown and Devontae Smith: AJ Brown has had a lot of snaps in the slot this season, and he's targeted on less than like 5% of them. When he's lined up in the slot, he doesn't get targeted at all. Devontae Smith is like the complete opposite. Whenever he's in the slot, he gets targeted at like 50% or more clip.
That's what he's used as a decoy.
He wins a lot though. Put him in the slot. I mean, what slot corner is going to be?
You guys saw what
able to
Jimmy
keep up
Ward said while he was playing the game.
All the Niners are
with him?
talking,
Yeah, they're talking
shit.
shit. Like Robbie Gold of all people's getting
Not
involved in the
acknowledging that.
like,
But
that
Jimmy
was
Ward
said
ridiculous.
he's not a
Jim-
quarterback.
Yeah, Jimmy Ward, he
Robbie
was talking.
Gold.
He was like, "Got to get my leg back." I was like, "Oh shit,
It's tough, L.
he's angry."
It's tough, L. But they're sick.
You know, if I'm San Fran, I'm bitter.
Yeah.
If I'm San Fran, I'm bitter.
You don't want to go out that way.
Can't be
No.
mad at us because y'all don't have quarterbacks that can stay healthy.
I understand. Okay. Cheap shot.
Well, that's a fact. They had 3 quarterbacks not healthy.
But all crazy, unfortunate events.
yeah, but that ain't our fault. You got to play. You got to play.
I'm not saying you're wrong,
Josh
but
Johnson
it's
stinks.
kind of a rude
Train him
thing.
better.
Okay, him
Train
train
him.
him better.
Pro was on the roster for 4 weeks.
Bro,
So
like
you're
he
going
just got
to-
there. I could have
he
done
he
better.
did just get there.
Hate that for him. 9-year vet, right?
That's
Not
facts.
ideal.
So if you're going to pick one player, so who's one player that you're expecting stock is going to rise the most in the Super Bowl?
By far and away, Jalen Hurts. I'm expecting with his price where it's currently at, he wins the Super Bowl. He'll be properly listed with all the rest of the quarterbacks that are currently above him.
I also agree. Super Bowl bumps you up. I'll take Jalen Hurts.
I'm going Jalen Hurts. He's going to prove you wrong, Joel. But sleeper, I like Kenny Gainwell. He could have a big game.
I like that too. I like
And
that too.
I'm going to
Look
avoid
at
the
it.
quarter. I'm going to avoid the quarterbacks in this situation. I'm going to give one for each team, given there's a scenario the Eagles win, which is unlikely.
Okay. No, I'm just really curious because the question was name one player.
He did. say
I'm
this
just
one.
so I'm
I
just,
okay, true.
all right, thank you.
I like Isaiah Pacheco
Okay, I
or
like that's a great
Kadarius
pick.
Toney, but I'd lean Pacheco because the Eagles they're one of the worst teams against play action and quarterbacks thrown to the running back. So
Mhm.
I like Pacheco a lot in this. He's only $6.
Correct.
I think he's going to have a big time receiving day. Maybe he might be limited on the ground, but as a receiver, I think he'll have a big time day. And if he is rushing well, I mean, it could skyrocket. I'm going Pacheco. I love his explosiveness. I
It's
do.
crazy because for let's say the second half of the season, in the past game has been a lot of Jerick McKinnon. But come playoff time, Isaiah Pacheco's literally been getting the ball both ways, rushing and receiving. So if it was receiving and we're talking about regular season, I'd be completely contradicting what you're saying and say Jerick McKinnon should be the one getting this work. But come playoff time, they've realized Pacheco has been a dog for them and they've ridden the hot hand,
And now, second question, I'm going to give you guys some fast fire liquid props. And you guys tell me if you guys are going to take player A and player B. So Mojo liquid props for this weekend. Mahomes passing yards 293 versus Hurts 243. What are you going with?
I feel like it's way safer to go Mahomes, even though it's higher.
I'll gamble. Fuck it. I'll go Jalen Hurts.
If they're going to win this game, it needs to be with Mahomes in his arm. It has to
Mahomes
be.
won't win.
I don't disagree. But Mahomes is going to give everything he has.
So it hurts.
No doubt. And he's
I'm-
going to win also.
I think I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes.
Loud.
Because when men dap, it's loud.
No doubt.
I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes, liquid prop 293. I think he throws for 300 yards pass in this game. Next liquid prop, Isaiah Pacheco, 69 total yards versus Miles Sanders, 68.5 total yards.
Given the history of the Philadelphia Eagles, you cannot gamble on Miles Sanders. It's almost impossible to gamble on Miles Sanders because anytime you put stock into Miles Sanders, he disappoints. With that being said, I'm going Isaiah Pacheco.
I also think Sanders shares the backcourt a little.
That is why.
Backfield
That
a
is
little bit with
why.
Hurts. So I'll go Pacheco. I think Pacheco's going to get a bulk of the load.
And not just him. Kenny Gainwell. I mean,
Scott at times.
Exactly.
They all get a bulk of the load.
It's very rarely. Well, although this season, statistically, if you just look at that blankly, you would think that Miles Sanders dominated. Well, she did for a majority, but it's been recently more committee when it has been like that all season.
It has been more committee with the Eagles, and that's why I'm going with Pacheco. Not only do I think Pacheco is a better running back than Sanders, I know Sanders is a Pro Bowler,
Come on,
but from the
bro.
eye test,
You saw his
I
tweet?
think Pacheco's
So
better.
his tweet?
No, I saw it for sure. It was gross.
I think Pacheco's better from an eye test standpoint. The same eyes that told me Tony Pollard was better than Zeke 2 years ago. It's the same eyes that tell me Pacheco's better than Sanders.
Listen, you get respect for that one, but you can also say with the eye test, as a lot of people did, we understood Miles Sanders is a lot better than how the Eagles are using him.
True.
And this year was basically at the forefront of everything that we saw.
No doubt.
I had a great year.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Isaiah Pacheco's total yards.
1,100, 10 plus, right?
Yep.
He had a dumb season.
Now, the last one I'm going to go with, the last one I'm going to trivia on, Travis Kelce, 7 receptions, or Devontae Smith, 5 receptions.
I think the
I
easy
feel
answer
like I'm
is
going
Kelce.
safer. Yeah.
But I'm going to go wild card again. So I'll go
I
Devontae
respect that.
Smith.
I respect that. I'm gonna go safe. I mean, Kelce is gonna get looks. It does not matter. They're gonna force feed, and Kelce needs to have a big game. Simple.
I'm going to go with Travis Kelce as well. 7 receptions. I mean, he's been handing over that.
That's Kelce.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
Kelce.
That's Travis Kelce.
What does he average? I'm curious. I'm about to look it up. His receptions per game.
So-
7 might be his average.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys can play Mojo Liquid Props. You guys can play the Liquid Props on Mojo in the link in our bio and use code PICKASIDE100 for a $100 bonus on your first deposit of $25. Next thing I want to talk about here,
Let's do it.
NFL honors.
Facts.
We know who won the awards.
Yes.
First of all, 2 Jets won the awards, NFL honors.
And
Sauce Gardner, Garrett
Revis
Wilson.
Hall of Fame, Klecko Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the Jets had a big time day. I think it's all leading up to one big time event. Aaron Rodgers is coming to the Big
Keep
Apple.
manifesting.
We know
Keep
that.
it. Keep doing it.
But NFL honors, Mahomes won MVP. So how does this reflect on Mojo? Well, Mahomes is up 48% from last season, from $94 to $139.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Damn.
Going up, what, 30, almost 40,
40, yeah.
flat, was it? That's
48%.
That is
Almost 50%.
And let's be honest, Mahomes probably isn't slowing down anytime soon.
Just
So
see the
it
voting,
seems
they had
high,
like
but
30
Let's hope.
yeah,
votes in
I think
it.
Hurts was the only one
Hurts,
who got
Hurts,
one
Allen,
vote.
and got
They,
one
they
vote.
both got one.
Allen getting a vote is crazy. I mean, yes,
there's always somebody.
Stop it. Stop it.
There's always
Stop
somebody.
it.
Respect.
I am respecting.
Respect.
I'm respecting. Hurts should have got both those votes.
And
Simple.
Herbert should have never blew a 20-point lead.
No
He
doubt.
moved.
No doubt.
Respect.
What does that have
What's
to do
that do
with
with
anything?
anything?
He's a Herbert guy. Had to just
I guess.
You are.
Yes.
You're a
had to
Herbert
throw it
guy.
a little, you know?
Yeah.
So
Respect my guy, please.
Justin Jefferson, he won Offensive Player of the Year. He's up
Hit me.
24% from last
Hit me.
season, $20 to $26.
So it's fit? Oh my
Oh yeah,
god.
he was fly. Sauce's fit was hard too.
We're not talking about sauce right now.
I know, just saying.
Are we counting? Are we
Nice.
counting Antonio Brown as our generation?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Easily.
so then Jett is right now, in my opinion. Are we counting Calvin as our generation?
He should
Yeah.
be like the back end.
Oof. All right, then
We
this
have to
gets-
count Calvin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I'm
think
just
Je-
making
Jettis
sure.
isn't better than Calvin. AB. I think Julio's better than Jettis.
Jett is just a matter of time.
I think those are the 3 you can comfortably put in front.
Jett
I think
is on
everybody else
pace
is a
to be the
conversation.
best
And
receiver ever.
Larry's our generation also.
Like,
How
it's-
many
it's
how
dumb
many
to say,
players
but
have
it's
been
true.
on
That's-
pace to be the best receiver ever? It was Michael Thomas at one point.
That's true. Odell.
Odell
Yeah.
definitely was in that
Odell,
conversation.
yeah.
Michael
It's like
Thomas
there's been a
is-
AB
Antonio Brown
AB
was
was
as well.
I think the
definitely in there.
difference between all of those is Jettis was much younger than all of them. Like Michael Thomas was
AB?
like, not AB, but Michael Thomas was like 25, 26.
Yeah,
dude.
Michael Thomas is.
Facts,
But
he
there's
did.
only this.
I just personally think
Nah, he
nobody.
popped off every year. He popped off every year. His rookie season, he had a rack.
Yeah, Jett has had 14, 15.
Oh, no,
Wait, who had a
Michael-
rack this rookie season?
I don't
Michael
think
Thomas.
no. Michael
Oh, yeah, you're
Thomas. Jettis in 3 seasons. He won the Offense Player of the Year.
Yep.
First team All Pro, 2-time second team All Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler, receiving yard title, reception yard title. He has almost 5,000 yards and 25 TDs.
I could be wrong, but I don't think anybody's ever going to match the longevity of Jerry Rice.
Probably
It's
not.
gonna be tough.
It's just
It
different.
would be
It's
impossible.
forever.
Yeah.
He played in his 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peak for peak?
Yeah, I would say his
No,
peak.
I'm sorry. With all
Not,
due
not
respect.
yet.
Jerry Rice
No, I'm
is
saying that, like peak
here.
for peak. Nobody's like Jerry Rice.
Everyone else
Yeah, that's
is the conversation. People want to tell you Randy Moss skill set, and that's understandable. But in terms of career, it'll never be touched.
So comeback player of the year
Geno
was
Smith.
Geno Smith.
Yes, sir.
And how did this reflect on Mojo? He's up 90% from last season, from $15 to $30.
Geno Smith, and probably the most unlikely comeback story you will ever see in your life in sports, in my humble opinion, to basically be irrelevant in the league for however many, 6-7 seasons,
Backup.
to now being a starter, a high-level starter at that, to have an amazing season. It's nothing but credit to his work ethic and his dedication to himself. And Geno deserves everything that he accomplished.
And now he's going to get it back from Seattle. He's going to be their franchise guy for the next few seasons. I'm happy for him. As a Jets fan, I'm happy because he wasn't put in a position to succeed with the Jets.
No.
Then he was just going stop to stop, being backup, learning a lot along the way. He created a lot, especially last season, learning under Russ. And he had a few games last season where he had a high completion percentage, just putting up yards, but no one really believed it was like a 2-3 game sample size.
Mhm.
This year, obviously, had one of the better QB seasons of the season.
And the last one, Garrett Wilson, Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's up 34% from the time he was drafted, from $12 to $16.
I mean, that's a superstar in the making.
Yeah,
Garrett
I know.
Wilson is legit. He does everything basically at an elite level already. We're watching a future superstar going to continue to transcend in that direction so long, even though it really didn't matter this year. He had 3 guys going in a...
We're getting Aaron Rodgers.
But that's the thing. That's exactly what I was going to. It did not matter who's his quarterback this year. He still put up amazing numbers. Now you get him an upgrade, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, God willing, Lamar Jackson. Things get exciting now.
I love when people throw in he played with 4 quarterbacks and they do the Chris Streveler for a half just to make it seem a little bit better.
Facts.
Now he's a stud. I think it was Ken Walker came in second. It was close,
Yeah.
right? It
He
was
got
close.
more first place
He did.
votes.
Like,
Olave
than-
should have.
Olave should have got a little bit more love than he
was
did.
definitely should be in that conversation.
But Kenny Walker, I understand.
This was
Yeah,
Brees Award, man. He didn't
If
get hurt.
Low
Brees
high
didn't get
key.
hurt, he would have won this
Kenneth
award.
Walker's
Probably going
different.
away. Oh my God!
Kenneth Walker or Brees Hall?
Are you
Kenneth
watching
Walker.
Charlotte Hornets Hornets?
You heard this? You heard
Oh,
this?
okay.
I don't.
I thought you were
You
watching.
think I was gonna flip the side, bro?
Bro, I'll be really, really transparent. No way.
Mike Muscala hit his first 3 as a Celtic.
You did?
Yep.
So you didn't think I was gonna say Brees?
He's not going to play in the playoffs.
No, I knew you were gonna say Kenny Walker.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not.
That's why I'm absolutely floored.
Kenneth Walker is that guy.
He's really good.
Oh, Brees Hall is
He's
good
really
too.
good.
Brees Hall is great too,
No, amazing.
but I like Kenneth Walker better. I do. Kenny Walker, their
Even,
abilities.
even
big
your boy
thing.
Garrett Wilson said it. If Brees stays healthy, this is not my award.
I respect Garrett Wilson a lot. I'm not gonna let him sway my opinion.
He kept it 100 though.
I don't know, your franchise wide receiver. Maybe that have a little bit of bias towards your opinion.
Now, for people in the chat and people listening on the audio of this podcast, we're getting into the NBA right now.
Here we go. Lock
20
in.
minutes. We
We've
had a,
been
you know,
waiting.
No
Mojo
DP,
sponsorship.
Sauce.
No, but that's
So-
not what Mojo. We don't have defensive
Oh,
players.
right,
right,
right. My bad.
You know, offensive players are on Mojo. So
Sauce
we had
won,
a-
and
Sauce won defense rookie.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
in coaches, they don't have that on Mojo
Dable,
either.
facts.
Brian Dable, you want to talk about a stock that would have gone up exponentially? Brian Dable, come on.
So basically, you know, NBA trade deadline happened, and some breaking news also is that Mojo NBA version of it will be available next week.
Hot.
Ooh,
It will be
let's go.
available next week.
Here we go.
So you can invest
Reddish
into young
stock.
players. I'm going. Anthony Edwards is the first player I'm investing in. It's easy for me. Anthony Edwards,
That's fair.
So LeBron's going to be the highest or the most expensive.
no doubt.
KD's probably going to be
Steph.
up there.
Yeah, we got
Steph.
we
We got a sneak peek.
we got
Did you?
No, we
LeBron
did.
was 1. Giannis was 2.
Steph was in.
Giannis.
Steph was like 6.
Steph was like
Where was
6.
Probably
Tatum?
because of injury.
This is a
Tatum was
gar-
around Steph.
He was
around
above
Tatum.
Embiid.
with all due respect, Mojo. I love you to no end. Garbage. Steph Curry 6.
Westbrook was
Probably
like
because
top
of his
15.
injury
That
currently.
makes no sense though.
Should have been there.
Listen, man, I was busy. I take care of Auntie. Come on.
Jokic is 3, I think.
Respect that.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was no. We got a sneak peek. It was cute. It was a lot of arguments going to be had.
Yeah.
Just no.
Yeah,
it's a lot,
we're gonna
stuff.
definitely have a lot of arguments with that.
That's
It's
exciting.
funny because we were looking at it through section to section. Anthony Simons, Tyler Hero, Tyrese Maxey, Jordan Poole were all kind of in
the
there.
age-old question.
They were all like in the same realm.
But rightfully
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And Josh Giddey and Cade are like at the same price because you know Cade got injured and stuff. So
Steph Curry 6. That's not sitting right.
No,
with
I
me.
think Poole was like 20 spots ahead of them.
yeah, I think Poole was
It was
ahead
like in
of
the
them, yeah.
50s.
Well,
They
it
were
has
like
to be
in
due to
the-
situation.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
He's
They're all in
great
good
system.
situations.
No,
up here.
Yeah, but he's
no,
in the best.
No, stop,
Him,
stop,
Maxey,
stop.
And here,
stop.
right, well, right now,
Stop,
Philly's
stop,
the best
stop.
because they're
No, but
winning.
they're not.
Stop doing it.
I'm
Stop.
serious.
Stop. Enough.
All
They
right.
just lost to Luke Cornett.
So wait, hold on. Tyler Hero's starting.
What does that have to do with anything?
Poole's not starting.
But he does start.
Yeah, now because somebody's hurt. I think Hero,
He's going to
Hero
be a
has
starter
the best,
eventually. Though.
Hero has the best opportunity.
Yeah, but Poole has
He's not
started
as
and
good as
the
Poole,
offense
succeeded.
to
but he's not as good as Poole.
I know.
All right, so then what are we doing here?
Mojo knows too.
Mojo's smart.
Yeah.
I love Mojo.
Except for this Steph Curry shit. I'm sorry, it's not
He's
sitting
30.
right with
He's
me.
34.
He should have definitely been higher. He
Like,
should
what
be
are we
number
doing?
2 over Giannis.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But
You know,
I
they're
think they're
age,
probably projecting that Giannis has a better all-time career than Steph.
Which
That's
would
gonna be tough.
insane.
That's gonna be
They
tough.
have 2 MVPs though. They
be
have the
tough.
same MVPs.
I
He
got
has
it.
4
I
rings.
got it.
Rings is
No,
gonna be
he has
hard.
more rings, but Giannis has a DPOY. He has all defensive teams.
Yeah.
Like when we talk about
It's not. It's not.
no, it's just when we talk about all-star games and all-star and all NBA selections and defensive teams, Giannis would probably finish with more. It's not crazy to say that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't think he's gonna be ranked higher than Steph.
Curry
It's all
changing the
said and done.
got
game.
the same
Curry
amount
being the
of
best
finals
three-point
MVP as him.
shooter.
Their
He has 4
MVPs don't even hold the
MVPs.
same amount of weight.
No.
4 championships. He has 2 MVPs, 1 unanimous, first unanimous ever.
True.
Correct?
Right now, though, like Giannis has 7 All-Stars. Steph has 9.
Oh, listen, you don't have to tell me about. I know Giannis is going to have an
Giannis gonna
amazing.
They have the
more
same amount of
longevity.
All NBA
It's
first
just
teams.
how about we have some respect for Steph Curry?
No doubt. But they have the same amount of All NBA first teams.
Giannis's peak
Steph
is gonna be
has 2
longer.
more All NBA teams, but Giannis has 6 to his
Like
8.
Steph is already like a conversational top 10 player all time.
But if you
And I
think
say
Top
conversation
20
because
ever,
it's
though.
debatable.
you don't think
Giannis
Giannis can into that though?
Most definitely. But
Top
as
10?
of right now, where we stand, we need to acknowledge that Steph Curry is even in the conversation with Magic Johnson as best point guard ever.
Yeah, correct. But to defend Mojo though, I think that they're also projecting future.
Uh-huh.
So is it crazy to say Giannis can finish better all time than Steph?
For him to do it, you have to win more, a lot more. If you look at the top 10, most guys have 2 to 3 rings, 4 rings, and if they have 2 rings, they did it at like a different.
If
second
Giannis
Curry
ring.
gets-
has 4 and had they've been waiting on the finals MVP. Got it. He has the 2
but
MVPs
Giannis's
already.
peak will probably be longer.
Legit question.
Should
though.
be.
Legit question. If Giannis wins another championship and finals MVP, are his 2 championships more valuable than Steph's 4? Or are they equal?
I would say
Because 2 of Steph's came with KD. And I'm saying
and the other one was with Kevin Love and Kyrie both hurt, but nevertheless, still
We're
a
gonna
good
really
performance.
play
he put.
the
That's what I
injury
said.
card?
No,
Nah.
and that's
Yeah.
good.
With
Raptors,
Giannis, we shouldn't do
I would
that.
love to finish the statement.
I would say your guys.
It,
Though.
it really didn't matter
Toronto.
because either which way, he had a great performance and they won the championship very comfortably. And then it was solidified with this most recent
Oh
championship.
no, I was gonna say if you're gonna play the injury card, Giannis wouldn't have won.
Interesting because
Oh,
of
the
KD
Nets
and
would've
the
won it all?
Nets.
If that's what people like to say, right?
Oh, so now you're gonna agree.
No, but I'm saying that's what people
Interesting.
like to say.
That's what Joel
Now,
likes to say.
interesting.
That's what people like to say.
You know what, Joel? I want to apologize to you and you only.
thank you.
No, that's what people like to
It's
say.
all right,
So if
Riv.
you play
That's
the
okay.
injury
Do you believe
card,
that?
I won't do that.
I just don't play the card.
Oh.
So I wouldn't bring up the injuries.
But
you-
I mean
you-
that he brought up a valid point though. I mean,
What?
LeBron was playing with Dellavedova,
Dellavedova and Timothy Mozgov.
and it went to 6.
They were starting.
I'm not disagreeing.
Well, can we get to the original question though? Would Giannis's 2 championships equal Steph's 4?
No.
It'll depend on.
No.
We're gonna have
When
to
you
see the
add in
run.
context,
We're gonna have
to
to
it.
see the run. Exactly. We're gonna have to see.
I mean,
the run.
Giannis is-
nothing. Well, no.
It's gonna be
Fuck
I
really
think
hard.
Steph's recent championship
clears
is
both of them.
comparable to Giannis's championship he just won.
It
That's
clears.
But
Clears.
Steph's first 3 championships,
Clears.
especially the ones with,
Clears.
I mean,
Giannis was
if we-
unbelievable. He
Steph
dropped
was-
50 in a
Steph-
closing
Steph
game.
averaged 30 on
Enough,
elite efficiency against
enough.
the
Your bias
best
is showing.
defense
Your bias
in
is
the
showing.
world.
Your bias is
The
showing.
best defense. And
Riv, I'm
who's
not
better,
having it.
Boston or Phoenix?
Riv, I'm-
Who was better, Boston or Phoenix? Who was better, Boston or Phoenix? Be serious right now. Who was better, Boston or Phoenix?
who played better in the finals though? It was
Probably
Giannis.
Boston.
Huh?
Giannis had a better finals performance than
No,
Steph.
no, he didn't.
Bro, he had a
No, he
50
didn't.
balling in the
No, he
closing game.
No, he didn't.
Riv,
Steph
stop.
averaged third.
You can be a fan and acknowledge that.
I don't
We're
know.
talking about 2 of the best, so it's not like
No,
it's like
no,
we're
but that's why you
sticking
again,
stones here. But
again,
Giannis averaged 35, 13, and 5 in the
yeah,
finals.
Steph averaged 30 on I think like 50, 40, 90 percentile. Like he was on a different level
one-
scoring the
and
ball
then the defense
against
that Giannis is
against
putting
the
forth
best defense
every
in
single
the
night.
world.
How about
I mean, yeah,
the,
we're talking about the
and
two-way
the
player.
block also that we don't even
The-
talk
the
about
40
as much
The 47
because
point
of the
game
50.
in Boston was crazy. It's
Steph
comparable.
averaged 31, 6, and 5 in the finals.
No, he was
They
fantastic.
were both great.
They were
No,
great.
they are.
But
So
you
it's
can
like-
just acknowledge, yes, Steph was great.
I can't-
It's just Giannis was better.
What do you mean? It's a toss up. You acting
No,
like
it
one
wasn't.
is how is it? How was one? How's not toss?
Because
how's not a
again,
toss-up?
defensively, Giannis was at a different level, and on top of it,
I mean,
he dropped the 50 in a
yeah.
game.
Giannis had
and a
Giannis
clo-
had 2 40 balls and a 50 ball in
no,
the finals.
Giannis was amazing.
That's
but
it.
we're
Steph
not gonna
had
act like
1
it
40-point game in the
was-
finals.
yeah, Giannis was amazing. We're not gonna act like this was like it wasn't close. Boston was a better team.
We're not saying it's close. We're just
I'm
saying
saying
that
Giannis was better.
Boston, I think Steph was better. Boston was
but
a
he
better
wasn't.
team. Boston was a better team. Golden State wasn't a better team than the Bucks. Steph was damn near out by himself on offense a lot of the times against the Celtics. I mean, against the Celtics, and he was doing his thing. He was willing them to wins.
Well, the one game that they decided to be selfless and pass the ball because they decided to stop, playing drop. His teammates picked up the slack and were amazing.
Question: are Kevin Durant's championships with Golden State tainted?
In my opinion, for sure.
Wait, what?
Kevin Durant's championship with Golden State, for sure.
Are Steph's 2 that he won with him tainted?
In my opinion, you have to say yes. But it's more so a knock on Kevin as opposed to Steph, because Steph was there all along. Steph didn't say, put a gun to Kevin Durant's head and say, join Golden State Warriors. Kevin Durant
Facts,
made
but
decision
a
on his
juggernaut's
own.
a juggernaut, though.
Don't disagree.
Yeah.
It's more so on KD than it is on Curry, but it still impacts Curry, no doubt. I agree.
Curry definitely had to give the okay for that to happen, though.
Why wouldn't he?
sure.
Exactly.
Who
It's
says
smart.
Why
but
wouldn't
Who says
anybody?
Yeah, it's Kevin
Who says
Durant.
no?
he would have to,
Nobody in the world says no.
Like,
Michael Jordan says yes. Come on, KD.
That's
let's
why
play.
that's why I say, like, I can understand where Mojo's coming from, because future value, I'm not saying
sixth.
I'm not saying Giannis is gonna finish higher all time than Steph, but it's not crazy to say that he can,
But Steph sixth is irresponsible.
And what about Jokic? He's about to be a 3-time straight MVP.
With one Western Conference Finals appearance, and that's it.
No, true, but future value, you know what I'm saying? And
Steph Curry, what more future value do you want? If you got told,
no, like his values right now is fixed.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I understand, but
Yeah.
LeBron's is number one, right? I mean, of course, we're talking about the greatest player of all time. But then number 2, if you were told your player is going to give you 4 championships, he's going to win 2 MVPs, he's going to have the all-time record in 3-pointers made. What more could you have asked for? To be 6th on the list is nuts.
I mean, correct. I definitely agree with Steph being too low. We'll see where everybody is officially.
I'm assuming Luka has to be over him if he's 6th.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, I'm assuming.
I understand Luka, though.
Luka could,
crazy.
yeah.
Projectile was crazy.
Projecting's nuts.
Yeah, projectile was crazy.
Because 4
for
rings
Luka.
is going to be damn near impossible for him to get. I'm not going to lie.
That's the only
I
thing.
understand Luka, though. I do understand
Luka's
Luka.
first.
Do you
understand,
understand
but not
Luka more
Jokic?
so than Jokic? That's my point.
The Joker's a different case.
Luka's
It's gonna
first.
be
It might be
3-time
Luka 3.
MVP.
I'm not sure, but Luka. I mean, his first 4 seasons, you could compare with LeBron.
Anyone's.
Yeah,
Anyone's.
Joker's gonna win 3
But
times.
I only
MVP,
say
but-
Jokic to be 2-time back-to-back MVP on potentially on his way
3.
to a 3rd.
Yeah, that
I mean,
one's-
I haven't gotten
And-
a look at it, but I would assume just off that alone, it has to be a
And
little bit higher.
And they're your pick to come out of the West, so he could get his first finals appearance too.
he needs it.
Jokic.
Yeah.
Correct.
No, he needs it. Like he
needs it bad.
He needs it.
The same way that
To win
Embiid,
it-
the
to
same way
win-
Embiid needs to go to an Eastern Conference Finals,
To
the same way
win
he needs to
3
go and win.
MVP straight and not even make a WCF would be a failure.
I agree.
Unless somebody gets hurt, of course.
You're spitting.
When they release the full list,
That's gonna be
we
exciting.
will definitely.
That's a good segment to talk
we will
about. no doubt.
definitely be debating every other week about where they're ranking all time, because it's going to be very interesting. Now, 2 things that are people to the people that are watching live on YouTube.
Mhm.
Number 1, we are indeed live. Last stream and even this stream, I see people
I know.
commenting
This is
Are they live?
that this is
It's
pre-recorded. This is not pre-recorded.
Ask that shit.
It's just last episode. As soon as the 3-team trade happened, you guys wanted us to talk about it instantly when we were in the middle of a debate and we were talking about our segments. We're not going to just
And we talked about it right after.
yeah, and we also talked about it
Right
before
before.
then about the potential that it was
Yeah.
probably going to happen during the show. Number 2, we are going to read the super chats. We are not going to read them as they come, but John is starring all the super chats, and after we finish the segment, we'll take time to read them throughout the show. So don't worry about that. It won't be at the back end of the show. We're going to read it. Just let us go through our segments. And also like up the stream. 566 viewers in here, 126 likes. Let's get this stream to 200 plus likes.
Run it up.
Now-
Run it up.
First topic of the show.
Here we go.
That's basketball.
Let's get into the show.
Winners and losers of the trade deadline. We'll talk about some of these moves, the biggest ones individually, and they'll have their own
No
segment.
doubt.
But just real quickly, just broad stroke, winners and losers of the deadline. We'll start off with winners. I'll start with you, Riv.
Oh wait, I don't have
Stroke
my
it
list
good,
up.
man.
Oh god, I don't have my list up. Somebody go in front of me.
Obvious name. Los Angeles Lakers have
Winners?
to be winners.
Winners,
We have to
obvious?
be winners.
Lakers. You
That's
think so?
that's the first name we're gonna mention.
No, absolutely. It has to be.
The Suns. What the
The
fuck
Suns.
are we doing here?
Suns number 1.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
If we're
Wow.
ranking winners.
I mean,
What?
obviously, quickly, now I got the list up. Jesus Christ, Suns, Lakers, Clippers for me. Just the quickly run up there. I'm sure there's more when I dive in deep, but those are the 3 obvious winners, like the ones that popped off the screen for the Suns. Obviously, getting another superstar to capitalize and to put with Devin Booker, I think that is incredible. And then you managed to keep DeAndre Ayton. That's going to be great. They also brought in the trade TJ Warren, so that's something good. You bring in another wing. They just got to bulk up in the buyout market. They should be fine. Lakers, obviously, getting back D'Lo, Vando, Malik Beasley for Russell Westbrook is fucking amazing. I think Malik Beasley's a good bucket. I've been watching a lot of Utah ball. Vando's a good connector in the passing lanes. Defensively, he's great. He's not a scorer, but you don't need him to do that at the moment.
Good
and then, of course,
though.
and then he's
No facts.
not a scorer.
Just saying, good
a lot
efficiency.
of layups.
I'm fine with it.
And then D-Lo. You know what you're going to get with D-Lo. Streaky, but sometimes he can get hot and do his thing. Good playmaker, good shooter. And then the Clippers. I'm very upset with the Clippers that they didn't.
I got love for D-Lo, but it's sickening how you're flipping aside right now.
Bro, what?
Yeah. He did.
He's on my roster.
Now D-Lo is.
Yeah, he got caught. He got caught. Yeah, he got caught.
Bro, he's reloading. I'm reloading too. I'm readjusting how I see him.
The Clippers getting the backup big. Me and Drew was just talking about it. Getting the backup big was good. That's something that they needed. I wish they would have got it.
They got Plum God.
Yeah, I wish they would have gotten a playmaking point guard, but getting Eric Gordon, who still has something left in the tank, that's good. Bringing in Bones, somebody who can provide that spark off the bench, see what he can give you. That's something good. I think for the most part, just off the top of my head, those are the three teams that definitely get a winner for me.
You said a lot of facts. Absolutely. Suns, Lakers, those two have to be winners. Another winner too, the Knicks acquiring Josh Hart. That is definitely a great move for them. Portland, we're going to talk about them when we talk about the losers. I did not love their trade deadline. But the Knicks acquiring Josh Hart, a guy that essentially can do a little bit of everything for them, pass the ball, rebound the basketball, finish at the basket, shoot the three ball a little bit. You just needed a little bit extra talent if you are the New York Knicks. And again, the connection that Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart have, that is one that goes back to the days in Nova. Jalen Brunson was already super ecstatic. You saw the video when he saw the news break. Knicks are definitely a winner for me.
Hopefully Josh Hart can learn how to shoot again, get back to last year's form. He's around 30% this year. I know on low attempts, I'm sure Joel is going to have some stat out there that's going to make it seem like he'll come to the Knicks and shoot 45%. The other team, I agree, Suns, Lakers, Clippers. I wouldn't say the Knicks are winners, but they're not losers. I would add the Mavs in here, even though we don't know what's going to happen long-term with Kyrie. P said it on the last podcast. You have to show Luka that you're trying to build a championship team. And Mark Cuban is a very influential person. He knows a lot of people. If him and Kyrie get down to room together, I'm not gonna put it out of the realm possibility Kyrie doesn't stay with the Mavericks, even though the Lakers do seem like his number one option.
The biggest winner, the Phoenix Suns. It's Durant. Durantula. Now listen.
Do I have to hear Suns Celtics?
I love
now
this.
Going forward.
Listen, the Celtics. It pains me to say this. It does.
Does it?
But I thought long and hard about it last night. You guys know I sit in my room, the chair, infamously. I was sitting in my chair and I was thinking, staring at the wall.
Dark?
That win you guys had against Philly, earn my respect.
Oh, that was it.
You earn my respect.
Okay.
And
it's good to know.
In the Eastern Conference, it's the Celtics and Bucks. Everybody else doesn't matter.
I agree.
That's it. Everybody else doesn't matter. In terms of going to the finals, nobody else matters.
So Philly's cooked.
Now Philly's cooked.
Philly's cooked.
Here we go.
The reason why
Philly was pushing that for a week.
Daryl Morey didn't make enough moves this deadline.
McDaniels didn't move you?
Not enough to get them into that elite tier.
Yep.
I like Embiid a lot. Of course, he's an elite player. James Harden's just too unreliable as a player right now. I don't think he's aggressive enough. He's one of the better playmakers in the NBA, but I
brought this to your attention a couple of weeks ago.
I feel like in order for the Sixers to be favorites or to be in that elite tier, Harden can't average 22 and 10. He has to average 27 and 9.
100%
he has to be that type of player, and he just doesn't have that gear anymore. And you couple that in with his past playoff failures, it's just not a logical bet to take.
What are we doing?
Oh, Cam Reddish is starting.
No way.
Starting? Okay. Bro is on that.
He was going to start, though. Yeah.
I thought they was going to start Nasir Little.
No. Cam
Kill
Reddish.
myself.
But, yeah.
We'll be in tune tonight, baby.
Celtics, you earn my respect. Listen. I like the Suns and I like the Nuggets a lot. The Mavericks are a close third.
With no defense.
Their defense will be fine.
Really?
Yes.
Josh Green.
I
forgot.
And Maxi Kleber. He's coming back. You guys sleep on Maxi Kleber's defense. I don't know why you think he's like just this porous defender.
No, we don't sleep. We just laugh when you like bring him up when we talk about like stopping like elite players.
No, but he's a great defender though.
No, yeah, but when we talk about like who's stopping who, and you say shit like
no
Maxi
defender
Kleber.
can stop anybody.
Yeah, well,
you know
it's easy when they see Maxi Kleber.
No defender can stop.
It's not easy with Maxi, bro.
You didn't watch Dallas versus the Clippers, didn't you?
Oh, it's Kawhi made it look easy against Maxey, so Maxey's just horrible against everybody else.
No, that's
it's
that's,
Kawhi.
No, but you're pointing him as that's your stopper.
Correct. No, he's what he's saying is facts.
Okay, cool. So you're saying to me that the Mavericks don't have somebody who can stop Kawhi and Paul George.
Anything.
That's basically what you're saying, though.
No, don't.
Okay,
I mean, essentially.
No, I'm just confused why you keep saying Cleaver.
Okay, nobody can stop Kawhi. Paul George will stop himself.
Whoa, my God! What is?
How about whoa?
It's not.
Are we not?
That narrative's dead, bro. It's dead.
Come on, Paul George.
Because of one playoff.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Okay, nobody's stopping Luka. We know that.
Exactly.
Kawhi can't stop Luka. Neither can Paul George. None of them can stop Luka.
Why are we making this a Clippers versus Dallas?
All I'm saying is that they can't stop him. So yeah, the Mavericks don't have guys that can stop Kawhi, but nobody has guy that can stop Luka either.
Once again,
or Kyrie.
This has nothing to do with the Clippers.
That's all I'm saying. Though
you'd also take your odds with Paul George and Kawhi eliminating them than the other way around.
Luka and Kyrie are a better duo than Kawhi and PG.
Two-way? No. Offensively,
all around they are better. I don't care about two-way.
Offensively,
all around
sure. I mean, you should care about defense.
All around they're better. I'd rather have that duo lead than me personally.
It's not crazy, but defense matters.
So all I'm saying is I'm actually a good defender. That's all I said. The Clippers won too. I think they won. Bones, Holland, Gordon, Plumlee, the Bucks getting Jay Crowder. They were just missing one piece. Listen, I know people were like, "Oh, why'd they win? They only got Crowder," but they only need one piece, and that is their PJ Tucker replacement. And they needed to replace Tucker. They now replaced him with Jay Crowder, and Jay Crowder can defend. He's versatile. He can shoot. He's a heart and soul. He's one of those guys you need.
He's on winners every year.
I don't know.
He's all right. He's the finals team.
Now, what was funny as hell is if you wanted a very good role player this year, you needed to give away 5 seconds.
It was pretty
gave 5 seconds, you got a solid role player.
However the hell you want, honestly.
Bro, that really was funny. I will say this. I'm a little iffy on Jay Crowder being the missing piece. We'll see. No doubt. He's a solid. Yeah.
Hasn't played all year.
Yeah.
Come in and
he's
play
a solid
level.
Not to knock him. Solid role player, can definitely shoot, can defend very well. We'll see.
If they would have got somebody like Jordan Clarkson, I would have said, "All right, that's the missing piece."
They didn't need a Jordan Clarkson, though.
They
needed more of a Jay Crowder.
I still think they need another bucket.
Who's their backup? They traded George Hill. Who's their?
Javon Carter.
Trying to get right.
I guess
Joe Ingles is good though. Joe Ingles has been, he's been looking better recently. I mean, their team. Right, you have Drew Holiday, Giannis, Middleton, Crowder, Lopez off the bench, Bobby Portis, Javon Carter.
You probably want one more scorer off the bench.
I just think to be safe with Middleton, you never know.
Bobby Portis is that though. Bobby Portis, he's not like
not
shot
creating
creator.
he's not creating
he's definitely a mismatch against any backup centers in the league. I thought that the Bucks, not
Mike Muscala.
They were. I thought this addition was very good though. It was very good. The Lakers, you guys finally have a solid 8-man rotation, so I think that's always nice.
It's amazing. NBA players.
We're going to talk about them later, so I didn't decide to go into my huge spiel.
The Mavericks getting Kyrie. Listen, I don't think they gave up much for him. Even if he decides to walk and he's a rental, the Mavs have cap flexibility, and they didn't give up much picks. So, it's not really a lose situation for them.
We're just going to see who wants to go to Dallas.
Correct.
Not that Luka isn't an attractive option to play with, obviously. It's just the market. Dallas is a bigger market for sure, but are they that big of a market? We're going to find out.
And the last two teams that I had winning, the Knicks, of course, getting Josh Hart.
Loved it.
Man, 37% from 3 last season. Not this season, last season.
30%.
He shot 6 attempts, though.
Mm-hmm.
He shot only 2 attempts.
John's
now,
laughing.
with the Knicks, he'll shoot 6 attempts. He'll get back to
John,
that number.
let's talk about Josh Hart.
And you saw Jalen Brunson's reaction?
Oh, yeah, that was tough. That was tough.
What are we doing here?
Talk to me about Josh Hart.
What are we doing here, Josh Hart? Another guard that can't shoot? We're going to back up RJ Barrett. You'll have 7 guys that can't shoot now. Give up a first-round pick for him, too. Sorry.
You know what's funny about John is that he comes in here on his high horse when early in the year he said, this is the best Blazers team Dame has ever had. I love Josh Hart. And now the Knicks get him. He sucks. What is this?
I said they're the best defense around Dame. And 24th ranked defense since I said that. So clearly not.
He's a good defender, though. And
Yes,
he is a solid
guy.
We're built
But if he
a
can't
great
shoot-
culture. He'll shoot, bro.
Okay.
I promise you. I've watched Josh Hart his entire career, dating back to Villanova.
Okay.
He's been my guy.
But-
Next step is getting Mikal Bridges. That's the next step.
You good enough for first?
For Mikal,
The Nets turn that down.
we have to save that for Joel Embiid.
I
When
agree.
he comes to the Knicks. Embiid, baby. Jalen Brunson, Julius Embiid.
Philadelphia would never trade Embiid
To the Knicks.
To the Knicks.
Get him RJ Barrett in picks.
Okay.
I think they'd rather eat shit.
Yeah,
than
just-
that.
the next
we'll
group,
give you a garbage truck and 4 first-round picks.
Yeah. Oh, well, respect
Garbage
RJ,
shit.
please.
No, I won't.
It's better than Cam.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
We'll see. You know,
Not saying
maybe,
a lot.
maybe this
Rob
is.
only has 2 points.
Oh my goodness, what's the quarter?
It's gotta be halftime.
He'll get to 10.
Okay.
We're up 20 though.
He'll play hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm cooked, bro. Nah, Rob will. That I'm never bet on him again.
I saw that, and that one kind of made me sick.
I should have just bet on Jason Tatum's double. How much does he have?
Let's see.
15 and 2. Yeah, that was cooked too. Okay. On to losers at the trade deadline. Who do you think lost? I'll start with you, Riv.
The losers was tough. You could go, Riv, just because we're going to talk about it later. It felt like more so the teams that didn't make a move were the losers rather than
No,
the
Drew has
trade
a good one.
itself.
He told me one in the car. Go ahead, Drew.
The Warriors. The Warriors had
I
to
do
be-
have them on my list. Yeah.
They were losers. They were losers, but right now with this trade being up in the air, I feel a little iffy on it for the sole fact of, let's say this trade goes through and we're going to have the conversation like you did. You traded your number 2 overall selection in James Wiseman, which obviously we can sit here and understand that was a mistake. You should have went LaMelo Ball. That's it. End the story. We can move on. But you traded your number 2 overall pick for 5 seconds. With that alone, what are you really getting? You traded James Wiseman for a ham sandwich. I tweeted that and it's facts. You traded him for absolutely nothing. But then you got GP back. And I was like, okay. You trade these seconds. Now you get Gary Payton, who had success with you. But now my issue becomes is, why didn't, if you were just going to want to bring and keep Gary Payton and bring him back, why didn't you just keep Gary Payton this offseason? And now people are going to tell me we had to sign Poole. We had to financially figure out what we were going to do with Wiggins, all this, that, and the other. But you're bringing him back now. And you're going to bring on this contract. So essentially, you could have just signed him this offseason and saved yourself having to trade a player already or trade the picks.
We saved 130 million trading Wiseman.
Financially, it makes a ton of sense.
Wait.
A straight
Yeah.
basketball move, it doesn't make sense. But with
Luxury
the luxury
tax bill.
tax, they would have been paying 130
a lot
million.
of money trading Wiseman.
And
But
the,
now,
the owners are rich, but 130 million.
130 million is insane. I did
And
not know
you got to
that.
remember, owners were
Yes.
complaining, so they were kind of like they were hindering the Warriors. It was a lot of shit.
130 million because of this luxury tax.
Yeah.
That makes things a little bit more understandable. But
Yeah, basketball doesn't make sense.
Straight
but-
basketball move, it's
But
shit.
it's just right now, too, where the Warriors and how they've been playing, obviously they've been injured. And with no Steph Curry, you can't have strong expectations. You can understand that Klay has been playing very well this season, no doubt about it. Poole, when he starts, has been really good. But there's a strong inconsistency, especially when they're on the road. So I would have liked you guys to be a little bit more aggressive, especially after this Wiseman deal. They were saying, Bob Myers got to check up his sleeve, get ready. OG Anunoby's on the way. And then
Real
OG
close.
Anunoby goes absolutely nowhere. And now the Warriors are stuck with, of course, a team that did just go to the NBA Finals. But it seems like things are a little bit off. Obviously, now that it's not fully 100% whether this trade's going to go through and Gary Payton's not going to Gary Payton might not come to the Warriors. And if he does come to the Warriors, allegedly he'll miss 3 months.
It's possible up to.
So
Yeah,
I
we
mean, this is a
uh,
loss all around.
OG, the front office said no. We had OG in the bag. They wanted Kuminga. FO said no. We're not doing that. Decided to dead the deal. So I also would have said no.
I would, I understand the upside side.
Really?
Of Kuminga.
No,
Really? Come
they called
on,
me-
bro.
they
Him-
called-
No, forget. No, I
What do
understand
you
you're a fan. I understand you're a fan of Kuminga. He's a cool dude. He's a very good basketball player. Can we understand and sit here that
And say what about
OG
OG?
is one of the best defenders in the league right now?
Yeah.
OG can give you 20 any given night.
You don't
I
need
don't-
that, though.
He
I don't
could.
know.
I'm not saying he needs to. I'm not saying he needs
I
to,
don't
but he
know.
still has very good scoring ability.
16, I guess, not 20. 16.
Creation.
Last year he averaged what, 19?
I don't know. I'm good. I don't.
Especially with on defense, which is what you guys need a little bit of right now.
He
I'm
averaged
good.
17 last year.
Okay, I apologize.
I don't think OG was the needle mover. Personally,
What was?
Well, no, so,
Nothing.
all right.
like
Oh,
nothing
just
we could
stick
get.
the squad.
Yeah, nothing we could get right now is a.
So you're cool with being kind of mid?
right now. Yeah, we have flashes. Just
You
want a
do.
ring. Fuck cares. But OG,
But you want to
Bob Myers is gonna have to
yeah,
lock
but
in.
giving up 3 picks and Kaminga for OG.
Understand.
I'm being. You guys just won a championship.
We would
So
have
he
sat
got-
here
he-
and said the Raptors made a great move.
Yeah.
That's what we would have done.
We just said the Raptors capitalized.
Yeah.
And then OG would have came into town. We would have watched him create bricks.
I might
Is
be
OG better than Mikal Bridges?
I don't think so. They're the same type of player.
Yeah,
They
I
are
think
pretty
Mikal maybe
similar.
gets
They
a
are,
little
but
bit more
Mikal's better. I
offensively.
like Mikal better.
Mikal probably
You have a
gives
this
more
weird
offensively.
obsession with
He-
Mikal.
No, he's
No,
loving
suddenly.
Mikal. The last
Suddenly.
It's
week,
interesting.
the last
it's very
week,
interesting.
he started scoring like 22 points a game.
I might be.
Now he's a Suns
I,
fan now?
I don't know if I'm in
Yeah,
the
yes.
minority.
You saw
on
he
this.
posted some Suns
He's a
stuff
Katie
today?
guy.
Is
guy.
it?
Yes. If you
Oh.
weren't aware, You were because it was news to me too.
No,
but he made it seem like it was.
He's
a
also-
fact.
he also a
I am a
Dallas guy
Suns
now?
guy. I'm a Suns guy.
I might be in the minority on this, but I don't hate that the Raptors didn't trade any of their guys.
Oh, we'll talk about it later.
We will.
We will.
So you're a Suns guy now.
Yes.
I have the Raptors as a loser for the Jakob Poeltl trade.
I thought it was a good deal.
They
but
needed a big. They've needed a big for a couple seasons.
You're gonna
now.
have to pay him now. He's a free agent.
They'll probably
What
let
is
him
he gonna
walk.
get though? Like 10 million a
That's
year?
what I'm saying. Not that much.
The reports were 20.
That's not bad.
20? Nah, I don't think.
I think we can be in the
20 is
middle and say
crazy.
15. I think he'll get 15.
Even
Jakob Poeltl is a double machine. If he got
He's
20
getting
million
more
a
than
season,
10.
I
Listen,
He's
wouldn't.
getting
bro,
more than
Jakob
10.
Poeltl is like he's gonna get like a Mitchell Robbins contract. I think
Okay.
it's like 13,
Like,
14 million.
that's
a year.
good.
Yeah, I don't think he'll
That's
get.
firm.
He'll get more than 10. He ain't getting no fucking 20.
They needed a
Unless
big
you're the Hornets.
desperately.
I love Mikal Bridges though. 'cause
No, now he loves him.
You wanna know
He
why?
loves
You wanna
him.
know
Here we
why?
go. This is what's gonna happen.
J-
He's
is it
going
the-
to
is it
pump
Nova?
up Mikal Bridges.
is it Nova, Jalen Brunson? That
No, it's
yeah, I
not.
love
It's
that,
not.
yeah.
He just
Bro,
started talking about
I
him.
wanted the Knicks to draft Mikal Bridges.
It was 5 years ago.
I love.
You
his
haven't said a
game.
word since then.
What do you mean I haven't said a word?
Haven't said a
I'm
word
saying
about
your
Bridges
word right
since then?
now.
You
it
know
doesn't
what?
stop.
Go ahead,
We can go to old Suns
did-
videos and you can see I like Mikal Bridges. What are we talking about here?
Yeah,
I believe you, bro.
The reason I like him though a lot is because I think right now he's developing his game, his offensive game, and I think it's going to showcase itself in Brooklyn. I do, and I don't know why I forgot to say my other winner. The Nets are winners, man.
Huh?
Trading Katie and Kyrie, I think finally getting out that situation.
Okay, I'm glad you say
They're
this
winners.
because the Nets were definitely one of my losers as well.
You want to know why I have the Nets as winners? And people are nitpicking the Nets right now and Sean Marks. I think Sean Marks is a good GM. I think he's more great than he is good, in my opinion. And this is why. People are saying, oh, I would have loved to see the Nets ride it out with D'Lo and LeVert and Jared Allen and Dinwiddie. What's that getting you? Where's that getting you?
Bounce in the first, second
That's the Pacers with TJ Warren and Oladipo and Sabonis. I mean, that's not a team that can compete for a championship. Any GM is making the move Sean Marks made to get those two superstars in Kyrie and Kevin Durant. But you look at his track record drafting. He drafted Jared Allen. He drafted Nick Claxton, who now has replaced Jared Allen on the Nets. He drafted Karis LeVert. He drafted Kyle Kuzma, then traded him to the Lakers. He brought in Dinwiddie. He brought in D'Lo when he traded Brook Lopez to the Lakers, and D'Lo gave him an all-star season. Sean Marks rebuilt the Nets after they had traded all their picks to the Celtics. He rebuilt them into a playoff team. And we can all say the Nets' tenure was a disappointment. But Sean Marks made the right gamble. Did the gamble pay off? It did not. But now you see they traded Kyrie, they traded Kevin Durant, and this team is in a better position than they were before they got KD and Kyrie. This Nets roster is more talented than the 18-19 Nets with D'Lo and LeVert and Dinwiddie and Jared Allen. This roster is more talented. And you have the Phoenix Suns first-round picks unprotected in 2025, 2027, 2029. How much longer is Chris Paul going to play for the Suns? How much longer is Kevin Durant going to play for the Suns? In 2025,
He's 34.
I feel like we said this, and he told us Chris Paul still has a lot left in the tank.
yes, right now he does. But 2025, did you hear what I said? 2025, bro.
What about
That's 3
2025?
years. That's 2 years from now.
Yeah, Chris Paul will be gone.
Okay. You look at they have the 3 picks, 2025, 2027, 2029.
They have a swap.
Kevin Durant, Chris Paul are probably gone by 2027.
Yeah.
The Suns are most likely a lottery team if they don't have enough around D-Book and DeAndre Ayton. The Nets, with this roster they have now, in a couple years, can get a high draft pick. And these players they have currently, like Mikal, who they were offered 4 first-round picks for, probably some protections on it. They can very easily flip these players 4 more picks, and the Nets are in a good position. Now, I understand it's not the haul you would have liked for Kevin Durant. Definitely not. But the Nets are still in a good position for the future.
All right. Why they're losers is because of something I said on the last podcast that we had. The Nets are now responsible for trading Kevin Durant. Now let that set in. That statement alone set in, right? They're responsible for trading Kevin Durant, one of the greatest players in NBA history. They're also responsible for trading Kyrie Irving, which, if you want to say there was valid reason, no doubt about it. He wanted to get moved. So that's a little bit fair. But now you're also responsible for trading James Harden. The Nets are responsible for trading 3 top 75 players all time.
Before you continue, I have a question. Could they have not got a better deal for Kevin Durant last summer?
They could have.
but allegedly they weren't serious.
And they were denying those deals, right?
Yeah.
So why are we giving them I still think this is an L.
No, it's a bad L. It's a bad L.
Because
Mikel
the goal
and
is to win a
Cam are
championship
cute players,
for
no
them.
doubt. 4 first-round picks when Rudy went for 5
And they
when he
could've-
has 3 years left on his
could've got a
Jaylen
Jaylen Brown,
contract.
a
If
BI.
Mikel is worth 4, then we could have sat here and gotten 9.
Yeah, no,
Well, a
he's
team
not.
reportedly offered for first
I-
round
I
picks.
would
There's
love to
protections
know
on
the
them, I'm
team.
sure.
Yeah, but also I think what you said, surface level. Listen, I agree with you, but there's a lot of context behind that.
I'm tired of this context,
I
bro.
mean, there
always
is, and
context.
also in the offseason, they could have traded Katie and Kyrie, but when you invested into them, you want to see how it's going to play out.
No
And
doubt.
if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. But you're going to hold on to it as much as you can because having these 2 players is your best chance to win. And early in the season, they look like they can compete for a championship. Then things went off the rails when Kevin Durant got hurt and they didn't want to extend Kyrie Irving long term, which we can all agree, them not wanting to commit for Kyrie for 4 more years was a reasonable decision for Sean Marks to make. It was.
Yes.
So it was a reasonable decision. That being said, James Harden requested a trade because Kyrie Irving did not play the entire season and KD was hurt. And let's keep it a bean. I mean, James Harden quit on the Nets. You know, he came into last year overweight.
It's your goat.
That is my guy. I love James Harden to death. But we've seen him quit on 2 franchises in the last 3 years, the Rockets and then the Nets.
Yeah, I ain't gonna blame him from Houston.
So they traded James Harden. Hindsight, could have they gotten something better than Ben Simmons? Yeah, you know, and Seth, yeah, they could have, but that's why James Harden left. Kyrie Irving, this was last minute. He just requested a trade. You know, you put the Nets into a corner, and I thought they traded Kevin Durant, yes, but I thought they did right by Kevin Durant. Like, listen, Katie, you want to go to Phoenix? Okay.
They did 2 right by him.
Yeah, I know, but you want to go to Phoenix? We'll send you to Phoenix.
That's
and
fun.
Kevin Durant said, I don't want to play for this organization because we're not going to win a championship. Instead of tying him down, the Nets said, you know what? Yeah, we'll let you go, and we'll let you go to your desired preferred destination. And yes, like the haul they got back isn't what you would expect for KD. You want more. But Mikal Bridges is a very good player. Cam Johnson's a very good player. And those future Suns picks, unprotected, could be high picks in the
They're
draft.
valuable. We don't see unprotected first just fly around. We see it really only for superstars. I think it's a bit of both. The Nets are losers for this season because there was a stretch there where you can make the argument they were the best team in basketball. And we were having arguments back and forth between the Celtics and Nets and who would come out. And you have a legitimate case that they would be able to beat the Celtics. I'm obviously going to take my team, but take my bias aside. I know there's arguments out there with KD, Kyrie, Claxton's elevation, and the role players around them. They would have made that a series and could have gone to the finals. So if you're a Nets fan, you're sitting here saying, this was our best chance outside of the Harden year when he got injured to make the finals and possibly win it, especially with the West, not having one juggernaut like the Warriors, whoever in previous years. But long term, I do think they're winners because since they don't have any of their picks, right? The Rockets own all of theirs from the James Harden trade. They have no incentive to be bad. That means I think this upcoming offseason, they're going to be aggressive. They're going to be aggressive in any superstar that becomes available. They have draft picks, they have the role players, and even a step above players like a Mikal Bridges. They'd be able to go and get a star player. Now, it doesn't maybe make sense to people when you don't trade. You trade away KD and Kyrie, but they didn't want to be there. Kyrie didn't want to be there, and then once Kyrie left, KD didn't want to be there either. So in an ideal world, you would able to keep both of them and compete this year. But once Kyrie said he wanted out, you trade him because you weren't going to re-sign him anyway. It seems like you guys weren't going to come to an extension in the offseason. And then at that point, KD's saying, I'm not winning a championship. What am I doing here? So I guess you could have kept KD for the last 2-3 months of the season. But at the end of the day, we know this roster with KD, Mikal Bridges, we're not getting past the Celtics. We're not getting past the Bucks. They were not a championship level team. So it makes sense to move off him. I understand wanting more, especially when you compare it to the Gobert trade when you got 5-6 first-round picks. But I also think you take into account the Nets could have flipped Mikal for 4 firsts. And we could be sitting here saying the Nets got Cam Johnson and 9 first-round picks for Kevin Durant. That probably sounds a little bit better, or at least to people who want to compare it to the Gobert trade, saying, why didn't you get more picks? The Nets are just more flexible at this point, I think, or at least the Mikal Bridges trade, if they move off him for picks, they become more flexible. Now you have just a trophy chest. You're going to have 10, 15 draft picks over the next 6 or 7 seasons to do really whatever. And you could become, in a way, the new Thunder minus having SGA and some of these, Chet, some of the great young talent they have. I think this year they are losers, but if you're a Nets fan, you shouldn't look at it and saying, blow it all up. We have no chance the next 5 years to win a championship. Every single offseason, superstars become available. We see it more and more often, especially with more aggressive GMs. This offseason is going to be just like that. I don't know. I know you're saying Embiid to the Knicks. We don't know if that's going to happen in the Eastern Conference, if they're going to make that type of move. But we know there's going to be someone available this offseason. And the number one team we're going to be talking about is the Nets because of their draft picks, cap flexibility, and players on contract.
In hindsight, if I'm a Nets fan, I wanted Kyrie traded to the Suns. Because if Kyrie gets traded to the Suns, we still have Kevin Durant. And now we have Chris Paul. We have who? Jay Crowder and a first-round pick. And now at least there's still a glimmer of hope that you can make a chance at a run this season. Now, I guess instead of prolonging the inevitable, if you want to go that route, now they completely blow it up. Or yes, again, I'm not going to sit here and disrespect Mikal Bridges. I like Cam Johnson a lot. I understand now they have a treasure chest of first-round picks. But I really just can't sit with the idea of trading within a year 3 top 75 players, especially Kevin Durant, who is arguably the greatest scorer of all time. You have 3 years left on his contract. You get Mikal, Cam Johnson for 4 firsts. It's just, I can't sit with it. I can't.
No doubt. But
Are they going to pay Cam?
Cam who?
Cam Johnson.
I think they should. I would.
He shouldn't be that
restricted?
expensive.
Yeah, it's probably restricted.
The thing is,
Both 26.
I
Mikal
understand your
and-
perspective, but I just feel like the situation became combustible.
I understand.
And I don't think at that point it's better to just wash your hands and leave the situation.
I just feel like you bring in Chris Paul, you bring in Jay, you get the first round. Now you're showing KD, hey, we're still trying. We're trying to put a team around you that can compete still. We're trying our best.
But them getting
Is that a massive difference between
No.
Dinwiddie and DFS?
Yes, there is, in
Massive?
my opinion.
okay,
In my opinion,
Drew,
yes.
Drew, in your
For the
scenario,
sole fact that you have Chris Paul now who can get KD in his
I see
spots.
what you mean.
Essentially, in terms of competing for a championship,
KD would still be
Spence
there
and Dorian, I'm sorry.
no doubt. But I mean, after when we were talking about some like Kyrie trades, you didn't think that if they got Chris Paul, they'd compete for a championship anyway.
In hindsight, I'm speaking in hindsight solely. In hindsight, if I'm a Nets fan, I would have rathered Kyrie go to the Suns.
But do you
Because then I still have KD on my team.
do you think that Chris Paul with KD and that roster they currently have
Me,
are
no.
favorites?
No.
So if Sean Marks is looking at this from worst possible scenario,
But you still, would you, now we can speak.
I mean,
'cause
listen, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of I wanted KD to win a ring. You know
all
what
right,
I'm saying?
so speak objectively. You have Chris Paul, you have KD. I'll ask you as well. Could they still compete?
No.
Not for
Oh
a
wait,
chip.
For a chip, yeah, compete.
Yes, for a chip, no.
Championship.
They're not beating the Bucks or Celtics.
No.
They'd be a lot better than what they would be with Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith.
Chris Paul's playing.
They're
for
still
sure.
not
Correct.
beating the Celtics.
No,
or the
that's true.
Bucks.
But Sean Marks looking at it.
Just
Listen,
say,
if not,
hey, we're trying, KD. I understand.
I think the ceiling's the same with both.
I'm just like, what,
look,
what-
I agree with you if these guys are like 3 years younger,
Yeah.
but KD's
Fair.
34, Chris Paul's 36.
how,
Like
how,
Sean Marks looking at it like, listen, like even if we get Chris Paul, we're probably not going to win. Like, why do this? You know what I'm saying? Like, why like prolong this? Like, let's just get rid of it. Let's
And
just get
after
rid of
that
the
trade, it seemed like KD was on board with staying, or at least the report right after
He
was
said he'll
saying
play.
they're not going to make a move, and then obviously things
I'm
changed.
I would
just-
still have picks, though.
I'm curious because you said you talked about the Suns pick.
They got 4 from Phoenix.
And-
No, Phoenix now they have a ton, but
Yeah.
even before
They
this,
were only going to get 1 pick from Phoenix if Chris Paul came in. Jay Crowder is a free agent at the end of
Yeah.
the year, so Jay Crowder could have left. Chris
They honestly
Paul.
still could have flipped Jay Crowder.
It's always interesting for me because like there's a lot of
They did Jay
GMs in the league that are great at drafting outside the lottery and they do well. So like look like I wanted to look up Sean Marks' history and he's not the greatest at picking players, but with the guys he has picked, certain guys have popped. You know, but there's some bust in his draft. So I'm curious, how do you think, even though they have the Suns pick, how confident are you, Dehls? This is a question for you, sorry. How confident are you in the fact that, yeah, he has these Suns picks and yeah, they could be a lottery pick, but in developing these players? Because, I mean, looking at this draft history, it doesn't look like the confidence is there.
Can you name me the players you're looking at?
Sure.
Because Joel named off some good ones. You have
Cam
Clax,
Thomas
Jared Allen, Cam
is
Thomas.
there. Kessler Edwards, you know, he got traded. Marcus Zagorski.
Can you tell me what pick where they got
So-
drafted?
These are all late picks. Like, they
So-
don't have a lottery pick.
Riv,
Talk to
you're
me.
on Basketball Reference?
Yes.
Okay, so I have like this article from the Nets Daily because you know how picks get traded and stuff. So
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
what you're
yeah,
saying.
so-
They traded a
That's
lot of
messy.
these.
So 2016, the Nets traded Thaddeus Young to the Pacers for the rights to Karis LeVert. and a
W.
future second, which became Kessler Edwards, and he's gone. 2017, the Nets traded Brook Lopez and the rights to Kyle Kuzma to the Lakers for D'Lo and Timothy Mozgov. 2018, they traded Mozgov and 2 future seconds to the Hornets for Dwight Howard, who they waived. 2019, they drafted Kabengele to the Clippers for a first round in 2020 and the rights to Jalen
They got
Hands.
Claxton in that draft.
Yeah. They didn't get anything from here. 2020, the Nets, Pistons, and Clippers did a 3-team deal broken into 2 components. And the Nets sent out Musa, the rights to Hand, a future second, and the rights to Sadiq Bey, and they got Bruce Brown and Landry Shamet.
Hands stink too.
Yeah. And 2 hours before the draft in 2021, they traded Landry Shamet to the Clippers for Javon Carter in the 29th pick, which became Day'Ron Sharp, and they picked Cam Thomas.
And then they gave up on Javon, and now Javon's on the Bucks, and
He's doing
he's
his
a
thing.
defensive pest.
Yeah, but they drafted Cameron Thomas and Day'Ron Sharp.
Facts.
I think Day'Ron Sharp's going to develop into a good player. I do.
He could be a
Yeah.
decent backup.
And they drafted Claxton too, and I think Claxton is
Day'Ron
a
had
really
some
good player.
flashes.
So without this Phoenix trade, right, the Nets still would have their 23 first, their 25 first with the Houston swap, 25 Miami second, 26 Brooklyn second, 27 Philadelphia first, 27 Brooklyn first from the Houston swap, 27 Dallas second, 28 Brooklyn first, 28 Brooklyn second, Dallas first 29, 29 Brooklyn first, 29 Brooklyn second, 29 Dallas second. They still would have had draft picks to
I
still make
agree.
a move. And you know what? Take also out of the Dallas picks as well, because now I'm thinking in the hindsight of we're trading him to the Suns instead of trading Kyrie to Dallas. It's like you still have picks to say, hey, KD, we're still trying. We still can make another move to potentially get you another star to play next to you.
Half of those picks they wouldn't be able to trade because of the Stepien rule, though.
Oh, because of the
Mhm.
got it.
Now in those first round picks with Houston, they get the
Or
worst of the picks as
even,
well. It's
Even
not
if
as-
they can't trade them, you
That's
you
good.
still draft pieces that could still play around.
That's long
KD.
term though, and KD's like a
in
year-to-year thing.
2025, you're not going to
Yeah.
have a guy that's going to can't help you in 2023.
It's
That's
tough
why I
'cause
thought,
Cam Thomas obviously was drafted late, and he's obviously
Yeah.
producing.
He was a steal though.
Yeah,
I was
He
gonna
was
say-
a steal.
A dude like Zana Musa.
I
It's-
mean,
it's more
really,
often
I'm
than
gonna
not
be
you're not
honest. Like,
drafting that guy.
if Cam Thomas develops into something legit, I mean, the Nets are cooking.
Like, could they not trade the Philly first? Would they not be allowed to? The
No, they
swaps
could trade that.
they wouldn't be allowed to trade. I understand that, but you still have theirs. You still have Phillies. You still, I don't know. I just feel like they
Yeah,
have.
but with this current market, when OG and Anobis are going for 31st, what is one
Well,
first or
because
two first going to get you?
Rudy destroyed the market, but now KD might have reset it.
I feel like that OG for 3 first might have been capped.
No, had to be.
No, it was facts. The Pelicans and Grizzlies offered it, but
Pelicans decided against it.
the Raptors wanted a young player back.
They wanted Dyson or Trey, right?
Yeah, one of the young players. Yeah,
Honestly, Pelicans were smart for not doing that, because if they continue to develop at the pace they're doing, you could trade them for a real superstar.
to me, the biggest losers were the Miami Heat. I thought they lost really bad.
Yeah,
Think so, though?
'cause
They
they
don't,
didn't
they
make a
don't have
move.
Yeah,
anything to move.
I know, but
we had this
you had to
conversation
improve.
in the whip too. It's like, if you're the Heat, what do
can
you
you
give
do?
up? Max Strus. And if
Gabe
you're not going to
Vincent?
give up Max Strus,
You
your
have to
next
put-
level is you have to trade Tyler Hero.
You have to put
But if
Duncan
you're
Robinson
trading
in
Tyler
every
Hero,
trade.
I want a star in return.
Sure.
And what's the reality?
Did
of
you hear
that?
about that story that Pat Riley was sleeping? Like a
I
call?
did hear that. Yeah, I don't know if it's true or
I
not.
didn't
They
hear
had
that.
to put Duncan Robinson in every deal. That sucks.
Yeah, it does, because
There's
nobody wants
nothing
that
they could
contract.
really do, honestly.
The Kings, I thought, lost.
Not getting a wing defender.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought they should have made
They
a move.
needed defense and they didn't.
I
It was
think now, I mean,
disappointing.
given how the West is now,
They're-
I think they just want to get in.
yeah,
see what
they
I think
will.
they will just get in.
keep
you know.
trusting the process.
They just want to get in. see
I
how
think
they
this
look.
is a great regular season team, fun. They're going to be gritty in the playoffs, but I think they needed to make a move. But they're being patient. I like that. I enjoy that. I thought the Bulls, they should have made some moves, but they didn't. That is what it is, though. So Kendrick Perkins, I was watching NBA today, and he was a big fan of the Josh Hart trade to the Knicks.
Understandable.
He was a big fan because the Knicks are finally getting a group of culture setters
Here we
into the
go.
building. It's a Tom Thibodeau guy, Josh Hart. He is. And
Get
Kendrick
fired.
Perkins, we know who he is. NBA champion, 14 years in the NBA, and current ESPN analyst. He is coming out with a new book called The Education of Kendrick Perkins. While we all know him for how great of a defender and an enforcer he was on the teams he played for, The Education of Kendrick Perkins unveils a different side of Perk. In this book, he goes beyond basketball to discuss the reality of being Black in America. Perkins is outspoken on issues of race, class, and the lack of access to education. This book is going to be a must read for anybody that's interested in knowing his backstory. He had a tough upbringing. He was an orphan as a child, and he's been through a lot, and definitely respect him and what he's been through. And you can download the audiobook now wherever audiobooks are sold. You can click the link in our description to click it and download the audiobook. And I'm definitely interested in seeing what type of stories this might have about players he's played with in the past.
Sure. And you see that on the court, right? You could see the type of upbringing he had, because when he was on the court, those Celtics team, when we were going to finals, when we were winning finals, he was a big part of that, especially defensively. He was the bruiser. He was the one down low, getting rebounds, elbowing people, making sure that no one was messing with Paul Pierce. I mean, KG was able to handle stuff on his own, so you don't have to do anything about that. But it's going to be a really good book. And even Perkins, I know like people get on him a lot of time, but he knows what he's talking about too, right? When he's on ESPN, when he's on NBA Today and all of that, he knows what he's talking about. He gets clowned from time to time, but who doesn't? It's going to be an interesting book, because obviously the Celtic fan always got a warm spot for.
You
for
got
Perkins.
a jersey of Kendrick Perkins.
I do. It's my guy.
Actually,
with all due respect. Bro,
With all due respect. Yeah, like Kendrick Perkins was the anchor for that Boston Celtics team. You know, he's one of those defenders.
not named KG.
Yeah, of course. KG was him, but Kendrick Perkins was just that wall of that guy, that physical guy, that guy that brought that intensity. And good basketball player, you know, good analyst. He's actually one of the few analysts that actually knows what he's talking about. He keeps it real. He keeps it honest. Shout out to Kendrick, though. He was a good basketball player. You know, Boston is the one stint we always remember, because those teams were so legendary to a degree, and those teams was always fun, and they always had the news on them. But shout out to Perkins for sure.
I love whenever he tweets and he writes "carry the hell on."
I steal it all the time.
Or that barbecue chicken.
I've stolen carry the hell
like
on.
60 buckets of barbecue chicken. So
Carry the hell on's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm looking at the page right now. It's from US. Macmillan, The Education of Kendrick Perkins. It's a memoir, and he wrote it alongside another writer named Seth Rogoff. And the audiobook is read by J.D. Jackson. And a lot of reviews of this from Emmanuel Acho, and just talking about how bold he was in the book. I guarantee it's going to be a lot of stories about his NBA career and also just, his upbringing. And I think it's very inspirational.
I'll buy it.
Phoenix Suns. Should they be the favorites to make it out the West?
I'm assuming you're going to start, Riv. So
No, I was throwing the piece. Somebody told me to throw the piece on up.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I was throwing the piece out. Oh yeah, I'll start. Yeah. I mean,
Max better not better than Tatum.
huh? Sorry, T-Mac Orlando. Ooh, that boy was nice.
Tatum will be better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, undoubtedly, actually, like in probably like 2 years, maybe a year. Probably ended.
He's
this
already
year.
better.
Oh no, I don't know. T-Mac and Orlando was.
No, he was great.
He was
Wait,
actually.
who's already better?
So about
Tatum.
Is there better than T-Mac? I don't know. T-Mac Orlando was whatever. We'll talk about that
We'll
another
talk
day.
about
Yeah, it's close.
I
Tatum,
don't really care. I mean, T-Mac didn't win, bro. Never got out the first round.
So
He blew a 3-1 lead.
who cares?
What do you mean, who cares?
Jason Tatum is a dog.
Talk about player for player.
I
T-Mac's
mean, Tatum as a rookie made the conference finals.
You mean Tatum, Terry Rozier, Jalen Brown?
He was the best player on that
He was
team.
the best player as a rookie.
He wasn't the best player on the team. It was actually Kyrie.
But Kyrie got hurt
in the playoffs.
In the playoffs,
Playoffs
it
was-
was
No,
all
yeah, of course.
Tatum.
But Kyrie and they had
Come
to get
on.
to the
Stop
top
it,
seed.
Stop it.
I mean,
Stop it, Suns.
it just sounds like you guys are casuals to T-Mac's game.
Oh,
honestly,
really? Is that
yeah.
what it is?
32-8-8. I mean, he's.
No,
I'll
he's
be
a
honest. I threw it out
savage.
there just being obviously
Oh,
Tatum.
no, you're,
And
you're the
what-
Tatum guy.
And what
So-
is Tatum doing right now?
Well, same thing as T-Mac was doing.
And he's
And I
playing
said it was
winning
close.
basketball.
Oh well, his team was clearly better than
No,
almost
no,
every
absolutely,
team. T-Mac
absolutely.
had.
No, that's
Yeah,
without a
no,
doubt.
no.
From a talent perspective, it's not far off.
Yeah, the Suns should be favorites. I mean, when you put KD on a team with still Devin Booker, and then you still have DeAndre and you still have Chris Paul, I think that's a team that definitely. I mean, Denver has been the best team in the West all year. You have to give them that credit. The Joker is probably going to win his third MVP. Jamal Murray's getting back to form. You have Aaron Gordon. You have the pieces there. Bruce Brown, KCP. You have the role players there. I think Denver is definitely in the conversation. But the Phoenix walks right up there with them as the tier 1 team because they have Kevin Durant. They have Devin Booker now. They will be in the buyout market looking for a couple more guys to bring to the team. And even if they don't, you still trust the team with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Not many teams, if any team in the West, has the type of wing length to stop both of those guys. I mean, those are two guys that are pretty much complete on the offensive end. They don't have a weak spot on the court. They can score at will at any point, post up, mid-range, three-pointer, and get to their spot. So this is a dangerous dangerous duo. Probably arguably the best duo in the league, if not one, maybe two, but they're definitely a top 3 duo comfortably. And with Devin Booker coming back tonight, Kevin Durant coming back later, I think this is going to be an exciting team. It's going to be a team that should be the favorites. This is going to be a team that's probably elite offensively. I don't know many teams in the West that can definitely stop them.
The worry for me becomes defense, but when you have Booker, Kevin Durant, of course, we can understand that DeAndre Ayton is not a star, but he's still a very good ball player. CP3, who's going to be the point guard of one of the more dominant scoring duos in the league, who better to facilitate that offense than Chris Paul. The worry becomes defense because you traded your best perimeter defender in Mikal Bridges. Cam Johnson, obviously, he's more so of a shooter, but he's no slouch on the defensive side of the ball either. What great wing defenders do you have? Now, we can understand that, of course, Kevin Durant is a very good defender. He has been a very good defender this season. Prior to his injury, he was a shot blocking machine, one of the better rim protectors. But my worry becomes on the perimeter, where you can mask it and where it can be understandable. Well, let me not use the word understandable. Where you can mask it and where it can be better protected is with the fact that your offense is going to be the best in the league. When you have Booker and you have Kevin Durant, you should be the best scoring offense in the league, in my opinion. My worry does become defense. And that's when you start to see, is that going to be an issue come playoff time and or finals time? Because let's say they do make it out of the West and they play a team like the Celtics. The Celtics defensively are sound. Offensively, you could give the edge to the Suns because you have Kevin, you have Devin. Of course, DeAndre Ayton isn't a slouch either. Chris Paul in his own right's not a slouch. But defensively, they have answers. Not that you can stop Kevin Durant, but we saw the Celtics do it last season on this completely different scenario, though, because now it's Devin Booker and company there. But I need to see a couple games in terms of seeing how they play defensively. What's their scheme going to be like? Of course, I have no concerns about this offense, not even a little bit. But defensively, that's where my worries start to come in.
First of all, Jason Tatum, youngest player ever to make 1,000 threes in his career. So shout out to him, just phenomenal man and human being. I think Draymond said it perfectly on his podcast. On paper, you have to give the edge to the Suns right now. It's not just because of KD, but not just because of KD. I think a big part of this, and the reason why a lot of us were reluctant on the Suns coming into the season and years prior, is because you had to rely pretty heavily on Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton. We know Ayton has the capability of dropping 30, 35 points a couple nights ago against Brooklyn. Huh?
No Booker?
Well, we know Booker.
Okay.
We know Booker is going to do his thing, but I'm saying as a second, third scoring options. Mikal's in there for sure too, who obviously you move away from. But you were really relying on Ayton, especially being the second leading scorer for most of this time. He was on the Suns with D-Book, Chris Paul, this unit. You're relying on him, and he's someone who could definitely be inconsistent. He has nights like he has against Brooklyn. Just a couple nights prior, he has stretches where he does 10 points, 12 points, 14. He had a night of 6 or 8 points even a couple weeks ago where you can't rely on him on a 7-game series to be your second highest scorer, not only because he's a center, which is kind of hard to do in today's game, but also just because he doesn't have the ability to space the floor and he's limited offensively as is. And then Chris Paul, who is more facilitator than anything else, this gives him an even better role where he doesn't have to worry about scoring at all. I know the last few games he really hasn't been scoring much at all. He has multiple games in single digits. So the ability to take some of that pressure off of Ayton and Chris Paul offensively, I think is huge. But you still have to give respect to the Nuggets and to the Warriors. Those are the two other teams I still look at in the West, saying they have just as good as a chance as this Phoenix Suns team. As Drew said, you have to see them play. This is not an off season where you have training camp and you have the ability in preseason games to make things work and test different things out. It's February. The All-Star game is a week away, and you're getting into games, especially in the Suns position where Kevin Durant's still out for a couple more weeks. You're going to have to start winning these games to make sure you're not in a play and hopefully get some sort of you're probably not going to get home court advantage, get a top 3-4 seed, but try not to match up with the Nuggets or the Clippers, whoever, round one, and try to get a bit of an easier matchup. Because when you look at the Nuggets still having, I don't know if they're the number one offense, but they've been number one offense all season long. Nikola Jokic, Michael Porter defensively is a bit of an issue, but offensively give you buckets. Jamal Murray, and then the Warriors. He hasn't been great this season. And then the Warriors, they're their unit. MPJ defensively. Yeah, some of it has to do with injuries. I think it seems like he should be a good defender. He has the size. to be able to compete on the defensive side. He just doesn't. The Warriors just as a unit and just their system, we know how great it is. And I know they've been struggling this season, but when Curry was playing these last couple weeks before his injury, they were winning some games on the road. I know to start the season, they were terrible, but right before he got hurt, they won 2 or 3 games on the road. We're basically getting out of that weird funk they had where they were just the worst team in basketball if they were on the road. It does not matter who they were playing. So I think once Curry comes back, they're still going to be in that conversation for sure. But on paper, this is the scariest team because you have 2 elite shot makers, elite shot takers who could score it anywhere on the basketball court with one of the best facilitators of all time. And you have a big man, Ayton, who could give you buckets, but also could be inconsistent and have a game where he doesn't show up.
There are multiple perspectives I'm looking at this trade from. Bird's eye view. Horizontally.
All right. Come on. Get into it.
Vertically.
I knew this.
What the hell?
Now look at this trade. I'm happy for Kevin Durant. This is the first time in his career he's playing with a true point guard floor general.
Respect Russell.
Russell Westbrook's not that.
What the hell does that even matter for?
I know. Nah,
It
does.
A true point guard get into your spots better.
It got into his spots and Golden State just fine.
Yeah, but Chris Paul.
Well, that was due to luxury.
Differently.
That was due to luxury.
Yeah, so
Chris
what are we
Paul
doing
makes
here?
guys like DeAndre Jordan all-stars.
This is about to be luxury.
Tyson
DeAndre Jordan
Chandler.
hasn't made an All-Star.
When he was with the Clippers, he did.
Oh, I thought you said
Yeah.
8.
No. I'm happy for KD. Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry, Kyrie, scoring guards. Steph does it in different ways.
No, this is 4th super team.
But first time that he has a true floor general point guard. You guys are considering this team a super team. I just want to get your game.
Why are you saying you guys?
No, just, I want to ask you.
It was funny. It was funny.
It was
No,
funny.
I think Chris Paul's cooked. I think Aiden is good. This is not
I don't
a
think it's
super
super team.
This is
So,
a great
okay.
team. This is a great team. No, Chris Paul's fucking cooked.
Okay,
This is a
so
great team.
these Phoenix Suns, just want to get it correctly. They are not a super team.
Look at him. He
Are they
thinks
a super
are.
team, Drew?
Yes.
He
You think
thinks they are.
so?
Bro,
They don't have
yes.
that third dog.
Bro, CP3 is a Hall of Famer,
I don't
first
think he's
ballot.
third.
It does not
He's
matter.
not a Hall of
All right,
So
they
is
all right,
Westbrook.
no question. Steve Nash, he was cooked when he got traded to the Lakers, correct?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Steve
no.
Nash-
Steve Nash wasn't cooked. He was coming off
He-
a great season.
How old was he?
No,
He was old, but he wasn't cooked.
He just
He
got
was-
a back.
once
And
he got
also,
to the
what
Lakers,
made
he
that
was
team a
cooked.
super team is that Dwight Howard was the best center in the league,
Correct.
and Kobe was the best shooting guard in the
Okay,
league.
so
Steve Nash was still an All-Star,
KD
though, I believe.
KD
Let me double down though. Let me check.
And Pau Gasol was an all-star still.
Oh yeah, they did have Pau Gasol.
facts. I forgot Pau Gasol was on that team also. But KD, top 5 player, minimum, however you want to see it, was arguably the MVP prior to his injury. Devin Booker, top 10 player. CP3,
Steve Nash was not cooked. He was still the same dude.
really?
He just damn near broke his back the next year and couldn't do it no more.
Got it. What was his numbers?
The year before it was 15, 11, shooting what he does, his fucking
Mhm.
efficient ass. Next year was 13 and 11. Same thing.
That should have worked.
13 and 11.
Injuries messed him up.
13 and
That's
11.
basically what Chris
So,
Paul's doing.
exactly.
Chris Paul's doing like
Exactly.
13 and 8.
Yeah, but that's like Nash is like, we know, like it's a different.
That's why I say I only say that because yes, it's different vibes.
Yeah,
but
but-
again, Chris Paul is still one of the best
look,
facilitators
at
in
the
the league.
time when Kobe and Dwight teamed up, they were both perceived as top 5 players in the league.
And right now, Devin Booker and KD are teaming up.
Devin
He's
Booker's
already
He's
not
not
a
a
top
top
five.
10 player in the league.
Okay, can I finish?
I'm sorry.
Riv already deemed them the best duo in the NBA. I don't disagree. I think they are the best duo in the NBA.
I said arguably, but yes.
No, but I'm agreeing with you. If you're gonna say arguably, fine. I'm gonna go out and say it. They're the best duo in the NBA. And so now you
Okay,
add
Kyrie.
CP3, who's still a great facilitator, has been playing very good basketball as of late. DeAndre Ayton has been playing very good basketball essentially all season long. This is a super team.
Yeah, your
I'm
best
sorry.
duo shit is cooked now. Yeah, Jays aren't the best.
Oh, it's
talent in
cooked.
the
We're
It
the
is
best team.
cooked.
It's cooked. It's cooked.
We're the best team.
You know, but
You do.
best duo shit. You dropped the 3. You're cooked now. You're cooked now. That's
Hey,
Listen.
Luka and Kyrie
Yeah,
are better.
yeah.
Easy.
yeah, yeah. It's easy.
Straight.
Was
Just
KD and
talent.
Kyrie better than the Jays?
Talent wise,
I'm wondering.
Oh,
Yeah, talent wise, no. Yes, but not like what we seen. Nah, but like
know, so
So
now,
then why is it clean?
Because
Luka
now it's like
and
fresh. Like Luka,
enough
fresh.
of this. Enough.
It's fresh. I mean, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, clear.
Yeah.
But Luka's and Kyrie is more of a conversation. But I would take Luka and Kyrie. The
Be a shame
dynamic
if they
is
didn't get out of
fresh.
the West.
But you
You
wouldn't
know,
take
I'm gonna be
KD and
honest.
Kyrie.
Nah,
That's what has some consistency here.
no. I saw.
If
them
you're not
already.
going to take
No,
KD and
'cause I-
Kyrie, how can you take Luka
is
and Kyrie?
new.
That's
It's
what I'm
a-
wondering.
It's new. Kevin Durant and Kyrie.
new?
I picked them after I didn't see them
new?
get swept. Fact. I picked them after they got swept. I said I'm done with them. I'm putting the Jays over. Luka and Kyrie is new. It's fresh. It feels great. Amazing. I'm putting them over.
What if they lose in the first round?
Then they're fucked. They go right back down.
Like we saw the Jays just go to the finals.
Are you
Luka ain't getting
upset
swept.
because you get ignored right
We
now?
know Luka not getting swept.
No,
Come on,
I'm
Luka,
just-
I know.
Oh,
This is hilarious.
He's laughing at you.
Dehls,
no,
you
not me.
called Dehls. You called the Suns. They're not a super team.
Correct. They're
I respect
I think
it.
they're
Great
favorite.
team.
They're not a super team. I respect it.
You don't respect him.
Drew,
Talk to me.
you called Chris Paul cooked.
He is.
You just said Jared Allen's better than DeAndre Ayton.
I didn't say that.
Last show
did
you
I?
said it. You basically said
I
it. Did he
didn't say
not
that.
basically say Jared
No.
Allen was better than DeAndre
I didn't
Ayton?
say that.
I think you said it was a conversation. I don't
mean,
remember.
I think
It is a conversation.
Who's
It
better,
is.
in your opinion?
I think we picked Allen
DeAndre
over
Ayton
Ayton.
super slightly.
So if I swap out DeAndre Ayton for Jared Allen on this current Suns team, it's a super team. What makes this a super team?
KD and Booker and Chris Paul and
A super
DeAndre
team is
Ayton.
3 all-stars or superstars.
Okay, where Chris Paul is still, whether you like it or
He's
not,
not an
he's
all-star.
not. Come on, bro.
He's not.
He was an all-star last season.
Bro, he wouldn't even be an all-star
you
replacement.
called him an
if
MVP last year.
Chris Paul wouldn't even be an all-star replacement if everybody on the all-star team got
yeah,
injured
we're
in the
talking
West.
this year for sure, but he's not been playing bad.
We're talking about this year. No,
I
he's
am
not,
talking about
bro,
this year.
Yes, he's not playing bad. He's a good
He's
player.
been playing very good.
He's not an
honestly.
all-star.
No, I wouldn't call him an all-star this season,
saying
but
that
he's still
for
an
a minute.
all-star
Is
player.
DeAndre Ayton an all-star?
Hell no.
So how can they be a super team when
It's Chris Paul.
It's D-Book and KD, and then there's no other third all-star?
Well, it's D-Book and KD, and it's Chris Paul.
There's a gap, huge gap.
No, absolutely. We're
Massive.
talking about 2 top 10 players.
Chris Paul's not a top 10 point guard right now.
He's not.
He might not. He
Point
might.
guard
he might not be top
it's-
15.
It's stupid deep.
That's wrong.
No, it's there's a lot of great point guards this year. Disrespectful.
My girlfriend's calling me.
It's
I'm
the first
sorry.
time.
She's
This is
probably
actually
seeing,
first
she's
time.
probably seeing the chat go crazy, and she's calling me all upset and stuff.
He's not a top 10 point guard now.
Steph Curry,
Yes.
Luka,
No.
John Morant, James Harden. That's 4. De'Aaron Fox, SGA, no order.
Dame.
Tyrese, Dame. That's 8.
LaMelo,
Jalen Brunson's better than him this year. LaMelo, that's 10.
Garland.
Garland, that's 11.
Is SGA a point guard?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. This year's better.
Are we sure about that?
No, like we're absolutely positive. Jordan Poole's better than Chris Paul.
Drew Holiday, who's better right now?
Drew Holiday.
Oh, listen, a lot of players are better than Chris Paul. I guess.
Jalen Brunson. You
Doesn't
said
mean-
Jalen Brunson?
Trey Young. I didn't even mention
Trae
Trey
Young.
Young.
Facts.
He's cooked right now.
He's
He's
not
old.
cooked.
Cooked in the sense that he's not the same. Let me say that. He's not the same.
Who's better right now? Jamal Murray, Chris Paul.
Jamal's been playing better as of lately. Probably lean Jamal.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
You
So
want me
I'm
to
not
send
an
you crafted
idiot.
PM?
Did you say Ja?
I did say Ja.
That's yeah. You want me to send you crafted PM? You wanna let me help you?
Okay, so
I got you.
is Chris Paul a top 5 facilitator in the game right now?
He probably still is.
Okay, so he's one of the best.
He's always gonna be one of
Okay,
the best.
and you're
facilitators
you're
in the game.
pairing him with arguably the best scoring duo in the league.
He just fits perfectly. It doesn't mean he's a
But
super,
he's still,
doesn't mean
but he's a
superstar.
Hall of Famer. Whether
That's his resume. That's not what he is now, though.
No,
He's not playing at a
Does
Hall
he
of Fame
not fit?
level.
Do you need a
But
scoring
he's been-
guard? Do you
he's
want a
been-
facilitator?
still
You want
been
someone who
very
can defend,
good.
Probably.
That was a great
Chris
statement.
Paul has
Fits
been
perfect.
good in spurts. He's
Yeah.
been inconsistent this year.
Not calling this. So are you trying not to call this a super team? So this isn't a stain on Kevin Durant's legacy?
I don't think this
That's,
is.
I think that's what he's getting at. I think that's what he's getting
getting
at.
I don't think this is a super team. It's a great team. It's a great team. This is
Definitely.
not a super team.
I agree. You have 2 without a doubt superstars. You don't have a third.
This is the guy who thinks he thought Chris Paul was really good. He's saying he's not an all-star no more.
He still is an all-star.
He's not though.
He's not an all-star right now, yes, but regardless of that last season, he was an all-star.
Drew, answer me this.
He wouldn't have got in as a sub.
No, this year, no way.
Drew, if every player on the West Conference All-Stars got injured, is Chris Paul in?
No.
God damn, that's a lot.
So how's he an All-Star?
every player? Yeah, he would get
every
in.
single player.
He would get in.
So is he a top 30 player in the West or top?
He might not be a top 30 player in
24
the West.
He would get in.
Jesus.
He would get in.
Would he?
You told me. You told me every
Who's,
single player
who's
in the
more
West.
of an All-Star, Desmond Bain or Chris Paul?
That
Desmond
I
Desmond
love
Bain's
this-
been
That's
injured.
the main guy.
You're Desmond Bain. That's why I love this. I love this question.
Desmond Bain's been injured
He's
Who-
back. He's
who-
been back
like-
for a minute.
a little bit. Yes, but he
Who's been
missed some
playing
time.
better?
Desmond Bain or Chris Paul All-Star if you were to select?
Fuck the injuries. Just select.
I mean, Chris Paul's still one. What is he?
Stop
Top 3 in terms
going
of
off
assists.
his narrative of what he's been.
only
No,
averaging 8 or
this
9
year-
assists, I think.
That's still really high in
It's-
terms of the league. That's still
What
one of
is-
the highest.
this year, who's been an all-star? Not
Please
only.
answer the question.
Please don't say Chris Paul's.
Let's just move on. Like I want to keep naming names.
Here we go.
I'd probably lean Chris Paul,
Paul George.
Paul George, but he was an
He's
all-star.
on the team.
He made it.
You know he made. The
Oh
All-Star
my
game.
goodness. Oh my bad.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram.
There you go.
Brandon Ingram's a lot of time. Chris Paul.
What do you think, Griff?
No, Brandon was better than Chris Paul.
No, he's better than him. No
Anthony
doubt.
Simons.
Ooh.
You're talking to the right guy. I'm an Anthony guy.
You're also a Bain guy. Pick Chris Paul.
I am a Bane guy.
I'm actually.
I'm
I don't know
not
where you're
even
gonna
that much of a Chris Paul guy, but I can acknowledge that even still, he's one of the best passers in the league.
Nobody's saying that though. Nobody's saying he's not a
But
great
again, you're
passer.
putting that with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker.
Yes,
so
but
what's the
he's
conversation?
not an all-star. That's all we're
Okay,
saying.
again, he's not an all-star, but necessarily does that diminish what he is as a basketball player? So automatically,
No.
because he's not an all-star, we're not going to call this a super team, but we can sit here and acknowledge that
a
he's still a
super
top 5
team is
player.
what? It's 3 all-stars.
I mean, I guess.
Were the Lakers super team with Russell Westbrook, LeBron, and AD?
Let me ask you, was Worthy ever an all-star? Honest question. I know James
Yeah,
Worthy.
Yes.
How many times?
Off the top of my head, I'll look it up, but 3. I'll say off the top of my head 3. Let me just...
They had Magic Johnson and Kareem.
No, for sure.
Those are like,
But they're a super team.
but that's like 2 of the top. Those are 2 of the top 4 players in the league.
Okay. And Kevin Durant, you could argue, is the best player in the
But
NBA.
D-Book is not top 10,
7-time
bro.
All-Star.
7-time.
Yep.
Yeah, that okay.
A super team, in my opinion,
Actually, won
is
Finals MVP.
is
No, that I knew.
Sorry.
a, a super team.
Game 7 triple-double.
The Miami Heat is a super team. LeBron, D-Wade, Bosh, 3 All-NBA players. The Cavs, Kyrie, LeBron, K-Love, 3 All-NBA
That's
players.
a super team?
Yeah, that's more super team than these Suns.
Huh?
What? Are we serious?
When LeBron got there, Kyrie was not anywhere near what he was able to reach when
Are you
LeBron was there.
arguing that Cleveland's
No.
not a super team? I'm actually.
Yes,
Oh,
they
you're-
weren't.
So are
You
these
are.
Suns more of a super team than
Yes.
LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love
Yes,
in 2015?
yes,
What?
yes.
I've
That's pretty
The
common.
never
team
heard
that came back from
Cleveland
a
not be a
3-1 finals
That's
deficit
pretty-
against a 73-win Golden State Warriors team. That wasn't a super.
So that's
that was a super
because-
team.
Talk to me. That's a super team.
The team that
Talk to
beat
me, that's
the
a super
team that
team?
beat the greatest regular season of all time is not a super team.
No,
That's a worse team than these Suns right now.
doesn't mean they're a worse team because they're not a super team. Super teams have lost.
I'm just confused. I thought the Cleveland
The
team was
Cavs
always a
Big
super
Three
team.
were a
They were-
super
they-
team,
They're
bro.
when
called
they
the
were-
Big 3 for a
No,
reason.
when they were formed, the idea was that, oh, this was definitely going to work. This is a great,
They
strong
made 4
trio.
straight finals.
But because of who?
Come on, James.
Well, the last year because of LeBron. So
In that 2015, the 2 of those guys got hurt and they still went to 6.
Is
Yes,
the Big
but-
3 not a super team? I'm pretty sure when you get the,
Bro,
the
that was
title Big
super
3,
team.
you're called a super team.
Oh, that's a super team.
But Kyrie was not on this all NBA level yet.
Oh, he averaged 25.
The year after, that was
Nah,
2
hold
years
on.
after.
I got you.
Because the year that we won the championship, he averaged
He
19.
was hurt a lot that year. Yeah, no, Kyrie was a 22-point per game scorer before LeBron got there. He was an all-star.
He averaged
already an all-star.
25 in 2016.
Yeah,
20 he was
2013,
definitely- he was
2014,
multiple-time
2015,
all-star.
he was an all-star.
Was he all NBA prior to LeBron getting there?
He was an all-star.
Was he all NBA? I'm wondering.
I don't know, but he was an all-star. So
Probably
it
not.
fits the bill.
I doubt he was an All NBA.
I'll search it up. Don't worry, bro.
I don't think he was All NBA.
Kevin Love was unbelievable in Minnesota.
But you had 2 all-stars in LeBron.
Yeah.
But Kevin Love
like
had
Bosh.
to remodel his game.
So did Kevin.
He had to
so-
fit a
so did Chris
role.
Bosh.
He had to fit a role, yes.
Yeah,
but
but
there's
Chris Bosh some time.
Because
and
Kevin Love went
Kevin
from
Love
averaging
was
26 to 16. his
Kevin
first
Love
year in
was
Cleveland.
not. Honestly, I'm taking Chris Bosh over Kevin Love in terms of playing with LeBron.
I'm actually with you. I like that. Chris Bosh's defense was really good.
It was very good.
I've never
ended up
heard
being a
somebody
strong
not
point.
saying the Cavs were a super team.
I'm sorry, that's how I feel personally.
not-
I understand Kyrie and LeBron together, amazing duo.
I just
Yeah,
don't
Captain.
know. I just don't know how Katie, D Book, Ayton, and Chris Paul
Correct.
are better than LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin Love,
'Cause
J.R.
Kevin Love
Tristan
was
Thompson,
mid, and the way
and
that
more players.
Chris Paul is going to fit perfectly next to Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, and then Ayton compared to who? Tristan Thompson. Come on.
Kyrie Irving was an All NBA in 14-15 season.
So that was the
LeBron,
year.
He
That
made it
was
with
LeBron year.
LeBron. Yeah,
I figured, yeah.
but they were All NBA players, and you can say probably I think based on his stats he was an All NBA before, but that's because he was developing into that.
No,
Once LeBron
the
came, he was
talent
All NBA.
obvious.
Yeah,
The
he was All
talent
NBA for sure.
obvious.
That's more of a
It
super
also
team.
fits with the. Go ahead.
That's more of a super team than these current Suns, bro. It is. I don't know how it's not. When I think of super teams, I think of Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Rondo's that fourth guy.
You
yes.
think you think when super teams comes to mind, you think about Kyrie, LeBron, and Kevin Love.
No, the super team that comes to the top of my mind, LeBron started it. Well,
Absolutely.
the Celtics started
The
it. Then
Celtics started it.
LeBron with
Well,
D-Wade,
super teams have been
Bosh.
around since basketball started.
But that
Let's
Cavs
just be
team
honest.
was a super team. It's
because
three
Worthy,
all-stars
Magic,
assembled.
Kareem, Michael, Scotty, Rodman, Larry Bird, Parrish, McHale. Super teams have been around. Let's pretend like it didn't just start with LeBron. However, to continue,
Well, it started with him
personally
making the
Wait,
decision for free agency.
sorry, Larry Bird, Parrish, McHale, they're super teams. So why is Kevin Durant, Kyrie, and Kevin Love not?
LeBron, Kyrie, because in hindsight, the way we can understand it, in hindsight, we could call it a super team. You're saying you've never heard it, but in hindsight, really sit and think about it. Is that a super team to you?
I would say the first 2 years.
With the way that Kevin Love played, is that a super team to you?
Yes.
Kevin Love had to adapt the role.
It's not that he was bad. He
You
just
can
had to change
no,
his role.
you had yes, he did.
The third guy is always going to sacrifice.
There was a time where Kevin Love was not even getting that many minutes.
Bro, Ray Allen went from a 25 point per game scorer to like 18, 19 with the Celtics.
and
he had to sacrifice.
But he was still an integral part of the team.
But he had to sacrifice. KG sacrificed. He wasn't an MVP performer anymore when he went to Boston.
He was Defensive Player of the Year.
But that's not MVP. Look at his stats. He dropped off significantly.
So if that's the case, was the Bulls still a super team in '98?
No.
Okay, so you're pretty consistent. Dennis Rodman.
And you're right. He when Scotty was out, Rodman was great. When Pippen came back, then Rodman obviously was just back to being the Rodman that he was.
Rodman also never made an All-Star game with Chicago.
That 96, that's a super team. That 97, that's a super team.
KG went from 22 to 18, 16, 14 in Boston. And then the year they went to the finals, 15. But that was still like a big three, you know what I'm saying? Bro, like, if you want to call the Suns a super team, I don't really have an argument with it. Like, that's your opinion. I don't really care, but the Cavs are a super team, bro.
If you want, again,
like, if you're calling the Suns a super team, the Kyrie, LeBron, and Kevin Love team is a super team.
Was Kyrie ever a top 10 player, in your opinion?
At the time,
I'm wondering.
It's more of a top 10 player than D Book now is, yeah.
Ooh, goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm. Say it again.
What
Kyrie after the 2016 finals was people were calling him better than Steph.
They were chatting that. Was that correct?
Was you chatting that?
I definitely was not saying that firmly after he was unanimous MVP.
I said at the time when Kyrie, LeBron, and Kevin Love teamed up, like a year into it, the first year, Kyrie and D Book, are they not in similar rankings to the league at that point?
Kyrie was around top 10 player?
Top 10,
that's what I'm wondering.
15.
Was Kyrie ever a top 10 player? I'm wondering.
Probably like close, probably like 11, 12. Same where Devin Booker is right now.
I feel Devin Booker is top 10 though.
You can make an argument, yeah.
Who name the 10 players, bro?
League's more competitive.
What do you mean right now? Like right now, why Devin Booker's top 10?
He's not a top 10 player.
So John Morant's definitely nowhere near the top 10, right?
John Moran is not top 10 for me.
No.
But that's the thing. It's got to be that it's either one or the other who wants to be top 10. It's either Devin Booker.
Like,
I think Devin Booker is
on the talent in the league right
Devin
now.
Booker's like 10 to 12-ish.
All right, so here we go. We have Giannis, we have Jokic, we have Luka,
Steph.
we have LeBron, Steph, KD, Tatum, Joel Embiid. I'm wrong to put Devin Booker?
Are you still putting Kawhi over Devin Booker?
That's tough.
That would be the only guy left.
That's tough.
I think Devin Booker's better than everybody else.
Dame.
I think Devin Booker's better.
I named them. I mean, again, if you weren't, unless
Who's
you
better,
weren't
Zion or D Book?
I would go Devin Booker.
Devin Booker's definitely been more reliable.
Yeah.
Who's better?
Look at what he did in the playoffs.
So Jokic, Embiid, Doncic, AD.
Again,
Giannis,
You're saying
AD.
KD.
You said
who's
AD?
better right now? Yeah, I did. I have 6 right now. Who's better, Dame or Book?
You really don't listen.
I don't. Sorry.
They
No,
just said,
that's what's absolutely
no,
killing
they
me.
both just said Book.
LeBron, Steph,
Which,
Tatum.
it's close. Dame's
Joel, I'm
intriguing.
not going to repeat this.
Who's better right now? You just said Doncic was better than D Book.
I did not say that.
I said that, and I'm standing.
Was he
that.
on the show? It might have just been Yatu. Nah, it was just Yatu. You wasn't on that show.
That wasn't him. I did say that, so I'm standing on that. So no, Devin Booker's not. But he's in the 10-12
I think
range.
you have Mitchell this year. That's fair.
It's around, for me, he's 9 or 10.
That's fair.
For me, he's 9 or 10.
That's
it.
it.
So what, no, I'm just wondering. I mean,
Kyrie
what's really the strong
then is in
pushback?
similar rankings than D Book now, though. That's what I'm saying.
Probably.
But that's what I'm trying to recollect whether that's fact or fiction.
Who's a better duo, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, or Luka and Kyrie?
Kevin Durant and Devin Booker.
Is it a wash?
Yes.
It's a wash?
I personally would say yes.
It's close. It's definitely close.
Who's better, Luka or KD?
Who's better, Devin Booker or Kyrie?
It's definitely close.
No, I think Booker's better right now.
He's
Like,
a little
And also
bit
the facilitating aspect of things too.
yeah, I think I would put Booker.
Is it comfortable though?
Like,
It's not a wash.
It's not a wash in the sense of I'd say Booker comfortably, but they're close. Like, but I say Booker
If
comfortably.
we know that Kyrie's reliable, giving us 27, 50, 40, 90.
You just give me this whole spiel about why he's not reliable.
Kyrie
He's not
reliable.
reliable. I've
He's
never
not.
said he
No.
was reliable.
No,
I'm
I'm
just
asking.
No,
saying,
then you just
Strictly-
made a
no,
mistake
strictly-
verbally right now. You just made
strictly as a
mistake.
basketball player, D Book versus Kyrie, it's not a wash. It's really close.
It is close.
No, I thought you said Kyrie
Luka,
was
KD,
reliable.
who's better?
That's what I
It's-
thought.
That
It's
one's
toss-up.
close.
It's a toss-up.
That's a toss.
That's
That
what I'm
is a
saying.
toss-up.
The duo between the Mavs duo and the Suns duo
It's a toss-up.
It's a toss-up.
It is.
I could flip a coin right now, land heads or Suns.
They
I'll be
both
okay, that's fine.
both duos give you 80 any night.
I
To be
just-
honest.
I'm just gonna go KD and Devin Booker.
It's close.
The
But,
two top 10 players, very firmly.
Yeah, it
very
depends.
firmly.
But Luka and Kyrie on any night can outplay that duo.
Yes.
One of the few that can. So
Yeah. One of like the 3 maybe in the league that can.
I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. You guys think the Cavs in 2015 were a super team?
I thought they was. The whole idea was.
Well, I mean, it's your opinion. Do you think they are?
No, I do. I think when you build three, you are called a big three. You have one superstar, one high-level all-star, one low-level all-star. That is a true super team. This is not like the Bucks when two low-level all-stars and then one superstar. No, Kyrie was a high-level all-star. So I think, yeah, they would be.
But the way it transpired, that's
Probably
what
a
I'm
super
wondering.
team.
So, and that
Yes.
with that being in
In
mind,
hindsight, looking back,
they
probably
probably
different.
underperformed.
thank you.
They
That's
did.
that's
but also
essentially
you
what I'm
kind
going
of have
off
to
of.
like.
Can I
you see
admit that? Yes, when
the
they were
third
I'm paused.
person.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, the third person, Kevin Love, we saw it. Chris Bosh, we saw it. They're going to be taking a back seat. So I don't think you could have expected either of them to go from the Raptors with Chris Bosh or the Wolves with Kevin Love to go and average 20-25 like they were doing with their other teams. When you have two other all-stars on your team, you're going to see a dip in production. You just want them to fit well.
Yeah, like I think you're making a valid point. Like, for example, Kevin Love, just because he didn't average 23 in Cleveland, I'm not looking at him any different.
He was never going to
He
average
averaged
23 in
16
Cleveland.
and fulfilled the role as a floor spacer and a rebounder.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I understand he underperformed in the finals, but we have to understand, him is Draymond Green. And Draymond Green he's arguably a top 5 defender in the history of the NBA, and he had that assignment. Are the Warriors a super team? Then Steph, Clay, and Draymond.
No,
They're not.
I don't think so.
Steph, Clay, and Draymond.
So you're thinking about
Steph,
this.
Clay, and Dre.
Yeah.
Steph, Clay, and Dre.
Just Draymond's just such an outlier compared to the rest of the super teams.
Wait, hold up. So you're thinking about Steph, Clay, and Dre being super team, but the Cavs were not. Because Kyrie, LeBron, and K Love, I think, are a better big three than Steph, Clay, and Draymond. The Warriors had more depth.
I wouldn't say they were a super team. I wouldn't say that. But you can understand that, of course, we're talking about 3 future Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
We're talking about one of the greatest players of all time in Steph Curry. We're talking about for how many years in a row was Klay Thompson a top 20 player in the
I think
NBA?
there's definitely situations where the top guy.
Kevin Durant comes in. This is a super team.
For sure.
This is a mega team. This is the greatest team ever assembled. It's definitely a conversation whether they're a super team, especially with how they performed, all 3 of them together. We're talking about defensive player of the year after defensive player of the year.
There's
with
certain
Draymond Green.
situations where the top guy just is so good and makes the
It's
super
like that
team
fit
thing.
together.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's another reason why I am thinking more about it. It's because Draymond had a role, and yes, he was the best, one of the best at it. Clay had a role, and he was the second best shooter in the league. Steph Curry, obviously, we don't have to talk about what his role was.
The way I look at super teams is like this, and I'm going to use a different example than the All-Star example.
Mm-hmm.
The way I look at super teams is when they're assembled or when they're already made, no team is beating this team in the conference. No team.
Mm-hmm.
When LeBron,
We never said that about
D.
the
Wade
Warriors
and
at the time.
Bosh,
No way.
nobody had a chance.
Yes.
The Pacers gave them a run, but we knew that he were going to make it out,
I
right?
mean, they lost. They lost the first year.
Yeah, they did, but they were a super team still. And just because they
No,
lost,
they
doesn't
were.
mean you're
No,
not a
they
super
were.
team.
Absolutely.
And with Kyrie, LeBron, and K
I'm not
Love,
arguing that. They were.
when LeBron, Kyrie, and K Love came together, I didn't think anybody in the East stood a chance. I thought they were going to wash through the East easily.
It's because LeBron. The LeBron effect.
It's also because of Kyrie and Kevin Love, and they had those two. You know, I'm not. Well, I mean, I understand LeBron is LeBron, but I mean, come on, we're not just going to act like Kyrie wasn't one of the biggest catalysts
no
of the
doubt.
comeback.
No, absolutely not. I'm not trying to be ignorant. To
So
that
for
fact.
me, it's like, okay, no team in the conference has a chance. When the Nets got Kyrie, KD, Harden, they weren't healthy, but I thought when healthy, okay,
That's
they
a super
should
team.
they
Yeah.
should wash here. Like, but for like example, were the Sixers with Embiid and Simmons and Butler and Tobias a super team? I don't think they were. I think it was a great it was
That
great
shit
talent
is
together.
Insane though. That shit is crazy. And the fact they didn't make it to the ACF is even crazier.
Yeah, they were a shot away. Like for me with the Suns, I don't look at this team now and think, oh yeah, nobody has a chance against them. I think that they still have to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like when
That's a fair point right there.
a super team is you got your conference and you possibly got
It's
the
like-
championship.
Listen, I need to see a couple games, but
They're not
yes,
even favorites
the
right now to
Sun-
win the championship.
which is again because they haven't played.
Don't they have the best odds in the West?
No, they went from having, I think, 11th best odds to 3rd best odds, something
Yeah,
like that.
I know that the
Celtics have the best.
Bucks probably. Yeah, the Suns might be
But they
third.
have the best in the West. I'm pretty sure the
Yeah,
Suns.
I need to
True.
see a couple games, but again, the Suns do become my favorite once I. The reason why they're not number 1 favorites right now is because KD hasn't been playing.
You say that though, but like when KD, Kyrie, and
And
Harden
defense.
assembled, that shit that was number one.
It was
You know
locked.
what I'm saying? That was number one. Like, so I think what Vegas goes by it a little bit differently. For me, I just think this is not a super team. I understand why you think it is. Chris Paul's not the same player for me. He's not an all-star.
I don't think so.
And I
either.
think he's a good starting point guard.
perfect fit,
Yeah, he is a perfect fit.
and he's Chris Paul.
But for example,
Vegas say
Ray
perfect fit.
Rajon Rondo on the Celtics was a perfect fit.
It's a fact.
Not an all-star. He's not the guy I group in when I talk about
He
super
was an
teams.
all-star though.
Not in those early years when he won the championship. He
Okay,
became
For a
one
while,
later.
he was a
Fact.
savage.
Yeah.
I mean, he was great in
Arguably
his
their
role.
best player for a little
but
bit.
We're not looking at those Celtics and saying they're a super team because of Rondo. I think, and at the time, I
But
could
they acknowledged that it was an elite 4 because of Rajon.
no doubt. And I think that made them a great team. Chris Paul is not the same no more. He's not an all-star no more.
Mhm.
I think that he's declining. He's an inconsistent player. And it's crazy how the reason why I'm kind of stuck on this is because, we was just bashing Chris Paul for his performance.
Mhm.
We was just saying that if you swap Drew Holiday and Chris Paul, you don't know if they get past the Celtics.
I
So
stand on that.
yeah, so for me, I'm saying I don't know how Chris Paul is the needle mover in a super team. I just don't think he is. Is he a
And
great
Ayton.
fit?
And Ayton.
Ayton is. Bro, I love Ayton. Come on, man.
It's
Like
just 4.
Ayton.
It's 4 of the 5 starting guys are. Let me not say great because Ayton, I wouldn't categorize him as great. Very good to elite in the lineup. And Ayton is fringe great. But he's not. He's not.
He's closer to
He's
being
so-
great for sure.
No
so
doubt.
it's Chris Paul, good. Ayton, good,
Good.
great. And then-
Chris Paul, good, yeah. But in
Chris-
terms of facilitating,
Great.
He's-
elite.
Yes.
Right now, Chris Paul is he's the slowest defender in the league.
No, defending.
It's not surprising.
That's why
Their
a
defense is an
concern of
issue.
mine is defense.
Yeah.
We talk about that.
In terms of offense, though, this is going to be the best offense in the game.
It might be. I
No,
think Denver still.
Continuity plays a large role
fair
in
point,
offense too.
Because
Denver
obviously
has the
Luka
best
and
offense rating in NBA history right now.
Yes, but now you get KD.
Changes things.
And you have Devin Booker. And the best facilitating guard in the league next to James Harden, who's number 1 in my opinion.
Trae Young is
And
better than Chris Paul.
you're at
Tyrese.
close.
Tyrese
I have
too.
Harden. You have to throw Trey. Tyrese.
Too young. That's the only reason.
Nah, Tyrese deserves respect regardless.
Chris
Luka's
Paul's-
another one that's
Chris
there.
Paul's not a top 5 facilitator in the game right now.
LeBron. Chris
LeBron, Luka, Harden, Tyrese, Trae Young, they're all better facilitators than him.
Trey Young, Chris Paul,
Who do you think's a better passer right now, LaMelo or Chris Paul?
Chris Paul.
Still? Think so?
Trey and Chris is still
More
close
turnovers
though.
right now.
I don't know if Trae and Chris is close.
Come on.
I don't think it's close right now. Trae
It-
Young creates so many shots.
And I mean,
Does.
Chris Paul, even at this old age, is still doing it.
Trae Young is a bit different though, with how many shots he
I don't
creates.
disagree. I don't
Yeah.
disagree.
Trae Young also just creates more
He's
pressure on the
faster, he's
defense.
quicker.
Yeah, it's-
And that's what ultimately it's playmaking, you know?
Understandable.
but it's also a bit more impressive when Chris Paul doesn't put nearly as much pressure on defense than Trae Young can.
I just think that you couldn't have asked for a better third.
Chris Paul, that is.
Yes.
I agree.
In this scenario.
He is a great third, but I
You
think
would hope he played
you know,
defense.
for me, when I look at the Suns,
You're not making a bad point, Judge.
Kevin Durant, TJ Warren, that's what they got back.
Sorry.
I think the starting lineup is going to be Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Torrey Craig, KD, and Ayton. I think Craig
the
gives
bench
them
is a little
defense.
weak.
Listen, the bench is weak,
Bench
but
is weak.
TJ
it's-
Warren, they got back in the deal also.
Reunion.
Jesus
but off the
Christ.
bench, TJ Warren, Cameron Payne has shown he can be consistent,
Yeah.
in stretches.
Be humble.
Landry Shamet,
Torrey
defensive
Craig.
liability. Bismack Biyombo
Craig's
gives them
gonna
rim
start.
protection.
Oh, is Torrey Craig going to start?
I would start Torrey Craig.
Got it,
That's
got
what I
it,
would do.
got it.
Defense.
Damian Lee, I like. He's been good for them this year.
Solid.
I don't think for me the defense is much of a concern just because KD is one of the best help side defenders in the game.
Fair.
And Mikal Bridges, although he's an elite defender and Cam Johnson's a great defender, Kevin Durant's an elite defender and he's an elite offensive player. So I don't think the defense is going to take that big of a hit. And
It'll
listen,
take a hit.
Monty Williams, great coach.
Another reason why they're a super team.
I don't know if he got out coached in the playoffs.
This is where you lose.
I don't even think I've had you.
No. But this is where you lose. I like.
Monty Williams is a great coach. What?
He's not a coach that says, "Oh, this is a super team."
No,
coach. He's
that's
not that.
no. I said that's another reason.
Yeah, that's not. He's more like
Are you just calling this team a super team because if Kevin Durant fails, you want to say that he's failed on
Absolutely
multiple
not.
super teams?
Listen, I have no beef with Kevin Durant anymore. That's over. I have no beef with him. But I'm trying to be real or how I see it. This is a super team. That's it. I have no beef with KD. That's done. I acknowledge that already. Even when he was on the Nets.
LeBron, AD, and Russell Westbrook, were they a super team?
Yes, when they were formed, they were.
Wait.
I had them when the idea was that they were a super team.
That's what you thought.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I'm just making sure we're on the
Did
same
you think
page.
Oh, in hindsight, absolutely not.
Well, we thought they were going to be.
We thought they were going to be
okay,
ass.
yeah, and that's fine. That's fine.
We're not going to have the same mindset.
In hindsight, absolutely not. But when they were formed, people definitely were chatting that they were a super team. Is that wrong?
I think people
were, but
people try to say that,
Yeah.
but I think people that like understand Westbrook know that it wasn't that.
I guess if you want to say that,
the
What do you
fit
mean?
was never ideal.
Like it just,
it's just a rude thing to say.
The fit never worked with Russ.
What's
Facts.
It was never
Yeah,
gonna
people
work.
that understand Westbrook as if he's not one of the best players.
I think just
to touch
people
the
who
ball.
understand.
no. I think you understand his
Modern day
usage,
basketball.
his inefficiency, his
Correct.
inability to shoot, his average to below average defense, his ball watching. You can see how he would frustrate LeBron.
His on-ball
James easily.
defense is very good though.
You would see. I think for me, I think Riv and I, we didn't think it was going to work, and part of the reason why is because it was a horrible fit. He can't shoot.
You can't.
He needs the ball in his hands, and
he's
he's not a third guy.
No doubt.
You know, he's not a third
I'm
guy.
with you.
He get
Ultimately.
lost
Oh,
out there.
listen, I
He's
don't
not
disagree.
intelligent
Anything
either.
you're saying to me right now, I agree with.
So super team is thrown loosely for you.
How so? I just said that Kevin Love and Kyrie and
So LeBron, AD, and Westbrook are super team, but K Love, LeBron, Kyrie isn't.
We are still on the Super.
Oh,
Bowl.
I know.
I know. I'm
That's
just. I don't,
an
bro.
hour.
I'm
Well,
just-
you're just kind of have a conversation with me, so I'm going to answer. Is that wrong?
No, it's not wrong, but I just don't
Because we
understand
can move
how.
on. I'm happy to.
No, we can.
I would
just.
actually love
We
to.
are
I would
still on
love
the first
to.
topic.
I'm just on some like.
No second.
I don't know how is this. I don't know how
Winners
that's
and
not a
losers.
super team. I don't. But
Perfect.
listen, whatever.
I mean, I said that when they were definitely
Well,
formed,
we
I was
saw- well, we-
I can't be the only one.
No,
No
I
way I
heard
thought.
you.
Oh
I
no,
heard
you're
you.
undoubtedly
I
not
heard
the
you.
only one who thought that was a super team.
Facts.
Lakers fans. It's a multitude of you guys.
And definitely not only just Lakers fans.
So you didn't think
Some
when LeBron.
analysts.
So you didn't think when LeBron joined Kyrie and got Kevin Love that was a super team like at
Yeah,
the first time.
Again, yes, it was.
I just want to say that we circled back to this because you said the Suns are a super team also because of Monty
And I
Williams.
understand.
That's another reason.
I don't know how.
Okay.
That's why we
serious
circled
he was
back
being.
into this.
I don't know how.
But
serious
again,
he was
I
with
said
that.
that's
Monty
Monty
Williams-
Williams is a great coach.
If I can trust him in the playoffs, it's okay. Listen, I think for him, it's there are certain matchups that he doesn't adjust fast enough for, and I think that's a concern.
Mhm.
The Suns are still not the favorite for me out the West. I like the Denver Nuggets.
You're
still.
you're not flipping.
I mean, I was never going to flip. I like the Nuggets a lot. They have the most continuity. And I like their approach. Every team in the West got the star talent, and they're saying, listen, we're fine with our roster. We're fine with the chemistry we built. And the offense for us is second nature. Everybody knows where to be. So we're just going to ride out this season. I think they still have a big, legit chance to come out the West. They're my favorites. The Suns do pose some mismatch problems for them, especially when they would go drop coverage against them in the series. Maybe they adjust this time around and they don't use that defensive coverage so much, and they're hedging more than they are dropping. So I can see that adjustment for them. But the Suns, Chris Paul is one of my favorite point guards of all time. Kevin Durant is one of my favorite players of all time. I want Chris Paul to win his first championship. I wanted it to happen 2 years ago. I want Kevin Durant to win the championship without Curry, because right now the biggest stain on Durant's legacy is that he hasn't won a championship by himself, and people knock him for that. I want him to win his first championship so people can stop talking about it and take away from his greatness. Those are all reasons I want the Suns to win. And the Suns are definitely on my list of agendas. As you guys know, I'm going to Arizona soon. My girl's a Suns fan. So because
You're
of
what?
that, my
You're what?
girl's a Suns fan. So I'm rocking with the Suns. I'm rooting for the Suns. You feel me? I'm gonna go watch some of the Kings for Valentine's Day. Katie's not gonna play. Devin Booker's gonna play.
Got it.
So
So
I'm a Suns fan this
the way
year.
that I'm understanding it is,
you're a
this is how I'm understanding. You're choosing the Nuggets,
Yes.
but you're gonna root for the Suns.
Yes. I'm happy for them.
Dallas too, right?
Can't lose, man.
Oh, Lucas, you know Lucas is my favorite player.
No, I'm just
That's
making
my
sure-
jersey.
I'm just making sure you.
Luka's your favorite player. Katie's one of your favorite players ever, but the Nuggets are your agenda. Just to cover
Yeah, just so
all
we can
bases.
figure out now. Not only did you do it in NFL, where you pick the best teams, best quarterbacks. Now you have the three best teams in the West, basically.
It just comes full circle for me.
As long as
that-
the Celtics don't win, basically he wins.
I think it's just a full circle moment for me because, the Nuggets were my team favorite to come out the West.
Correct.
But I'm a big time Luka Doncic fan.
Got it.
I'm the biggest Luka Doncic fan. So if he comes out the West, I'm happy.
Mhm.
But now the Suns got Kevin Durant.
Now you're even happier.
And if they come out the West, I'm happy. So honestly, it doesn't matter who comes out the West. I'm good.
So the Suns and Mavs matchup, WCF.
They're Suns and who?
Just this hypothetical world where, because I feel like if you had to pick one team, let's just say like this, You pick one team you are happiest with winning. Who is it?
Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns. But the Nuggets are my favorite, though. And I will say this. At the time of when we make our predictions in the playoffs, I'm going to pick the team I think is going to win. If that team loses, I'm not going to say I made the right prediction, obviously.
So right now it's the Nuggets.
Yeah, right now it is the Nuggets.
Got it. Just
if the Suns make it, I will be happy they made it, but I'm not going to say I was right about them.
Got it. Cool.
You know, I'm not right about them.
Cool.
It's just I'm happy that they made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
Like, for example, Riv, like, okay, the Warriors in the playoffs last year, that's your favorite team. If the Grizzlies beat them, are you not rooting for Ja still?
Yeah.
Same thing, same concept.
I see how you tried to throw me in there.
Yeah,
to give you some leeway.
It's the analogies.
Yeah, okay.
It's the analogies. It's the same thing. But listen, I think
I couldn't be happy for a team that beat mine.
I'm just very this new Katie Love's very new.
It's not. Is it new?
Yes, it is new. I've been on the show with you for 3 years, 2 years. It's very new to me.
It literally only stemmed after the conversation.
Yeah, very new.
It's because the disrespect. You got to stop at some point.
And of course, we can't forget about Philly in the East. You know, your boy James Harden. We cannot forget about them. You know,
I mean, they got a chance, but it's not a big chance.
Slim chance.
They don't got. Yeah, everything has to go right for them to win the championship.
They need the Bucks and Celtics to get hurt.
Yeah, for sure. I think so for sure. Clippers, Lakers. Which team improved more at the deadline?
There we go.
You're talking about this.
God.
Let's talk about it, Mr. Laker.
We can sit here and acknowledge that the Clippers made some very good moves. Absolutely. Bringing in Plumlee, bringing in Eric Gordon, who we never thought would ever leave Houston. Of course, we rumored every single trade deadline. Finally, he's moved. And you add Bones Highland, who knows if he's really going to get into the rotation like that. You give up only 2 seconds for him. That's a good deal. But getting Plumlee, who is one of the better passing big man as well, can get a bucket if you need him to, in terms of obviously finishing near the basket and stuff like that, can shoot his left hand, apparently. That's pretty awesome. But of course, adding Eric Gordon, adding very good depth to the bench, one of the deeper teams in the NBA. Clippers got better. But why I feel like the Lakers got a little bit better than the Clippers did is because Clippers already were a solid team. What are they? 5th right now in the conference, 4th right now in the conference. It's so interchangeable night to night that sometimes you really got to check.
They've got a comfortable lead now.
But why I go with the Lakers is because prior to the trade deadline, we had no shooting, and our defense was very lackluster. Now, prior to the trade deadline, we had 3 players that shot over 35% from 3. The Lakers now have 6. And another reason why I feel like we won, and I want to say this very, very, you'll understand what I mean. Russell Westbrook, it is unfortunate the way that things transpired. I feel like he gets a lot of blame for the Lakers' failures, and I don't like that narrative. It's unfair to Russ, but we can understand that it was a bad fit. Naturally, it was not a good fit, but for reasons that we stated earlier when we had our hour-long debate. He is not a good shooter. He was a bad fit for the Lakers. Now we get spacing. We bring in D'Lo, who can also facilitate a little bit, but of course he's not going to be the primary ball handler. It's going to be LeBron James. You add Malik Beasley, who can shoot the ball very well. You add McDaniels to the squad, who is going to play very strong defense, which is what we needed pretty badly. We trade Pat Bev for Mo Bamba, but solely for the fact that we needed another big since we traded Thomas Bryant because he requested a trade after not getting that many minutes. I go with the Lakers because now we have a very strong foundation and we actually have players in rotation, which we didn't have before, that we could trust. That's why I go Lakers. We got significantly better where Clippers got marginally better.
The Lakers got starters. The Clippers got bench players. I feel like at the end of the day, that's what Drew's trying to say.
Correct.
And not only that, but the Lakers go from starting borderline NBA players to, without a doubt, NBA players and rotational players. They were kind of being unserious for a while with the role players they had there. Pat Bev had been playing better recently. Russell Westbrook in a vacuum by himself is a really good player, but you need a very specific team and fit for him to really flourish. He's probably going to be bought out. I know Clippers are another team that is possibly interested in him in the buyout market. If you're a Lakers fan, though, and I know Drew has said this, you got to be ecstatic because you have what you needed, which is shooters around LeBron and AD. It's always been shooters around LeBron and AD, and for whatever reason, it's taken 2 years, or I guess it's kind of come and gone with the Lakers and their rotational players. But now you're at a point where you have multiple guys around them that can shoot. And now the players that were starting, guys like, even though Austin Reeves might start, who knows, Austin Reeves, Lonnie Walker, they could come off the bench now, provide you more shooting and more offense where before the trade deadline, they were starting for you, which ideally on a team that wants to compete in the playoffs, you probably don't want those guys starting for you. Although Austin Reeves did cross up Giannis last night, which was one of the crazier things I saw.
You've been sleeping on Reeves. And it shows.
The Lakers more than anything improve their team, while the Clippers more so just improve their bench. You see the Clippers as they're now a deeper team. You see the Lakers as they are now a better team who could definitely win a playing game, compete for a playoff spot. I was jokingly said on Twitter, someone said they're going to compete. I said they'll compete for the 7th seed and get a home playing game. I don't think either or any of these moves by the Clippers or the Lakers changes the big picture of things. I don't think Lakers become a championship contender or the Clippers become championship favorites because they're already kind of in that conversation. But overall, both teams got better. You just look at the Lakers being more impactful. They're going to play more minutes and overall desperately needed these moves more than the Clippers did.
The Clippers were already a team that were a legitimate playoff team. The Lakers were a team that was probably not going to make the playoffs or the play-in game. So the moves that the Lakers made makes them a playing team. D'Angelo Russell, inconsistent. Malik Beasley, he can shoot. LeBron, Vando, AD. I like that. I like the players a lot. Schroeder off the bench. Austin Reeves is okay. Lonnie Walker, Rui.
Come on.
I mean, Rui is not good.
I'm talking.
And
What?
I don't think Rui is a good player. You know, I watch him play, and it's not really anything that pops out the screen. He's a negative defender. His shot selection is bad, and every time he touches the ball, he's not going to pass it. That's what he is.
You just spit.
Mo Bamba is. I mean, he couldn't get minutes on the Magic.
That's exactly what I said. Too.
I don't think that he's a good player.
And you really would be stunned with the amount of Mo Bamba fans that exist.
You had to open up minutes for Wyndon Gabriel.
I'm not mad about that. I like Wyndon.
I just look at the Lakers, and it's just funny how people think that this is going to change what they are. D'Angelo Russell is a player that
don't eat your words.
Is notoriously known.
He's reloading
to not show up in big time moments. Last 2 playoff series, he's been horrible, and that's something that
cost the Wolves.
Everybody holds over him, and it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not going to change with the Lakers, especially with D'Angelo Russell, who's a rhythm player. He's not a spot up shooter. He's a good shooter, no doubt, but he's a rhythm player. He's a volume shooter, and if he's not touching the ball and he's going cold, it's going to be. There's nights where it's going to be very noticeable. I'm talking about like there are some nights he can go 11-15. There's some nights he'll go 3 for 15. That's the type of player he is.
One thing I'll say is we let Russell carry the ball a lot. So if we're just similarly going to treat D'Angelo like that, then maybe it might be a little bit easier for him to get going. I understand that concern.
I think D'Lo will play more minutes with LeBron and AD, in my opinion, than Russell Westbrook did.
Absolutely. True, but there's minutes where LeBron, AD, and Russ are still on the court.
For me,
Russ is still handling the ball.
For the Lakers, it just doesn't move the needle. It doesn't. And you still have to worry about health. For me, I don't think the Lakers become a team that
doesn't move the needle in what sense?
That they're a serious playoff team. I think that
gotta get there first.
They're the 6th. I could see their ceiling
until we really are strong in pursuit.
I could see their ceiling being the 6th best team in the West because of LeBron and AD star power. I can also see this going terribly wrong and understanding why D'Lo was just a rental and maybe the Kyrie thing happens.
Respect Malik and Vando. Come on.
The Clippers are a team that could be a serious playoff team, and the big issue with them is the point guard position. There's a reason why their positions stagnate. Terrence Mann is okay. He's done an okay job defending as well, but their bench is just stacked. I mean, Mason Plumlee now becomes the best backup center in the NBA. He was a starter that was getting a double-double, and the good thing about Plumlee is that he can rebound. He's a good finisher, but he's a very good passer. He's a connector on offense. And what the Clippers don't have in a point guard, Mason Plumlee, you could run certain sets through him and have him pass the ball on these dribble handoffs, and that's something that's a skill set that Zubac doesn't offer currently for the Clippers. Bones Highland is a spark plug, kind of like a Lou Will. And Eric Gordon, Houston Rockets legend. You know, he still has some flashes from time to time. He's now on the bench. Look at the Clippers. Terrence Mann, Paul George, Kawhi, Morris, Zubac, Bones, Powell, Gordon, Batum, Rocco, Plumlee. They have a lot of great players. They do. They have a lot of good to great players, very great role players. And I think this team is definitely a dangerous team in the playoffs. They are.
First of all, for the Lakers, getting players that were better than the ones you had is definitely important. I mean, they just needed to get guys that can come in and contribute right away, can shoot the ball, space the floor, solid defender. And they got all 3 of that in one. You know, they got Vando, who's a really good defender, good rebounder, connector. They got Malik Beasley, who's a bucket shooter. D'Angelo Russell, same thing. So it's like getting them guys, and for what they gave up, you know, Westbrook, who was bad for the team. He wasn't. I don't think he was what they've been saying, but he was bad for the team. So it just didn't fit.
Bad basketball.
Just didn't fit. Getting Pat Bev out of there was crucial. That 3-man lineup was very nasty business.
Speak for yourself.
No, it's horrible. Keeping Schroeder was good though. I think Schroeder has been a really good player for the Lakers. And
out of the three, best.
Yeah, he's been a really good player. I think it's a better move for the Lakers because the Clippers, like you mentioned it, they're kind of already in that contention. They're kind of already one of those teams that I just had to figure it out. Even if they didn't make a move, they still had a roster that can compete. As opposed to the Lakers, they were pretty much dog shit. They didn't have a roster, and now you're looking at the team like,
shit?
No, you were dog shit. But now you got guys, and you're like, all right, wait a minute. We made some moves. We brought in Mo Bamba too. We made in some moves.
He can shoot.
Let's figure out. First, obviously, you got to still get into the play-in. It's going to be a tough task for them. They still got to get into a playoff. But yeah, you got LeBron, you got AD, but it still relies on those two guys being healthy. And AD hasn't been playing at that level. If AD is not playing at that elite level, they have no chance. LeBron can do whatever he can do. He's still a great player, but he needs a sidekick. And if AD is not at that par, it's cooked for LA. But I can see them. I can see, like, at their best, they can get into the playoffs. They can make some noise, maybe win a first-round series, or definitely make it competitive. I still don't see this team as being a championship team. I still don't see this team as being a WCF team just because the moves that just happened. Phoenix just got Kevin Durant. The Mavs just got Kyrie. I look at those teams, and then we already thought about the fact that the Warriors and the Clippers are still around. You still got Memphis still lying around. The Pelicans got to get healthy. This West is still deep. It's really hard for me to say these are the moves that change it, but I definitely think this is great for the Lakers. You got pretty much nothing out of something. You managed to keep one of the picks, so that's also good too. So definitely A+ for the Lakers, which what they've been in all trade talks. They've been talking about how they can get Kyrie. They bailed. They couldn't get Kyrie, and now you managed to get these three guys. I think this is definitely solid for the Lakers. I will lean more towards the Lakers, but the Clippers, good moves.
Definitely,
very good moves. I like the T-Man. At the guard spot with PG, his defense. He's a guy who he's not the greatest defender, but he'll press you full court. He makes you work for your buckets. He's a guy that can. Ew, he's a guy.
Fine.
No, I thought he farted. That's why.
T-Man was in talks to be traded to who, but they decided not to because they didn't want to include T-Man.
I think it was OG.
Was it?
I think it was. Yeah, it was OG.
Let me look it up because it might be.
Yeah, but the Clippers.
What do you think about that?
I don't know. No, it's Fred. Sorry, it's Fred. Fred.
It was Fred.
But Joel touched on it a little bit. It's bigger than the point guard position. Like their clutch time, they're just moments in clutch is really bad. They go ISO. It doesn't work. They kind of stop moving the ball in the clutch. They kind of don't have a system down the stretch. So that's something Ty Lue needs to figure out. And of course, like this team still is figuring out lineups. I think they're still figuring out that. But still, they made good moves, solid moves. Eric Gordon can still give you something in the tank. Plumlee is a nice backup. Bones Highland can give you that spark off the bench. Maybe give you that Jamal Crawford vibe. Come in, give you some buckets. So that's something you always want for a team like the Clippers.
I don't think Fred is the point guard for the Clippers.
Probably not.
No, he's not.
I just wish they would have gotten one.
Conley was off the board.
No facts, but the fact you traded Reggie Jackson, even though obviously wasn't much of a
Conley was
for
the
y'all.
only one that I thought would have moved the needle.
Yeah, that made a lot of sense. Yeah.
I thought Fred.
I feel like Fred for I don't know what else the Clippers would have to given up, including Terrence Mann, but it's not bad.
He's just one of those other players that's gonna try to take a shot in the fourth quarter that probably you shouldn't.
I guess, but that's always a better thing than not.
I think Conley like understands his role, and Fred is more so gonna distribute at times, but more so look for his shot.
Fred has struggled shooting this year, but of recent, of course, he has been catching a heater.
He's just not a natural playmaker. That's really what it is. And Conley is.
That's a good point.
That's what it is.
That's the best point.
Reading super chats, Santos. For the first time, I'm taking Joel's side, and I'm taking the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
Shout out Santos, man.
Orlando Martinez. I've got 20 that says Joel's conference finals are Suns and Nuggets versus Sixers and the Bucks.
Anything about the Celtics and Joel's happy.
Yeah, but I showed Dehls a clip from last year of me being very high on the Celtics.
No, Riv just called him like a 6 seed, and you said, relax.
What did I say in the end, though?
I don't remember.
In the end, I said, this the year Jason Tatum takes that lead.
The Celtics last year.
I called you
in the start of the year.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
I was like, this is the year Tatum takes that MVP superstardom leap.
But then I rode all the way.
Not all the way. But
I was like, what do you mean?
You didn't ride all the way.
Santos, next super chat.
No, but I said, but then I.
Oh, okay.
Who are you taking in a Game 7 series,
Respect you,
Mavs
Dehls, I
or
believe
Suns?
you.
From Ronnie.
I would take the Suns.
So it was Suns and who?
Mavs.
I would take the Suns as well.
A little bit more time.
I would take the Suns
Yeah.
too.
You're thinking about this?
Lucas is savage
Thoughts.
because
Definitely
Lucas is
thoughts.
savage. That's why.
The shit-
The
the
pe-
shit ain't
but
no-
the
the
pieces
shit ain't-
around
he
the
deserves.
stars.
I know, but
Suns.
this
He
shit ain't no
deserves
walk in
that.
the park
It isn't.
now.
It isn't.
It
And
sounded like
Kyrie,
it
of
was
course.
when we talk about the Grizzlies versus the Mavs.
I actually did not because I never brought it up. You brought it up.
But you said you take the Grizzlies over the Mavs, though.
Yeah, but it's all about matchups. It's always all about
The
matchups.
Mavs that always cook the Grizzlies, though, in the
In the
regular,
regular
season.
season. I mean, they cooked the Warriors and they lost in 5 games. I'm gonna go with the Suns though. Yeah, I'll go with the Suns.
I'm going with the Suns too. This from Blake Bass. Just got done with the gym. Had to catch the pod. Love the conversations and the content, guys.
Shout out to you, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Shout out to Blake.
Spurs and Pistons are going to double overtime right now.
Yeah, battle the mids. No, honestly, worse.
About the dog shit.
This is from Logan. Luka is a monster in the playoffs, Riv.
Yes.
Second behind MJ in points per game in the playoffs. You better hand him his respect. And you hand him a prime Kyrie Irving. If Mavs and Suns meet, it's going
Yeah.
7. Mavs W.
I always love the Michael Jordan comparison.
He said me. How the hell is he telling me that?
I might have read it wrong. I'm sorry.
I just looked in the camera. I'm looking scrumptious.
Yeah, why'd you say Riv respect him?
I thought I read it somewhere.
It just never said that.
I
once.
guess I was reading something else.
This guy.
Luka is a monster in the playoffs indeed. So this guy, Logan has the Mavs going 7 and beating
I
the
respect
Suns.
it.
This from Q Bugavelli. First look at Kyrie and Luka tonight. What do you think we're going to see? I'm not sure if Luka's going to play.
Luka's
certainly.
not playing tonight.
I don't think he's playing.
There was conversation that he was supposed to suit up, but I don't think he is.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see it tonight, but I'm looking forward to when we do see it. I think it's going to be electric.
Very excited.
And I think that defense is going to come together better than people think it is. This is from Kill Moves.
Aren't you people?
Are there teams you guys are disappointed that didn't make any moves at the deadline, or players that didn't get moved? I was hoping Cleveland got a small forward.
We're gonna talk about that.
Cleveland standing packed. It
ain't
is
too
kind
mad
of
about it.
disappointing.
There's a ton.
But Cora's been rising.
A core low key that could be playing into their mind. A core
That
has
might
been doing
be.
his
Nope,
thing.
don't smile. Don't look at me. Look at the no, don't smile. I don't want to talk to you. No, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. You're done. Look at the last 25 games. Yep,
Cora's
I'm
been
doing
And
it.
the Heat
offensively-
not doing anything is pretty unfortunate.
and
also.
Chicago.
Chicago not moving, not
You know,
trying.
you heard we said we're locked in.
Yeah.
You're getting Russell Westbrook.
Yeah,
That'd be
we're
nasty.
winning it all.
Then you got a fan in me. I've already been kind of.
Bro, I'm about to
a
watch
supporter of
Westbrook and DeMar DeRozan lineups.
This is from
Fuck.
RJ the God. More likely to happen: Ben Simmons getting a jump shot or Knicks winning a championship.
Easily the Knicks getting
Knicks winning a championship.
Ben Simmons would never.
Knicks winning a championship. I mean, it can happen. Joel Embiid is coming to the Knicks
Why do you keep
The,
saying Joel
the
Embiid?
Sixers
because
aren't
he's going to
gonna,
be available. He's going to ask for a trade this offseason.
the Sixers are not going to give him to the Knicks
Why do you think that?
because it's the Knicks.
He's
I don't
What
see
does that
anywhere
mean?
else
Nah, he's
Embiid
right.
could go.
He's right.
We have a lot of first round picks.
Think about it. The Jazz, right, who really have no history with the Knicks at all,
Danny Ainge.
didn't want. That's it, I guess, right? They didn't want to do
You're
business.
gonna give him bum ass RJ and like 7 picks.
Oh, why not?
All right,
it'll
right.
take.
So you say Danny Ainge has a history with the Knicks, right? But the Sixers, who are rivals with the Knicks,
It's Daryl Morey.
Sorta
though.
We're
kinda
not,
not
we're not
really.
rivals.
but well,
that's-
across the pond,
We're not rivals, bro.
East rivals.
We are not
still kind of
rivals.
whether you like it or not.
The Knicks rivals are the Miami Heat at one point in time, especially in the 2000s and in like the late 90s. The Chicago Bulls.
That was a nasty
That's
rival.
the Indiana Pacers for a short time.
They call that a rival, but never beat
Really,
MJ.
that's it.
It's
I
solely
don't.
for
I
the
don't.
fact like the Nets and you guys aren't really rivals. It's just that you guys are in the same area.
They beat them like 11 times.
It's
The
different
The
though.
Nets
It's,
don't lose to them. That's
it's
facts.
Brooklyn and New York. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it's Philly and it's New York.
it's not the same thing.
Maybe you guys have a chance. Who
I'm,
knows?
as a Knicks fan, I don't view the
You're a what?
Sixers as a rival of the Knicks.
Knicks what? Are you what? Say it again.
What do you mean? I'm
Is
a
it-
fan.
Of who?
Is it? I have
I'm
Julius
act-
Randle
I just
jersey.
have
What are
to
we
ask.
talking
You have a
about?
Lakers jersey.
It's Magic Johnson.
You're a Magic
talking
guy?
about this from
Does he have
Aramis
a Hawks
Jones.
jersey?
I think
Aramis
he does.
Jones-
What's Dominique? Who'd you
Who
get?
had the
I
Hawks
didn't.
jersey?
I don't
Russ?
got a Hawks jersey.
Yes, you do.
You
Yes,
copied
you
the
do.
jersey.
You copied the
You went
Dejounte
to-
jersey.
No,
No,
I
what did
don't.
he do on Twitter? He saw Dejounte play.
I've been moved.
Yeah, he was in.
He was like, I've
you
been
copped
moved.
the jersey when we went to the Hawks game.
No, I copped the windbreaker.
The windbreaker.
Oh, my bad.
I don't wear it though. It's a reselling purposes.
It was nice. It's a nice one.
Aramis Jones. My Pels were an L this trade deadline.
Yeah,
I didn't think we needed to make a
Ah,
move. I mean,
They just
why
got to
make a
get
move?
healthy.
they do.
Pels didn't need to do anything.
But
I'm
the-
fine with
the
them not
rest-
doing anything.
The rest team's got.
Start
This
Dyson.
from AJ BMT. Thoughts on Deshaun Watson and how the Browns will perform next year?
I know my
Your
vibe.
squad.
Yeah, Winning division.
I mean, I think at the bare minimum, he'll be better than this year, which was pretty mid. He has played football in a year and a half. I think they'll be good.
Winning division. Undoubtedly. We're back. Myles Garrett, Deshaun Watson. Amari Cooper was amazing last
He
year.
was.
Denzel Ward.
Don Peoples-Jones had a really good year.
Like, Dave and the joke, like we're dogs. We just needed Deshaun to be Deshaun. You know?
Wow. People have spoken.
We'll see.
90% of them are LeBron fans. They have to push this agenda.
No, the pick aside Twitter tweeted it out.
Then you
Love
have
the
I don't
pick
have
aside-
responses.
love the
I
pick aside
I
Twitter,
didn't.
man.
I
You did
didn't.
that in secrecy.
I didn't.
Oh yeah, I just did it on Twitter. Yeah.
I saw it. I was like, oh well, I guess I don't have to put that poll up.
Oh, I thought it was you who tweeted
No,
it.
I thought it was too.
I don't have it on my phone because the alerts go crazy.
You can put it on silent.
I should, right? I
Mine's
should.
outside.
Actually, when I'm on my account, I never get the alerts for.
Do you know
Neither
what?
do I.
Interesting. You know, maybe I should do that. And smart. Thanks.
Actually, I might just all my Twitter notifications off.
I just
need my
have
shits on.
DMs on.
I need Noah Shams
notifications.
or
Shit,
Debo
facts.
Index.
Yeah,
or
and
NBA
accounts
University
and stuff.
I
draft.
do
That's
have.
true.
You
I
know
do
what's
have two
funny? When I got my
notifications
new phone, I don't have the alerts on, but I never got the account information.
That makes sense.
This is from Kyle
And I've asked for
Basil.
it so many times.
Once again, y'all looking so cute.
Aw.
Do any of you guys have big plans for Valentine's Day?
I thought he was gonna say.
I'm going to Mount Fuji. I'm going to Mount Fuji with Alexandra. And it's funny, we were talking about this because we had the conversation of do I ask Alexandra to be my
Yes.
Valentine? So I told her about that
Oh,
conversation that we
facts.
had, and she was like, yeah, you should ask me. You haven't asked me, and I was waiting for you to ask me because I had texted her, and she's like, that's not, it was kind of dry.
It is. Over
No,
text,
you
kinda
definitely.
rude.
You're hilarious.
She
was weak.
and then she hit me with the, well, you got to have a list of reasons why
Oh,
why
fuck
you'd be a
no.
good Valentine for me. I was just like, well,
Losing me.
I'm me, okay, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah, me and my girl better have our first Valentine's together. So I asked her, I got her flowers, a little bear. We're going to some spot, Jersey City, maybe. It's like over the water,
Yeah.
city view. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, I fucked up. I forgot to make a
There's still time, bro. There's
reservation.
still time.
No, I've been calling a lot of places.
I'm not going. I'm going the Friday after. We're not going out Tuesday.
Yeah, no, she wants to go out Tuesday.
Oh.
I'm fucked.
Yeah, tell me how we tried to make a reservation at the Chart House
Me
like
too.
a week ago.
Me
a
too.
week
I
ago.
tried 3 days ago. I was cooked.
It's Valentine's Day.
So
No,
what are you
understood,
gonna do?
but I called 2 weeks before Valentine's
I
oh.
don't
Day.
know.
Yeah, that's,
Maybe you
that's
should
OD.
just get creative, bro.
Applebee's.
You're not serious. She will be pissed if I.
You want me to? You want to go?
Half abs, bro.
quadruple, a double date? Valentine's
She would
Day?
kick my ass.
That's
if we were-
my girl would
yeah.
actually.
Why don't
we
you
just we just wouldn't know. Like I'll send you the spot I'm going to because they had OD reservations available on.
So-
It was
okay,
the
so-
Friday though, not Tuesday. We're going
Oh, so
Friday.
send me
Tuesday
some-
was cooked. Tuesday they had nothing.
So what about why don't you just, I don't know, get like rose petals and put it, I mean, put it like the walkway to your room, put it and you make dinner for her. Like, you can do something.
You can do
like
something
that.
at the crib. You cook.
No, that's why you were
cook.
losing.
put like rose petals, like rose petal heart shaped on the bed and stuff.
You
You know
spit.
what I'm saying?
It's getting mad.
Get a bear, get some
Yeah,
chocolate.
yeah. You know what? Fuck it. I'll
You
figure
could-
it
you
out.
don't, I mean, you don't gotta go to the
I mean,
restaurant. You just
okay,
be
cool.
yourself and be spontaneous. You know what I'm saying?
I could do some shit like that.
Make
Maybe.
chocolate covered strawberries
You're
in the
losing me
crib.
with the make
In
part.
the crib, bro.
I'm
it's
definitely
mad.
getting chocolate.
Or you put it.
I could go get him.
You could do that.
Yeah, I'll go get him.
Edible arrangement, bro. You're gonna have to get on that like yesterday.
I forgot. There's a place in Hackensack that makes really good.
Edible arrangements.
Alexandra's not watching this, but every single Valentine's Day, I go to Whole Foods. I get a dozen roses. That's it.
That's all
We
you
go
need.
out to dinner. Simple as that.
Gangsta.
But you got to be careful, bro. If you go too late, roses are cooked. Roses are cooked.
All this for a stupid ass day.
I have actually Valentine's Day off. That's nice.
Wow.
So I got the whole day.
I should just go to work.
It's about to get active.
She has work.
Ah.
I should just tell her I got
I've
work
been a
and
haircut
shit.
though.
You know what? I'm gonna use my son.
I haven't got a haircut in a week and a half.
I'm just like, I got
A month and a half.
I like how you guys are just spitballing here. Just
I'm just I got a babysitter or some shit. Like,
yeah, I'm sorry.
She's gonna
hon.
say,
I
"Let me come
can't.
over."
I can't
that's
see.
fine. Yeah, come on, man. Yeah.
You got to cook.
No.
What are you doing for Valentine's Day, bro?
So I'm flying out to Arizona.
He's been waiting
I'm
for us
flying
to
out
ask
to
him.
Phoenix.
Nice.
I was waiting for y'all conversation to end. I'm saying. So I'm flying out to Phoenix. I've been talking to this girl recently, and I'm taking her to the Kings and Suns game. She's a Suns fan, so that's why I'm rooting for the Suns this year. You know what I'm saying? If she a Suns fan, then I'm gonna root for the Suns.
I could
That's the
get
same
behind
way
that.
how he's a Celtics fan. I root for the Celtics all the time. You're a Broncos fan. I love rooting for your Broncos and your Lakers too. I always got love. And Riv, the Eagles, I always got love for the Eagles. Whenever they do well. I like Drew said. I like to see my friends happy. So that means their team success is
This guy's
correlated
just lying his
into
ass
that,
off. He
right?
went against the Jets, his own team, to see me fail.
That is actually what happened.
No, I went against
No,
the
that's
Jets
actually
because
what
they
happened.
did Zach Wilson dirty.
Interesting.
It's like Jim
And then the
Irsay
0-5
Peyton,
shit. What about the
basically.
0-5 shit?
Yeah, he brings it up all the time.
Yeah, I mean, even at the time when you said it, I was like, bro, I don't know about that. That's kind of bold. Like, we're the Jets.
Yeah, you were confident that we would win a game.
No, I was not.
Yeah, you were.
I was like, that we could lose all of them. I could see it.
You said remember pretty vividly. You said there's like an 89% chance to win a game.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna go to I'm going to Arizona, of course. I'm gonna be there for 8 days, so I won't be on a podcast for those days that I'm gone.
It's gonna get
Yeah,
active
yeah.
here.
You know, I'm writing a little speech to get ready because Monday it's my last show in a while, and I'm hoping the Chiefs win because I don't want to come here the next day if the Eagles win. I will if I have to.
all of a sudden,
Well, I
show's
will,
getting
but-
canceled. He's got something to do.
I'm saying,
his
but-
flight got changed to Monday.
But Mahomes got it. I believe in Mahomes. Is the reason I got $100 parlay. I mean, $100 money line.
I'll
on
tell
it.
you what. I don't think Mahomes will play bad, but Lord knows I'm rooting for him to play like ass.
But yeah, I got a little thing set up. I'm gonna ask her to be my girl on Valentine's Day. So you know, I'm saying smart. Gotta think outside the box a little bit.
Nice.
You know?
It's the first time in a while we're on the same Super Bowl side.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Who was last year? Oh, we were last
We
year.
were.
I'm bugging.
Yeah, come on, bro.
We're just usually not on the same time.
Yeah, I mean, usually when it comes to anything sports related
Facts.
and
So-
supporting teams.
Yes.
This is from King. CP3 or Carmelo all time. Who would you rather start a team with? I would go Chris Paul.
Chris Paul.
Oh, pretty easily.
Chris Paul.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Let me see.
I thought
This is
it
from
was Chris Paul.
Teeks. With the competitive Western Conference, how far do you guys see the Pelicans go in terms of their playoff run?
They're healthy. Second
Second
round
Mr. Peak.
Second
I
round.
think they're a first round exit.
Really?
They can be.
with
Yeah,
Zion
with
healthy.
matchups.
They can be.
With matchups.
Suns, Nuggets, Mavs,
Warriors.
Warriors.
They can be, but they can make it out the first round too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams that are really good that
It's just
could
the
lose in
Mavs
first
and the
round.
Suns made splash moves.
Facts.
We're going to
And
see
the
how
Clippers
we're
got
going to
better.
see how the
Pels
Mavs
got
play.
some dogs out there though.
Yeah,
They
that's
do.
why it's like the Pels, you don't knock them for not making a move, but you look around the West, everyone else made a move and you didn't get better. You stayed the same. Still a good team, but you want to try to keep up with everybody else.
Q Bookavelli goes, the Suns are not a super team. They are right on par with the top teams with the top 5 player.
Right
It feels-
on par.
it
That was more
feels-
for you.
Oh no, really?
Because yeah, it's not like we don't even think they're favorites in the West. We don't think.
Are the Celtics a super team?
I don't think so.
Fuck no.
No.
Tatum and KD are similar right now.
They stink.
What about Jalen Brown and Booker?
It's a
You take
it's a
Booker.
Big
strong,
Booker.
Clears.
You
strong.
take Booker.
Marcus Smart, Chris Paul right now.
Marcus
You
Smart.
would
pretty
t-
close.
Yeah, I mean defensively it would be smart. If you
No, I
need
don't. But
straight
I don't think either
playmakers.
team is a super team.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I'm in.
Super
Is Rob
team-
Will and Aiden closer now?
You got some wrong guy.
Probably would lean in.
No, it's
I
close.
guess it's close.
Yeah, it's close. What are we doing?
This from Logan. What's criteria of a super team? Multiple players that are champions, multiple all-stars, or both? Question mark. Well, I don't think champions because
We just had a whole hour debate.
anybody
about
can
it,
be
so,
champions. Yeah.
I mean, go back an hour ago. Listen to that. Whole
I
thing.
think
You need to
it's-
have
I
two
think it's
elite
three-
level players and one
Yeah.
all-star level
Correct.
player.
I think 2 elite level players, 1 all-star player. That's what I think super team is as well. This Thomas Kessler Edwards trade to the Kings was a sign to me that the KD trade was coming because that trade freed up a roster spot for the trade to go through.
Interesting.
Yes. I didn't even see Kessler Edwards get moved.
I did.
honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did see he got traded, but I didn't think too much of it. Obviously,
Or
because
was it like a
it's
second or
Kessler
something?
Edwards, with all due respect.
This is from Deco. Shout out y'all looking sexy and I
Cute.
Blazers, but keep Gary Payne will take his recovery time. Wiseman doesn't play much anyways. So I'm guessing he shouted us out for looking handsome. And the Blazers took an L for trading Gary Payne.
Well, maybe they didn't. Who knows?
Yeah,
Trade still yet to go through.
we'll see. The Blazers folded.
Next one's from Thomas Beatty. Pacers rivals Knicks, Heat, Bulls, Pistons, Lakers.
Okay.
The
They definitely don't
Pacers
have
rivals.
any rivals right now, though.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess historic if you're taking everything.
Kevin said, worked out in my pick a side hoodie today at the gym. Y'all boys
Real.
keep doing y'all thing, but Toronto only getting Jakob was really disappointing.
What else did you want?
I thought it was a good move.
I was fine with it.
Yeah, I thought it was a good move.
They've been begging for a center, and they got Jakob.
And that reminds me, shout out to Jack Bartek, former pick a side co-host.
Jack,
course.
He
go.
was covering a game and doing play-by-play.
In the pick a side hoodie.
Hack and sack at Ramapo. Was Hack and sack versus Ramapo. He wasn't in it, but he saw somebody wearing it that made him think of us. And he reached out and said, Shout out to y'all.
Real.
Yeah.
Wait, what was going on?
So he was calling a game, Hackensack versus
I
Ramapo.
guarantee you he saw Zari in it.
Really?
Because
That
Zari's
would've been
brother
funny.
plays for Hackensack.
Her brother's a problem, allegedly.
Yeah, Jamiko.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He's amazing.
So he probably saw her.
I see her post about it, and I'm just like, I see his highlights. He's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. He
Is
starts
he
with them.
ranked?
He is ranked in Jersey, I believe.
He's a freshman?
Yeah.
That's
Oh, shit.
insane.
Wait, he's a freshman?
Mm-hmm.
Who does he play for?
Hackensack.
Hackensack.
That's why
That's
it's
what I said.
awesome.
That's what he probably saw Zari at the game with the hoodie on. She wears my hoodie a lot.
I'm hoping no other schools try to steal him because you give him 3 more years, we're gonna be nice.
Nah, we is crazy.
Hackensack?
I'm from Kinnelon.
Huh?
From Kinnelon.
What are you talking about?
Does Jamiko own a Picasat hoodie?
Gotta get him one.
Probably send him one, yeah.
Maybe we should.
It's on the house.
It's on the
Santos. Applebee's has a good deal too for $20.
Mad good deal.
I know it does, but that's not ideal. Like, imagine I'll take her like, yeah, we're gonna go to Applebee's. She's gonna look at me and leave.
Look crazy.
Until
Like-
she's eating the mozzarella sticks.
She
They go
wants.
crazy.
She said she's actually
You guys are meeting in the middle of string cheese.
yeah, no, she's gonna be pissed. She was like, you better not go to no fucking regular ass restaurant that we always go to. Treat me
I
right,
want
Riv."
seafood.
Yeah, I was like, alright.
So I'm going to a seafood spot.
Huh?
So I'm going to a seafood spot.
Yeah, Mount
yeah.
Sushi.
This
That's where
is
you go, right?
from
Nah, I'm going to Mount
RJ the
Fuji.
God.
Fuji.
RJ the
Where you
God
going?
goes, what
Uh,
happens
forgot the
first?
name of it.
LeBron
Follows?
retirement or Celtics chip?
What happens first?
That's actually a great ass question.
I'm taking the Celtics ship.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm going
com-
Celtics.
Celtics
comfortably.
question. Don't act.
I'm
comfortably.
going Celtics championship also.
Comfortably.
That's fair. That's actually a tough ass question.
Celtics could win this year.
They could, but they could lose this year. So it's like
Better
LeBron,
chan-
you know
better
LeBron's
chance of them
got
winning
a-
or better chance of
a
them
few
losing?
years.
I guess the answer to that is better chance of them losing.
Yeah.
by technicality,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
That's actually tough because LeBron. I don't know how long he's gonna do this shit,
He's 3 years.
but I don't want to jinx the Celtics and say, yeah, the Celtics will win, and then they never win.
I'm gonna go with
Fuck it though. I'll say better chance.
I mean, how many years does LeBron have left? Like 3?
LeBron's retiring.
When?
No, I'll take the Celtics.
I'll
win
take the
chip.
Celtics win the
Yeah,
championship.
they'll win the
I
chip.
don't want you guys on my side.
That's mean.
You I'm cool with. Not
I
these
root for the
motherfuckers.
Celtics all day, man.
I'm not
He's a
dapping
Lakers
you.
guy. You shouldn't. Because
There's
You
no
guys give me
rivalry
way
between
more
us.
shit than
'Cause
this
we-
Lakers fan.
we beat you.
Now I was
There's a
reading this.
historic rivalry, obviously, but right now, come on, we got to cook
It's been
up.
15
Now
years.
I was reading this piece on the Athletic about Russell Westbrook and the toxic environment that existed within the Lakers organization. Do you think that Russell Westbrook deserved the toxicity
What?
he got from the Lakers in
No,
him leaving?
absolutely not. And just think about all the treatment that he got from fans in LA. It really is sad and sickening to me. When I tweeted when Russell was traded, I said, we appreciate your time.
I'm good.
You will be missed. A lot of people said that they don't care for us, all this, that, and the other. We can separate the fit from Russell Westbrook, the player, and Russell Westbrook, the person. It really is sad to see the way that fans treated Russell. And I understand that you get mistreated when you play poorly next to LeBron James. I've witnessed that as a LeBron James fan for years and years and years. But Russ gets unnecessary hate, more unnecessary hate than I've seen from a lot of other players.
I don't think it was correct. And honestly, I think that most of the toxicity is really not coming from the fans. It's coming from the guy who recruited him to LA and LeBron James. It's as simple as that.
Stop this bullshit narrative.
No, it's not a narrative. It's facts. I mean, one, you have a meeting with Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook, and you talk about how you guys are going to sacrifice and make this work out. While Russell Westbrook is on the team, you're openly vouching for Kyrie Irving to come on the team, and that obviously means the guy that currently your team is going to get
It
traded.
doesn't obviously
The one
mean
that you recruited onto LA. That's like me throwing a party and inviting you, and then telling all the guests, I don't want this guy here. That's what it is.
I'm not gonna say, listen, I'm trying to defend my guy. You're right. LeBron was not nice to Russell Westbrook. He wasn't. But it's because they weren't a great fit next to one another. And of course, LeBron understands his time's running out. It is. And he's trying to maximize that time while he has it. And he knew that it would come at the expense of Russ. But indirectly, he definitely was not he was not a help to how fans perceived Russ.
He was not a help, but I also thought that this year he played fine. This year he played more than fine. Last year, he was the most durable player. I'm one to criticize Russ a lot because I
He's
look
fine. You really would say that?
this year he has been fine. He's been better than last year.
Easily.
Yeah, I mean,
But still, it's tough, bro. Because when it comes closing minutes and Russ is out on the floor, sign it up. We're losing.
that's been him his whole career. The poor decision making,
But it's not really even that. It's not about decision making.
the
It's
shot selection.
It's the lack of spacing, and it really gets unplayable.
That's been him like since like 2017.
2017, even though on that Rockets team, Russell Westbrook was on one of the hottest streaks that he had in his career, and then the world shut down.
Yeah, they traded their center because his spacing.
Yeah.
They traded their rebounder because he's
yeah, that was crazy that PJ Tucker was their center for a while.
So for me, I don't know. I don't think Westbrook deserved it, but I also think like, I don't think he got the right treatment, because LeBron was openly flirting with Kyrie to come, and Russell Westbrook was on your team.
He just would have been a better fit. Easy.
He would have, but you got to think about your teammate. And I don't think Russell Westbrook, he didn't deserve that as a teammate. And I thought LeBron and his relationship was a bit closer. Maybe, I don't know what they talk about behind the scenes, but it kind of feels like Russell Westbrook was blindsided by him being featured in every other trade, every other time.
I don't think he should be blindsided.
No, I was going to say, Joel, really?
I don't think blindsided.
Definitely blindsided by LeBron behind the scenes
going on ESPN
that was
having
insane.
to sit down and openly talking about Kyrie. Yes, he was blindsided, and I don't think LeBron should have done that. But I mean, there's been trade rumors around Russ for damn near basically since he's got there.
That was a mistake. That was a mistake. Going out there and it's disappointing. I'm just like,
it was like that's something you could talk with the front office. LeBron has the relationship. He obviously was in the conversation of getting Kyrie, so you could do that with management behind the scenes. But going on ESPN to talk about that, because it's fine if LeBron wants Kyrie, but LeBron's smart enough to know to get Kyrie Irving, you have to give up some of your teammates in order for him to be on the Lakers, and that player, for contract purposes, would have had to have been Russell Westbrook. I don't think it's right that he's been scapegoated. Maybe isn't the right word, but that's the correct word. You have to separate what's happening on the basketball court with what's not happening on the basketball court. And anytime like you're trying to, attack his character, who he is as a person, because you see those reports going around, you see those articles going around, and for the most part, what everyone says is it's not true. It's actually the exact opposite, that Russ is a very caring guy. There's been reports out there that he was leaving $50,000 tips when he was in the bubble in Disney. The reporters come now saying how great he was to work with and be around. As a person, Russell Westbrook has been fantastic in LA, and he's done great, but as a basketball fit, it wasn't going to work out. And looking back in hindsight, you shouldn't have traded your Kuzmas and your Carusas, like we've talked about in previous episodes, to make this big three of a sense when you just had perfect role players around him. Unfortunately, that's a mistake on the front office that's getting put on Russell Westbrook. A lot of people saw it coming that this wasn't going to work, but it's just Russell Westbrook gets the blame for it now, and it should have been the front office.
He loves Westbrook. I mean, Wilson.
This guy did it too.
Westbrook is undoubtedly the scapegoat, but it usually happens when you play with LeBron, right? I mean, no offense to LeBron, but when a guy makes a move,
Kevin Love,
the guy who leaves becomes the scapegoat. And I think what's interesting in this situation is
mad people are agreeing.
No, Kevin Love.
Kevin Love, yeah. I think what's interesting in this situation.
I know you put up that poll thinking, did
you go crazy?
No, I didn't. I kind of thought people ride LeBron
he locked
a lot.
up SGA
I kind of thought. I mean, y'all love to act like LeBron hasn't played with these great, overwhelmingly talented teams.
Don't do y'all. All right, we can have conversation. You know that I know what I'm talking about.
LeBron post first Cleveland stint has always tried to build overwhelmingly talented teams.
Not one,
sure,
not two.
He was hilarious. He loves to go in front of everybody just talking shit. I was like,
he's crazy for that.
He's lit.
I just feel like the
it's just hitting the wrong demographic.
Screaming at demographic.
What do you mean by demographic?
Just please go on. I don't want to hear what he has to say.
Okay.
It's hitting like LeBron fans and not like casual NBA fans or just NBA fans in general.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I just think the media kind of took it too far. Started attacking his character. And we come up here and we've, attacked Westbrook's basketball game. We've never came up here and attacked him as a person. No, we come up here, we analyze what we see on the basketball court. Whatever you do outside of that shit, we don't really give a fuck about in here. It's just about what you do in the basketball court. And I think that's the problem with the media is they go out and they start attacking people's character. And it has nothing to do with his basketball ability. I mean, Westbrook is a family man. He's a guy that's donated to multiple charities. He's been known to be liked by pretty much all of his teammates. He's been a good guy. And I think the way, like, that one reporter who's called him, like the venom got out the locker room, some shit like that. Like, that was
and
just
Brian Windhorst is like, he was killing the Lakers. He was killing them.
Yeah, they didn't work on the court, but let's
like
stop acting like he was in the locker room. Took like, no, fuck you. I don't get the ball. Like, he wasn't doing
and
that,
everyone
bro.
makes that joke about when he's like, you gotta play greedy, keep playing greedy. He's like, most importantly, y'all keep having fun.
He probably saying that shit because y'all treat him like shit every day, and I'm
trying to find a silver lining.
Yeah, he's trying to sit here and be like, these dudes cook me no matter what I do. I'm gonna just go out there and be happy. Like he said, it was like his wife said, his kids are going to school and they're getting attacked because his father is this certain bad guy, and it's not that, man. He may not be a good basketball player, which I agree on. That fit was horrible. He's not good in the Lakers. He wasn't good. He was pretty bad. But to say he's a bad person, I don't know. I just think the media takes it too far. And that's why new media is on the way.
Is he a bad basketball player?
Is everybody was saying he's a bad person though?
A lot of media, yeah.
There was a handful of reports. It's not overwhelming by any means.
It's overwhelming to the point. It's overwhelming enough to where it's like, what are we doing here?
No, I do think that his stubbornness on the court is a real issue, and I think that he doesn't take accountability on the court. I think that is a real thing. Like, I think that it's a real thing that coaches have tried to get the best out of Russ, and he has just refused to change his game. And I think Darvin Ham, that argument they had in halftime was Darvin Ham kind of asking him to play better defense and kind of pointing out his flaws. And I think Westbrook has always been deflective in that area. And that's dated back since OKC when he would take more shots than Kevin Durant, when Kevin Durant is the greatest scorer we haven't seen, arguably. And Russell Westbrook was taking more shots than him every single night. I do think that's a real issue with Russ, and that's why his career is on a decline right now.
Is Russell Westbrook a bad basketball player?
No, nobody's saying that.
He's not. No, but
he wasn't good in LA.
I'm asking you in a vacuum. Is he a bad basketball player?
He has a lot of deficiencies.
I mean, what's his one deficiency?
It's multiple.
He can't shoot, and he turns the
can't
ball
shoot.
over.
He's a low IQ basketball player.
Well, he's not a bad basketball player, but
he has low IQ at times, especially in the clutch. He sometimes tries to do too much, play hero ball.
Be erratic
defensively, he's not that good.
On ball, he's been very good this year. Off ball,
he's all right. He's more of a show defender than an actual defender. Like, he looks the part of a defender, but he's not.
Interesting. I will say on ball this year, he's been very good. And that's why we do play him late in lineups, because we do need that defense.
You don't have anybody else, though.
You're not wrong.
But actually have nothing
which
else.
is why it got hard. And why I needed to go.
He's not a bad basketball player, though.
He'll be missed.
Will he?
Will he, though?
All right. This is where you lose.
I don't know.
No, he won't.
As a man.
That's okay.
Eric with the K, just seen the Grizzlies heated debate. You got to let my bro Drew talk.
Thank you. Come on, bro.
Eric with the K.
I was on your side.
Eric with a K, done it again. Riv Academy, 3 exclamation points.
Shut up, Riv, when we get a new video.
Get out of here with that.
When?
Today.
Oh, you did?
He didn't caption it. He just said YouTube video.
Yeah, I got to get better at that. I'll figure it out. Once I have more shit, you know what I'm saying?
So which teams were you disappointed in that didn't make a trade, or you thought we're going to sell their players, Go
ahead. Sorry, King.
No, I'm locking in on the Raptors and the Bulls, man. I'm very locked in. For starters, Toronto, you have to pay everybody next year. They literally, if you go look at the contracts, all their good players are expired at the same exact time. OG is next year.
I was gonna say
FVV is next year. Siakam's next year.
All of them.
Trent Jr., I believe, is also next year too. This year? No, he has a player option, so he'll take that. If he does, because him and FVV have a player option.
Gary could get paid though. He probably won't take it.
The Raptors should have blown it up. Picking up Pirtle is a good move on a basketball spectrum, but ideally it doesn't move the needle for you. You're not a team that's going. You're a first-round exit at best. That's your ceiling. With Siakam as your best player, your ceiling is maybe the second round in the perfect situation. This is just overall not a basketball team that can compete in the East right now.
Basketball team, I like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Basketball team that can compete in the East right now, and it's okay. There is reports that the Raptors and the Bulls didn't make moves because with the Nets blowing it up, they feel like they're more comfortable to come out. It was the stupidest shit I've ever read. They feel like this is the window. dog, you're not even better than the Knicks and the Hawks right now.
Not
How
better
do you
than-
look
I'm
at
not better
the?
than Nets.
Hey, you're not better. You're barely better than the Pacers. How do you look at the Nets and say, all right, they blew it up. This is the time.
That's one
Well, you're
spot.
not better than those guys. So it's like you look at the team. The Raptors have a lot of good players, but they don't have a bench. You know, offensively in the half court, they're not that good. They're not a good shooting team. There's just a lot of they don't have a now they have a big, but they didn't have a big before. So it's like, why not blow it out? I mean, Pascal Siakam, he's almost at 30. You know, he's in his prime. FVV is a good player, but he's pretty much has set his stone on his career. Like Gary Trent Jr. is a good player.
Raptors are in the play-in.
Barely. Were they in the
They're
play-in?
number 10.
Yeah, that's not.
They're in the play-in.
That's not
Number
moving
10.
me. That's not like that's what are you gonna do? Like you've reached your ceiling with this team, and now I've seen people
They're the
say,
11th seed.
yeah, I've seen. What are they tied?
They're a half game behind the Wizards.
Nuts.
No, I'm looking at it right here.
One of these might be.
Oh,
No, they're tied.
behind.
So whoever has the
got it.
now what
Bizarre. We're both on Google.
are you gonna do? You're gonna bring in another top 5 pick and what? Put him on a bench to play after these guys? No
Uh-huh.
proper development.
Yeah.
I mean, you already got Scotty, who's not taking a massive decrease, but he hasn't improved like you wanted him to. And I think that's a lack of.
He's been playing
because
better recently, though.
He has been, but I think that's a product of you. You have guys who need the ball, older guys who
They've
you're playing
been
through.
good recently.
Yeah, but you're-
Fred
you're-
was struggling. He's been playing good.
Yeah, but it's
Scotty
not,
was
that's not
struggling, he's been
moving. That's
playing
not.
good.
You want them to play good so bad, but that's not doing anything for them. Because them playing good doesn't mean anything.
I
Now you're
understand what
pushing
you're
yourself
saying. I get
away
it.
from the lottery. You have to blow this team up.
Because it's not
And them-
about being good or not.
And
It's a
them
matter of
fucking
what,
Chicago Bulls. Oh my God. They
Yeah.
said I need to be blown away with a move for Caruso. Why are we overvaluing role players? I don't like that. I saw the Knicks deal. The Knicks deal was really good. I actually
what was it?
liked
I didn't see it.
it was some shit like Grimes, Fournier, somebody else, and like three picks. I thought it was good. It was
For
a good
Caruso?
deal. Yeah, no, it was for Zach. I thought it was a good deal. Yeah,
For
no.
Caruso, you
So I said, yeah. They said no.
That's what
yo,
we need help.
Yo,
but I saw the deal. It was a good deal for Zach LaVine, especially to get off his contract, $40 million. And
Come on.
he's been hooping, but it doesn't matter because
He's
we have no
him.
ceiling. We have no
He's him.
ceiling.
Which-
We have no
I
ceiling.
mean,
There is no ceiling.
there is a ceiling.
No, there isn't.
There is a
we're
first round
literally-
exit.
we're stuck in the play-in. We can't get out the play-in. It's truly embarrassing. I mean, they talk about re-signing Vooch. I don't know what the fuck we're
He's
doing
been
here.
hooping also.
I don't care. I genuinely don't care.
Put
I
your
mean,
hate aside.
it's not hate. The Bulls fans have this idea that we can get into the first round and beat somebody. We can't beat anybody. I mean, if we play the Knicks, maybe we win. I don't even want to win because we're gonna go to the second round and get destroyed. But those are the two teams that I think should have made.
The one team for me is the Miami Heat more than any other team, truthfully. I'm sorry. The eyes that you gave me when I said the Miami Heat caught me off guard. The Miami Heat, because it just feels like they're missing something. And that something is a point guard. That, yeah, they could potentially get that in Russell Westbrook now that it's a strong case that he could get bought out. But is that really the answer for the Miami Heat? And I understand Conley getting traded to the Wolves, was an option that was removed from them and trying to make a move. But at the same time, you understand that the Heat are missing something. Bam and Jimmy have been very good this season. So has Tyler Hero, if we're being completely honest. But it's not enough. There's just something missing. And I understand that Miami is kind of stuck right now between a rock and a hard place. They don't know what move is going to really push them over that edge. But you had to do something. To stand packed and to do absolutely nothing, I'm sure Miami Heat fans are disappointed. No doubt about it.
So for me, I'm not going to pick the Bulls or the Heat because you guys picked them. I'm going to go with the 76ers. I think
Really?
the Philadelphia 76ers
They made a move, though.
for McDaniels.
Solid.
It's not moving the needle, though. I don't think it's moving the needle. They needed another seriously impactful player.
I thought the topic was teams that didn't move.
Oh, that didn't make a trade?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All good.
Well, listen, I think that the Sixers they need more.
Fair.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
If Harden turns the notch up, I mean, then it is.
That's not likely. So it's not
Come
enough.
on, bro.
It's not likely. The Kings also, they're
That's
going
a
to drop
great
out
name.
the standings because of
Interesting.
their lack of moves at the deadline, for sure. Well, and the Raptors, they didn't trade anybody. I thought the Jakob was good. I was never a believer in them selling. Now, it does make it alarming, though, that next year,
Contracts are gonna screw them.
Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent are on player options, so they can decline it and they can leave. If I'm the Raptors, unless I already have some framework in place of them staying long term, it was a very stupid decision for them not to trade either of them. If they're staying long term, okay, it's cool. But if you're not bringing them back, it was very stupid by Masai Ujiri to not trade them at the deadline. I mean, it was a ridiculous decision. I like this roster, though. You have Fred, Gary, Siakam, OG, Scotty.
He likes them now.
Pirtle.
You hear this?
Yeah, I'm confused.
No, he likes them now.
No, I like the difference between this roster and the Bulls roster, and the Bulls are the biggest losers in this deadline.
No, we're not even talking about the Bulls. You just never liked this roster in general.
No, listen. I'm under the assumption this team can add a top 10 draft pick in the draft. They can add a top 10 talent to this
Play
roster.
where though?
I mean, you can just have them develop. Nobody has to have
listen. You
high
said it.
usage.
There's a chance that Gary Trent might not be on this team next season.
Well, I'm going off his scenario. You think they should keep Trent?
I think Fred. I think Fred stays. You have to keep Fred.
Yeah, I think at this point, you didn't trade them. You might as well sign them and try to flip them again.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think they can add a top player in this draft to this roster. The reason why I'm so low on the Bulls is because the Bulls don't have any young talent that can turn into a star. Scotty's, at least the potential is that. Siakam is in his prime currently. OG is in his prime currently. You know, these are players that are they're not at the back end of their prime. They're just kind of getting into it. With the Bulls, DeRozan's already aging. Vucevic is already aging or expiring. Caruso, I like him a lot. He's a valuable player if you're competing at a high level.
Appreciate that.
Zach LaVine, he's just not going to be number one. He's not number one. That's really all it is. He's not number one.
Neither is Siakam, though.
Siakam's more number one than LaVine.
But neither
he's
number
proven
ones.
more.
Neither
Siakam's proven to be a number 2.
He's got a point.
I think Siakam has proven to be more of a number one than Zach LaVine.
Neither number one.
After Kawhi left, the Raptors were the second seed in the East.
Yeah, but that was a committee.
That team was great.
But Siakam was by far the best guy on that team.
Regardless of if he proved it a little more than Zach, they're both not number ones.
Respect Zach, Pascal, and respect Zach. I need respect on these guys.
Neither of them are number one.
We're talking about my guys.
I thought you meant Zach.
Oh, neither of them are number ones, but I think that you can get further with Pascal being it than Zach.
I mean, you can get to the first round, second round, maybe.
Maybe. I had all those teams: Bulls, Raptors, Heat. I think the Grizzlies getting Luke Kennard gets you some shooting, but I feel like the West making all the moves they made, Suns, Clippers, Luke Kennard, is he really going to get a bunch of burn in the playoffs? Probably not. So I wish they made a different move to really solidify themselves if they want to be in contention in the West. And then the Cavaliers, we touched on it a bit earlier. Maybe it's Isaac Okoro playing better offensively in the last, however many games that he's hitting some threes. I'm sure John is ecstatic about that. So maybe he's turning a corner and he could, be the guy they expect him to be when they use the top 5 draft selection on him. But I also understand the Cavs that the Nets got worse. It was really the East that made all the moves. So maybe they felt like we don't have to do anything drastic. We can maybe compete in the second round. And if we get lucky, something weird happens, we could advance to the ECF. But I thought the Grizzlies and Cavs are 2 teams that if they got a bit more aggressive, could have set themselves up. So
if the Clippers said no to Fred for Terrence Mann, what is Fred's market?
That's what I'm wondering.
Was it Mann and picks? Just
they don't have many picks to really throw at anybody.
Like seconds, maybe.
Yeah. I think the context matters, though. I think no team wanted to give up a lot for Fred because he has a player option. Unless you're planning to sign him to a long-term deal.
Well, I'm saying in general, what's the market for Fred? A small guard who takes mostly threes, not the greatest playmaker.
He's a good one, though.
Yeah,
I think a young player in a first-round pick.
For Fred?
If he has at least 2 years locked into his deal. But on expiring, I'm not trading more than 1 first for him.
What's Fred getting in the open market? His player option is $23 million.
I think he should get 15 to 25 million.
So at that
the
point,
Raptors tried to move him. So ideally, I
think he's going to stay, though.
Well, it's his choice.
It is
to accept. So I would take the money.
I don't see him leaving.
I would probably take the money.
Especially not a lot of teams have cap to give you 30 mil.
Should gamble on just.
Also, you know what? If I'm Fred, I understand. I came into the season a little unhealthy. I started to cook up recently. Hopefully, it leads to us winning a play-in game. Best case scenario, if you're the Raptors right now. Slowly but surely, they've been getting their act together. But if you're Fred and the money's not there, gamble on yourself, accept the player option, and then really ball out.
In your scenario, if they win a play-in game, they get into the playoffs. They do not have a lottery pick anymore.
Correct.
So
that's okay.
That's tough.
That's okay.
It's all right. I mean, it's just this core is pretty much not. It's not going to go anywhere.
I know what you're saying.
It's not.
I know, right now where it's standing, I understand what you mean. But Fred's been getting his act together. Sky's been getting his act together. Gary Trent is Gary Trent. Pascal is Pascal.
Is year 3
And now
Scotty the
Jakob-
year? I'm asking you.
I mean, he's been
Some
really
could
good
hope.
recently.
Yeah, man, is year 3 Scotty the year?
You know, I'm always going to bank on Scotty Barnes.
He's gonna have year 3, year
But,
4, year
but,
5.
but another thing that's very interesting that I keep acknowledging is they finally got the center that they've been looking for these
He's
last
also on a
couple of
rental.
season.
He's signing him.
I mean, that's
Pay him.
another player you probably
They
traded.
have a lot of guys that
Yeah,
they need to pay.
yeah.
Scotty Barnes last 10 games, 12 points, 10, 16, 13, 18, 16, 18, 24,
Big points
7,
guy?
19.
Big points guy.
I thought he was running out like his.
I
per
know,
game,
I
so
know,
was
me
what the
too.
fuck?
This is a game log.
Ah,
Just
okay,
like
okay,
talked
okay,
about
okay.
him. It's a lot of
Been
less than
scoring.
15-point games.
He's bigger than just scoring, man. Come on, you know that.
Yeah,
He's
throw
a
out the
two-way player.
rebound assist. What's going on?
Rebound 7, 9, 7, 6, 14, 7, 10, 6, 6,
Respect him.
7.
That's it.
Assists, he
Gives
had
you
9
defense.
assists, 4, 2, 4, 3, 5, 7,
One of those
5,
my
10,
L's.
8.
Yeah, I was gonna say it definitely wasn't. didn't hear many 5s.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like Scotty's one of those guys that I just will not bet on.
Okay.
And like I will not.
I mean, you said you know he had a potential with Giannis, so
You
I
did
mean,
say
I'm just
that.
glad you threw that
I
statement
never
away,
said
guess.
that. I said the
really?
play style is similar. It is similar.
It's okay. You can try
Well,
and revise
Giannis's
that.
play style has proven you could be the best player in the league.
You can have some play style to somebody and not be that player.
It's a nice way to squirm out of that.
No,
huh?
no, he's not scoring out of it. I know what he said. I was here.
That's facts, though. I mean, Cam Thomas plays a lot like who? What do you think?
I'm not.
Kyrie?
No. He wants me to say Kobe Bryant. That's what he wants you to say.
No, but there's a lot of players that model their game off of shot creators like
Kobe.
Devin Booker or et
Tatum
cetera.
says
Cam plays like Devin Booker.
Yeah, but he's not that. At least right now, he's not. Who knows? Who,
No,
what he could develop
he's
into.
not that.
Okay, he's not that, but I'm saying the play styles are similar. Scotty can have a similar play style to somebody.
Giannis.
That doesn't mean that he's gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna be
He
that.
said that he could be, so it's just crazy.
Well, anything could happen. Anything could happen.
Cam Thomas.
No,
could
he's
be
not
Kobe,
going to.
right?
He's not. He's not going to get out of that.
Anything could happen. Honestly, I ain't call him superstar in year 2 though. If it's gonna happen, it's in year 6, 7. It's
We're going to see.
it's not in year 2.
I can't believe he got significantly worse as a shooter. That's the shit that got
Scotty
me.
Barnes.
He's always been a bad shooter, though.
But last year he was at least not.
is Scotty
he was all
Barnes
right.
the aggressive Ben Simmons?
Yes,
Crying at that.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like Scotty Barnes
except not as good of a passer.
last year as a rookie, those shooting flashes were kind of like, wow, I didn't see this in college. In college, he was not
And
that.
you said the same shit about LaMelo Ball, or was that Riv? Whoever
And
said
he shot.
that.
No,
he
I
shot
love
He's
LaMelo's
shooting the same
prospect.
from 3.
So
last
I'm just
year,
wondering
this year.
because LaMelo was not that great as a shooter
The field, bro.
overseas, but then came over here and now he's a 40% shooter.
Yeah, but the Scotty is a bit different though, just because the shot mechanics aren't there. You know what I'm saying? Like LaMelo's defense did not translate. His defense was ass overseas. It's
Again,
still ass.
there's no reason for LaMelo to be playing hard defense.
What did I say
To win
Rose?
games.
Because he's
Why?
on a non-serious team.
Wait, so like as an NBA player going into games and saying I'm not going to play defense because we have no chance to win.
Kind of
There
crying
are,
at that.
there are definitely players that have the mentality.
So
I'm
LaMelo
gonna
Ball
get
is
my-
one of those.
I'm going to get my
Right now,
buckets and
yes.
keep it
If
pushing.
LaMelo Ball is one of those players that has that mentality, he will never become a superstar in the league.
Do you understand right now
That's a
that his
porous
team is
mentality.
contending for Victor Wembanyama?
Anthony Edwards is going into it. I want to win every game. That's his
They
mentality.
have it. Look at it.
He's a
He's
winner.
What are we doing?
He's a winner.
so
They're
much
in a
better.
different scenario.
He's a winner.
The Wolves are so much better than the Hornets. The
But,
Hornets
like,
are one of the worst
it's-
teams in the
and
league.
defensively not close.
Like, bro, why do we even
The
talk?
Hornets
LaMelo-
were
LaMelo-
totally-
LaMelo-
I get what he's saying. Though.
Worst
You
of
coming
the
in with that
worst.
mind, like I'm not going to play defense.
It's not.
I
it's not good.
agree.
It's not good.
I
You
agree.
don't
I just hate how
Dirk.
you give these players passes for not trying.
I don't give him
Like,
a
why
pass
are we
for
giving
it.
LaMelo a pass for not trying?
I'm not giving him a pass for it.
It was like,
Grizzlies just whipped Timberwolves' ass.
I'm just
by the
being honest. He's not trying.
way. John Moran had 30.
He's him.
yes,
Anthony
but
Edwards had 17.
Really?
8 for 19. Minus 18. Love it.
Mike Conley didn't play.
Huh?
Mike Conley didn't play.
Mark Conley didn't play.
They just traded D'Lo,
Nah,
bro.
I like that. I like that. That was a good one. I like that. 28 points.
Hey, bro, he had nobody's out there with him right now.
Nah, yeah.
Nobody.
I get it.
Like McDaniels, Anderson, Gobert, and Jalen Noel.
Hey,
Like,
Gobert.
Best believe
Gobert.
Jaden McDaniels was out there when Ja had 32, though.
Oof.
John?
LeBron
I
stopper,
don't
by
gotta
the way.
watch the film.
Said Drew?
Watch it.
I gotta watch the film.
LeBron stopper.
What was it
LeBron
for?
stopper?
Yeah, and Steph stopper.
I don't think he said Steph stopper. He
No,
said LeBron.
I never said
Steph,
that.
You said
Steph.
Steph?
He
Mike
said
Conley
Steph
did
too.
play. Who's the Steph
Said he needs
stopper?
to
Jaden
develop
Daniels.
Giannis
Oh, he can play
and
defense
aggressive.
as good as anybody in the
Oh,
league.
Exactly.
Mike Conley did play. He had 9 points. Minus 11. Capped.
I definitely didn't say
Got him.
I didn't
Yes,
say that.
sir. Jalen Noel had 21, though.
Giannis?
Yeah, he's a good
No.
scorer.
I have a brain.
Oh, Gobert.
This guy John tried to say that I said Ben Simmons can be Giannis.
You did say that.
I
think you
didn't
did.
say
I
that.
think
All
you
right. If you think that, then you guys really don't sit and listen to me. Because
It's
what I
possible.
said was, oh no, it's definitely possible.
So now with you, we got to give you the benefit of the doubt. But with me, there's no benefit
No,
of the
there's-
doubt.
Oh fuck no.
Here's the thing: I sit and listen. I understand.
I said the play style similar. I never said he was gonna be Giannis.
and what I said, I
never said a top 3 player in the league.
because my answer to you was so he could be one of the best players of all time, because that's how I understood it. But again, my statement about Ben Simmons was he needs to take the mentality that Giannis has, because Giannis that can't shoot, but he'll still let it go. Giannis will still get to the basket and put up shots. All I said was Ben needs to have the mentality. I've always said that. Never said he could be Giannis. Respect me.
There's
for
a
the love of
UFO
Christ.
shot down in Alaska.
Say, why did you get
Alaska?
that notification?
Huh?
Why'd you get
I
that
just saw someone on Twitter talking about it.
We're done.
That's kind of nuts.
Lock in,
Pick
man.
a side dead.
Oh, we're on hour 3. This is what we talk about.
Is it hour 3? That is so
Gotta
fucking
be.
nuts.
2 hours 54 minutes. Get your time right, Dehls.
We're on hour
Get
3.
your goddamn time right. So last topic of the show. Under the radar moves that happened at the deadline. Before we do that, super chat from Jordan Davis.
Jordan.
I just want my credit for calling D'Lo to the
JD.
Lakers. That is all.
He did go
By the way, shout out Riv Academy. Just finished the most recent episode.
I got
Y'all the
lock in.
goats.
real.
Thank you, JD. Appreciate the love.
Oh, JD, man.
He did
Uh,
say
Under the
He goes to the
radar,
Lakers.
it's not so under the radar because we just spoke about it. Jakob Poeltl, because the Raptors needed a center. At least they filled the need. That's more under the radar because Jakob Poeltl's not a huge name. I only said because they've needed a center, and they finally got one in Jakob. What makes it not great in the grand scheme of things is the contract
Can you
situation.
give it first?
But in terms of need, but for Jakob, that was the price.
Yes. They wanted 2 first, actually. You get it first in 2 seconds.
That was the price. So to fill a need, a strong need, especially now that, you're in playing contention, you weren't there a couple weeks ago. Now you fill a strong need that you've had for a couple seasons.
Would you rather be a lottery team without Jakob or a playing team with him? I guess a playoff team, I should say. You could still be a lottery
I'm going to
team.
assume for the fact that they did just trade a first for him that they're going to try and re-sign.
Yeah, for sure. Mike Muscala, Boston
Mhm.
Celtics. He had 4 threes today.
There's no way.
He did 4
That's
for
the
8.
equivalent of me saying Mo Bamba.
Nah, Mike Muscala is good.
Shooting
He
40%.
was solid on OKC in his
He was.
minutes.
I know last year. So was Mo
Underrated as a rim
Bamba.
protector. I got some
No,
advanced
no,
stats.
last season when he got minutes,
But he also
Mo
has
Bamba
attempts.
was very good.
Muscala has attempts. I don't know if Bamba has
Muscala
attempts.
39% from 3 this past season.
How many? How much?
39%.
Yeah, it's really good. And what was Mo Bamba last year?
How many
Are
attempts?
we
think
arguing
so.
Mo Bamba?
No,
We are.
No, I'm saying
Because
like him
Muscala
being hyped
clears.
about Muscala.
What the fuck are we
Bamba
doing?
shot 38% from 3.
Yeah, it's fucking.
I mean,
lit.
attempts though.
Check.
Muscala did on 3.3
No,
attempts.
Muscala.
And
did it
Mo
on
Bamba.
4.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
no,
fine.
that's
That's
what
fine.
I'm saying.
That's
No,
fine.
I know.
But the thing about Mo
And
He was
Bamba,
getting DNPs in the Magic.
No, it's
the problem with
crazy.
Mo Bamba is like everything else, though.
Defense.
You know what I'm saying?
Muscala
Mo Bamba
is
is
a good rim
a
protector.
very firm rim protector. What are we doing?
So is Muscala.
He is.
Why? Because he's 7 foot.
No,
Correct.
the advanced
Melissa
stats.
seems to be.
Advanced stats show.
Limited
Advanced stats
minutes.
show.
Muscala
Yeah.
was an all right player,
Oh,
though. I mean,
I'm
it was a
exaggerating
whatever
this year.
pickup, but
Who? Mo
Muscala.
Bamba?
their
He
back.
is-
I'm
it
talking
is an
about
under the
Bamba.
radar
Oh.
pickup.
I mean, their backup center was Luke Cornett. You know what I'm saying?
Luke Cornett with the greatest
Scott was
closeout
cool
in
for
the history
depth.
of the
That
game.
boy ain't playing in the playoffs.
But we needed a backup big.
Maybe for
And-
like 3 minutes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Close out a quarter.
Celtics needed a backup big. They weren't trading anything valuable, and they didn't want to pay anybody. So I think it was a pretty good fit.
You can't call Jay Crowder under the radar. There really weren't
That's
many.
why Muscala isn't under the
strong
radar.
There were. I mean,
Let me hear a couple.
the number one under the radar move was
Josh
Thomas
Hart.
Bryant to the Nuggets.
Is it?
That's what it was.
He's not going to get a lot of burn.
not?
No,
I think they needed a backup center. They got it. He's playing phenomenal for the Lakers.
the shit that pisses me off, right, is that Thomas Bryant was upset with the minutes that he was getting because
Makes
of
no
AD's
sense.
return. So he gets traded to the Nuggets. Who's going to see the exact same fucking problem?
No, I think he's probably like the 7th man in that rotation.
And what was he going to be for us? 7th?
Y'all weren't giving him enough minutes once AD came back.
I don't know.
He's not going to get minutes on the Nuggets
He's not.
either.
No, I mean, not going to get significantly more minutes than what he was getting on the Lakers.
Yeah, he's going to get the same.
Listen, what you're saying about Thomas Bryant is facts. He was really good for us when we needed him the most. When AD was out and when LeBron missed a couple games, Thomas Bryant really stepped up to the plate and played really, really great.
So with Anthony Davis this year, Thomas Bryant was averaging around 13.9 minutes per game on the floor. I'm going to just do last 20 games, though, because in the beginning, he didn't really play much.
That's a fact.
It's like, yeah, still 14 minutes with Anthony Davis. I mean, even with AD's return, he should at least be getting 20 minutes a game.
No, for sure. He's one of our better producers.
But I look at the Nuggets, like the first person off their bench is Bruce Brown.
Correct.
Then their front court really is Zeke Naji, who Thomas Bryant is better than and can stretch the floor like him. He's a better rebounder. And it's Jeff Green and Vato Kankar. And I mean, the Nuggets backup centers with DeAndre Jordan and Zeke Naji. So I think Thomas Bryant will at least get like probably 18 to 22 minutes per game with Denver. No, I think this,
playoffs now.
In the playoffs is different because playoffs is all about matchups.
His defense still isn't great. His offensive production is there.
Yeah, no doubt. But they needed somebody, and I think it gives them a little bit of a punch.
I understand.
It does. It does.
You have any, Riv, under the radar?
I did actually.
Dario Saric was also mine.
I like the so for my under the radar moves, something splashy, cool. I like Josh Richardson of the Pels. I thought bringing in a guy who can space the floor, defend.
Why do you suck on the Celtics?
That one is solid. I like Darius Bazley to Phoenix. I thought him not getting much burn in OKC, but when he has played,
he isn't a bad ball player.
He's shown to be a good defender, a guy who can get to the rim. He's a guy who's a high flyer. So I think just bringing in a guy like that is cool for Phoenix. And then Kennard to Memphis, bringing in the shooter. Something that they definitely need. I thought those were 3 key moves for me. But the Bazley one to Phoenix is interesting because he wasn't getting burned in OKC. They are a young team. And I think we talked about it before. They have so many young guys. Somebody has to not play. So I think that one is going to be extremely interesting. But those are my under the radar moves. Kind of sexy.
No Gary Payne a second mention?
Because we don't know.
That's the reason why I didn't mention a lot of those.
And he might be out for 3 months.
Is he that or no?
That I definitely would have been intrigued in with that to Atlanta.
What do you think about James Wiseman to the Pistons?
That one's interesting because the situation. Okay, so for James Wiseman, he's leaning towards bust, right? But the situation he was in didn't quite help him because they needed somebody who was ready to win and stuff like that. So now you go to Detroit and you can make mistakes. You can pretty much play through your mistakes. Where Golden State, you can't play through your mistakes. Curry see you make a few mistakes, you're done up. So I think it's interesting. But Durant is there, and I think Durant's going to have that spot locked down.
Just use a first round pick.
Not even that. He's just better.
Similar to Bagley in that case, you mean?
What you mean?
Like Bagley was able to go to Detroit, kind of have a little bit more.
What is the Pistons' fascination with just trading for a second overall pick bust? Marvin Bagley, now James Wiseman.
Buy low.
I
mean, 5 second-round picks might as well.
Yeah, but Durant,
Durant's better than him.
No, Durant's his spot is locked. Sure. That's his 5 spot.
You see Garza
19.
Kind of tweak out the other night?
Yeah, I don't care.
What was that about?
He's a grown man. He's 23.
What was that about?
Garza got some game.
Well, he's the best college player in the world.
I tried to tell you about Luka Garza, man.
What college he went to? Since you tried to tell me. Nobody help him.
Don't fucking play with my fucking name. You're a punk ass hoe for that one. I got your ass.
Language.
That's why I said punk ass hoe.
Called me a hoe on national television.
Said don't fucking play with my name.
He goes, language.
Right now, we have 530 people in the live stream right now. Make sure you guys click the like button. Let's get to 400 likes before the stream ends. Now, I want to do, to finish off this show, I want to do a little bit of a game.
All right, so while you load the game, I've really come a long way. The fact I knew that Luka Garza went to fucking Iowa, I'm proud of myself for that one.
Congratulations.
I am happy.
You have beat the casual allegations.
Thanks, man.
The casual
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Congratulations.
That means a lot to me, bro.
Are you beating them yet, Dehls?
For college basketball? Fuck no.
No, just in life.
Oh, that's rude.
He's got a full-time job. He's good.
Thank you.
Understandable.
I did just graduate from nursing school. We're both on the way.
So
we're both amazing as men.
So me and Joel just are fuck ups, huh? You just guys.
You guys are superstar podcasters.
Just exploring y'all. You see what this is going on, bros?
Riv, not only are you a superstar podcaster, you're also extremely handsome.
You are too. Well, we all are. Doesn't count. We all are. We're all dangerously handsome. I want to be different.
Want to be ugly?
You're amazing personality.
I mean, that would be different.
What do you want?
If I was ugly,
You're cool.
We're all cool.
I appreciate that too. Thanks, man.
I'll decide if you beat the NBA casual allegations.
I appreciate that.
You ace in NFL.
It took me a while, man.
You ace in it. It took him.
They didn't let me off the hook for a long time. I'm here.
Now he's talking about Luka Garza going to Iowa.
I'm him.
He would have said probably Michigan State like 2 years ago.
That's so fucked up, bro.
He probably lied to he was killing at Michigan State. He had a great run. I'd be like, bro, he didn't go there.
Nah, you really try to play me, and I got your ass. I'm hype.
What's the game?
It's a duo list and just like a comparison.
Did you just make it right now?
Yeah, I'm making it right now. So your
Oh.
side talk was very
Oh,
helpful.
I thought you actually
He
had
did
it
not
ready.
have it. He did it on the fly.
I respect that.
I
Oh,
do have it. I'm trying to
Santos,
find
thank
it.
you.
I'm trying to find a
Sometimes-
duo to compare to Steph and Clay.
What's Santos say?
He said
You
I'm
are a great father. It's
You're
another thing.
It's a fact.
I look at myself more as a big brother.
Okay, I got it now.
Whenever you're ready, Joel.
Riv is a great father.
Appreciate that, Santos.
Okay.
You're a great man.
So there's a lot of great duos in the NBA. So right now we're gonna compare and contrast. This is NBA duos versus edition.
Okay. We're saying this year or at their best?
Let's do it this year.
I guess
I
this
think
year.
at their best would be cool.
At their best is way cooler.
Ugh,
So you want to do at their best?
At their complete best.
I forgot this is basketball, you guys.
I mean, there's a
It's
lot of
never-
duos
It's
that
never
don't have a
about
lot of
right now
time
in
together.
basketball.
No, it's never about right
It's
now.
never about right now. In
All right, we can
basketball.
do it right
All right,
now.
whatever.
Fine, fine.
Oh,
Since
so-
Dehls is hitting the casual mark.
There we go.
Right
He's-
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
beating the allegation.
Exposed.
NBA duos versus edition. First duo up. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker versus Luka and Kyrie.
Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Don't think twice.
I have to think twice, but I will go Kevin Durant and Devin Booker.
I would go Booker too. And
I'm-
KD.
I'm leaning KD and D Book, but it's close. I think Luka and KD are neck and neck. Kyrie and D Book is very close. Although D Book has a consistency and defensive factor, I'm going KD and D Book. Tatum and Jaylen Brown versus Giannis and Middleton.
Tatum and JB.
In this one,
This year, Middleton has not been available.
this one's tough
It
because
is tough as fuck.
Giannis
They won a
is just-
championship, and Giannis is a
this is
fucking
Giannis.
I feel like Giannis is the separator for me. I do.
I understand.
They're
I
the
know his
championship
answer.
duo. I'm going with Giannis and Middleton.
Let me ask you: is it Giannis and Middleton, or is it Giannis and Drew? I understand it's usually.
You know what? Giannis and Drew would have been a better conversation at the moment.
In the moment, but like, I mean, I kind of
think
feel
just
like
because you got
both
it,
at their
Drew
peak.
been
they got the
Drew
ring.
been available, and Drew
sure
really
has.
has been
They have-
super firm this year.
They have the ring.
Listen,
so
I
I'll give
think-
Giannis.
listen, Drew Holiday definitely defensively was the X factor for the Bucks,
Mhm.
but Middleton is their closer. He's
You're
their
right.
closer in the game.
Right.
So I'm gonna. That's
get
the
it.
duo. I think
get it.
Giannis
I'll
and Middleton's a
I'll
duo.
take the one with the ring right now.
You guys are gross.
John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. versus De'Aaron Fox and DeMontis Sabonis.
That was actually tough too.
I
Talk
would
about
take.
this
I would
year.
take Ja.
John
I would
John
take Ja.
Jaren.
Yeah,
It's
John
mad.
Jaren.
It's mad close.
it is close,
I'll
but
go John Jared.
Ja's closer to top 10 player than the other.
And this
two.
is me saying it. It's tough though.
I think as an overall player, Sabonis is better than Jaren, but Jaren is unbelievable defensively,
yes,
and Ja is better than De'Aaron.
yes.
This is extremely close.
It is.
It is close.
Listen, this season I do think the better duo has been Sabonis and Fox. I do.
This season?
I think it has been Sabonis and
They're
Fox.
all four of them made
I
all
know.
stars.
I think the Grizzlies have more depth, and that's why they're a better team. But the Kings, I mean, what these two guys been doing,
You're not
it's
wrong.
been exceptional, and
But John,
they have a legitimate elite half court offense.
Him right here. He just gave your answer. He just gave you the answer.
What?
Or were you gonna go John? And
No, I was going John Jared. I just
Listen, for me, I think defensively the Grizzlies duo is better. Offensively, it's not even close. Sabonis and Fox is way better offensively.
100%.
yeah,
agree.
I don't know if Sabonis and Fox have been better this year. I mean, Jared might win DPOY.
Facts.
So
Facts.
and they're all four of them all stars. So you know, it's close.
Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland versus Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler.
Donovan and Darius clear.
Damn.
Clear.
Clear.
I would be taking Mitchell and Garland, but it's close.
Have y'all seen Darius lately? My goodness.
He has been spazzing.
And they've been. I mean,
I like Bam though. You know,
I'm
I
not
love,
saying
I love me
anchors
some.
and
I love me
Bam's
some
been
Bam.
Bam's
better.
improved.
I love me some
offensively.
Bammy.
He has
and
3
you know,
points
come
right
playoff
now.
time, Jimmy
Yes, they
Butler's
do.
gonna be able to keep up with
Garland.
anyone.
Garland. Oh yeah, he does have. He's better than your team.
Ooh.
Of course, I had him over 21.5 tonight, right?
Yeah, as soon as you picked him, he froze up.
Man,
I think he got hurt though. He isn't playing. Oh, he has 3 fouls. Donovan's back though.
I'm gonna go Jimmy and Bam.
You don't want to win.
No, that's why I'm picking Jimmy and Bam, because those two went to an ECF and were 3 away
Finals.
from going to the finals, and they went to the finals.
Fed you Lakers.
this is really close too.
Clears was crazy, Riv. I'm sorry,
It was.
You know me. I love Garland.
but you love Bam, which is why I was.
But I love
stunned.
Garland and Mitchell.
What
So,
what team has a better chance to win a
It's not wrong.
championship if you build a proper team around them?
Cleveland.
Low key,
I'd want to have the shooters.
Cleveland.
but they did. They were a game away from the finals, and they went to one.
I'm gonna go Jimmy and Bam because of the defensive upside.
That's why I'm going.
Ain't nothing
Jimmy
wrong
and
with it.
Bam.
I just
Even
said
though
clear.
it's clear.
Oh well,
You
you know,
said
this,
clear.
you know me. This,
It clears
this is,
for Riv,
yeah, this
but
is
it
Garland
doesn't
and
clear
Mitchell.
for
You know, I'm clear.
basketball.
No, I like just their offensive output. I like it. So.
That's facts.
Joel Embiid and James Harden versus Jokic and Murray.
Joel Embiid and James Harden.
Yeah, I think Harden and Murray's a
Joel
separator
Embiid
there.
and James Harden. Yeah.
I'm actually really surprised you guys chose Embiid and Harden. I'm going
Harden's
with
better than
Jokic and
Murray.
Murray. Jokic and Murray. I mean, this season, Jamal Murray is starting to heat up again and getting
Yes.
back to his form. And in the playoffs, the moments these guys have shown us already and what they can do, coming back from 2-3-1 deficits in the bubble the year before, taking Portland to 7, a team that went to the conference finals. I got to go with Jokic and Murray. I
And-
just think that they're exceptional.
The
And they have a
lack-
track record.
The lack of moments from Embiid and James Harden in the playoffs, you could say too, right?
Yeah, for sure. You can. Yeah.
Jokic.
Try to catch me there, son?
Does Jokic clear Embiid?
Yeah, for me, he
He's
does.
better.
Clear.
I think for me, Jokic is
Embiid's been
clearly better than Embiid.
One of the best in the league this
But
year.
then
though.
when they match up, Embiid comes to play.
Embiid comes to play.
The last
always.
like 2 times, yeah.
And defensively, it's Embiid. Clear is kind of rude.
I think Harden's better
I
than Murray.
think it's.
And
I think
that's
it's
that's
clearly
why
Jokic.
that's
Comfortably.
that's
That's why
really
that gap is
comfortably
larger.
Is
than
Tatum
Murray.
better than Embiid?
Conversation.
damn. That's close.
Did he catch you?
If do you think Tatum's better though? And if you do you think that you're easily taking Jason Tatum?
I think this year. Oof. Fuck, man.
If you are, then Jokic clears Embiid.
No.
Because Jokic clears Tatum.
Damn. All right, he got me. Joel, I'm sorry, bro.
Better hope Jokic goes to the
I'm
finals.
sorry, Joel.
Jokic is
Embiid's
not
better.
even a bad defender though. I feel like people overblow that. He's one of the league leaders in deflections and playing passing lanes. And
I
stop
hope so.
playing.
He's fucking 7 feet tall.
so now last one: Kawhi Leonard and Paul George versus Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
Steph and Clay.
Stephen Clay.
I would take Stephen Clay.
Yeah, I think this is an easy one. So
And it's not a disrespectful thing because talent-wise,
Oh, I
it's
don't-
comparable.
I
but
probably should have compared Kawhi and
production
PG to Tatum and Brown, but whatever. Kawhi and PG or Zion and Brandon Ingram.
The problem is we haven't seen
a health
much of
thing.
Zion and
Yeah,
Brandon.
Don't know
Ingram.
what they look like.
No,
We
LeBron
also
and-
haven't seen much of
no
Paul
one-
George and Kawhi.
No one
either.
LeBron and AD love?
He really didn't give
LeBron
a
and
fuck.
AD versus Stephen Clay.
No. How about LeBron
Steph
and
and
AD
Clay.
versus Kawhi and Paul
Just as
George?
players.
I think it's LeBron and AD.
If we're just talking straight players,
go
I'd pick
LeBron
two.
and
I'd
AD
go
also.
LeBron AD.
LeBron and AD. What are we looking at here?
They won the championship.
They won 4. I'm taking the one with 4.
Over who?
LeBron and AD.
They've
Oh,
been
no, I thought the
together
question
for
was
far
Kawhi and-
less than the
I thought
fucking
they-
Warriors.
Well, they've been together 4 years, right?
Yeah,
They have 1 ring.
Warriors have been together for 8
9.
years.
8.
9.
They had 4 and 8.
Okay.
LeBron has 1 and 4. I seriously doubt the ratio was going to get any better.
Kevin Durant.
All right, Kevin Durant and Steph.
Oh, it's a washing.
They win everybody.
It's arguably the best duo of all time.
Yeah.
Probably
see
the
it.
best duo of all time.
Who's the duel?
Kawhi and PG and Zion and BI.
I'm gonna go Kawhi and PG.
I would too, just because you haven't seen it with Zion
I'll
and
still
BI
go
yet.
Kawhi and PG. Kawhi's back, so I will go Kawhi and PG.
Kawhi's fucking back.
Slept.
I did, and I apologize.
It's okay. I accept your apology.
Thank you.
We almost got
Are
there before
Jalen
9:30.
Brunson and Julius Randle better than BI and Zion?
That was tough.
Wait, Brunson and
'Cause neither of
Julius
them are better than
versus
Zion.
Zion and
But
BI?
BI
No,
no.
BI's still
BI's better.
You
I don't know
Yeah.
if BI is better than Brunson, bro.
he is,
Brunson is different, bro.
and
BI's
so
been
is BI.
hurt all
He's
year.
different.
That's what's hurting. No, I think BI is better than
Yeah, he
Brunson.
is.
I think BI is better than Julius Randle too. I think Zion clears both of them though, so they have the overwhelming star.
What about Mikal Bridges and Claxton?
We're not acknowledging that one.
Dude,
Is that it? Is that the end of the game? It was fun.
Mikal
fine.
Bridges and Claxton.
That's a duo. That shit stinks.
Versus Cade and Bagley.
No Ben Simmons though.
You know how to do it. Mikal's he's gonna turn into a 20-point per game scorer in Brooklyn.
You mean Cam Johnson?
Cam Johnson? Nah, maybe 12, 13.
Respect him. I told you. It's his time to shine. now.
12, 13.
You slept. You slept on him.
That's going to do it for this episode of the Pick Aside Podcast. You guys can follow us on Twitter, Pick Aside Pod, on Instagram and TikTok at Pick Aside Podcast. Make sure to like this stream. Let's get up to 400 likes right now. We're at
500 likes.
318. Make sure you
1,000
guys
likes.
like the stream. We'll be live Monday, the day after the Super Bowl, to talk about who won. I got a good feeling it's the Chiefs.
You throw a little side bet on that?
I already got it with FanDuel.
I already get
So
it.
if you guys,
I'm already getting my bread.
if you guys want to help support the podcast even further, make sure to check out our sponsors, Mojo, Boom Fantasy. Links are in our bio. And also check out Kendrick Perkins' new book, The Education of Kendrick Perkins. Link is in our bio to listen and download the audiobook. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.